Start on my
6
YouTube.
games today, 6 tomorrow. But yeah, likely.
Should be
Let's
good.
talk about group number 3.
What up,
I'll
Aldi man?
highlight here Noxy, Virgo, and Curly. So these guys are pretty underrated. And it's crazy to think how well they've done when
crazy
they formed,
freaking day, bro.
right before play-ins, Kelly.
Crazy tournament, dude.
Yeah, I think
excited.
just like you said, they've only formed a week beforehand, and that's what makes their run all the more impressive. In the group 3
I'm gonna move my
stage, we saw
camera
them take the
around
game
a lot
3 win.
so you guys can
But
see
in
what's
games
going
1
on.
and 2, they actually got 4th place in both of those games. And today, not only are they going to be uncontested at Kappa, but they also have a few contested teams near them over on that southeastern side, which can only be beneficial to them. My one concern for this trio, though, is that depending on where the zone polls, they do have some pretty big names landing near them, and that might cause some issues.
It could definitely cause some trouble over there. The thing that I liked about
I had like a freaking
watching their group stage games is that
I had like I think allergic reaction. I don't know what happened, but like
when it comes down to taking
there was like bumps on my torso,
they were able to
one on my back,
one
or two on my neck, one or two on the arm.
Of the game,
red bumps,
just a couple
and then
of,
like
refreshes as well.
Every time I itch him, it just gets red. And it gets itchier. Like, what the heck's going on? I'm not gonna check that out. It's not yet. I feel like it's nothing. I'll wait like 2 days. I'm not gonna scratch it. Hopefully I'm good.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, that's good.
No idea what it is.
Here, let's have more people to fight.
The tournament starts in about 3 minutes, I believe.
Let's keep this ball rolling.
This is NA Central. So NA Central is right now, and then NA West is in
Poyo. That's right.
4 hours.
Names that I'm just kind of used to and like have been saying.
So this is FNCS Major 1.
But what's crazy about
and I'm gonna double check
is,
to
like,
see who qualifies.
Alone, Kelly.
Good
yeah, they are tied for the most FNCS titles out of any trio in NA. They have
here. I'm gonna see
the most amount of titles. Sorry, they have the most.
So it's a 2-day final, session 2.
Most titles out of
so a 2-day event with 12 matches. So 6 matches per day.
Has back-to-back wins in Major 1.
So 2-day event, 6 matches per day, to crown the FNCS Major Champions. The major champions will not only claim their share of the prize pool and their title as the best Fortnite player in the region, but will also wield the blade of champions for the following season. Okay. But this is Major 1 finals, right? Is there major
3 people together? You need to kind of be on the same page. And
okay, major. Okay, got you. So this is technically like perfect. This is technically grand, is it not? Like it technically just grand.
And then first in their games last weekend, it was like the early game.
Next time, Cherish. Next time. But just 2 poison oak. Only my skin would like swell up. Yeah, but I mean I don't know. Just like red bumps. I don't know. Maybe it'll go away. I'm gonna give it like 2 days. 2 to 3 days. Hopefully something serious. What's up, Colin? Holy. But yeah, I wanna double check the format. So this is technically grand finals, is it not? I believe it is.
It's rapid and bolts. If you really got me going,
should be starting in like
when
2
you said
minutes.
Do Ragnata, that really made me laugh. That really broke me. Once again, we're back on the shoulders of Kanata, right? Who refuses to miss an FNCS major finals.
Okay. That's right.
The question is, could this be the one, Kelly? Could this be the one?
You know, it's interesting going from Poyo's trio to Kanata's trio, because I feel like they're kind of 2 sides.
Alright, if there's anyone that's streaming, like any of the major grand finals or whatever is streaming, let me know, and then I'll make a multi-twitch to see their POVs also.
But since taking that first win from Group 3, they have just had a completely tonal shift. This is the Kanata, the very passionate individual that we know of him, and I don't know if it's like a Sailor Moon
should I become a Fortnite caster?
He puts the do-rag on, he gets all these powers, but
I mean with the follow, thank you.
Look like they could easily be one of the top 3, if not second or first place team.
I mean, ever since like kind of like the turning of the do-rag, I guess you
could
less
than a minute,
guys. So well, even that performance eval that happened in between last weekend and this weekend, there was only really 2 big name teams that kind of showed up and got a win during that. Of course, was Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual, and then hey, Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts also picking up a win there. So between last weekend, tournament should be starting. They look really good.
Oh, match 1 is in 14 minutes. Okay.
Now, that's
Wait,
good. That's
before the tournament starts, guys, do you guys have any predictions as who's gonna win the whole thing? Who's gonna get first place today, and who's gonna get first place tomorrow? What do you guys think?
I feel like a good way to do this is kind of talking about Storm Surge, right? Like
I'm just gonna go with this guy. I think he's gonna take it all. Honestly, I think Peterbot's gonna win it all. But who do you think is gonna get first place today? It's a 2-day tournament, 6 matches per day. This is NA Central, so a bunch of people playing. Noah's playing too. Noah W plays. He's playing, so we're gonna watch him also. To go. What's up, Ractal? But yeah, who do you guys think are gonna win?
you know, end of zone 5, 850, end of zone 7,
Dang.
1300, end of zone 9, 1800. Kind of keep those numbers.
30 players, end of zone 9 is actually crazy. What the heck?
Comes to Peterbot Golden Ritual is how fast
Peterbot?
they actually
Peterbot
numbers.
Peter Spot.
Take a early 3v3 fight. Now, who are some of the best players on your team? You're
good Hungry Hornet.
Other teams, because you know that you're.
Oh wait, when I believe in my boy Noah. I believe in him.
Them over now. Of course, Peterbot does get knocked.
The Popular. That's guys. That's my boy Noah's new name that I gave him. You know how Ranger's a baby and doesn't like when I say poopy, or when TG and I don't like saying poopy. Noah doesn't care. So what we call Noah, we call Noah the Popular. All right. So anytime you see Noah, just be like, "What's up, Popular?" And he'll know it's from me. Good, Cyrus. How you doing, man? Yeah. No, I'm gonna retract my answer. I got Noah. I don't know who's gonna win the whole thing. There's a lot of good teams, but I got Noah in the top 5 for sure. Noah W plays the top 5. Peterbot in the top 5.
Kind of done one thing at this point.
So Peterbot in the top 5. Here, we should
And if you remember that number,
we should make a prediction right now. Hold up.
The amount of damage you needed was
850
at the end of zone 5.
Oh, guys, I want to show you something too.
Ahead of that threshold, right? And if they're actually zones ahead of that threshold, Kelly,
I'm making a
they don't need to worry about it at all.
Yeah, I mean, being able to kind of the mid game, it seems to be a struggle for a lot of our teams, especially.
I know my screen's not open. You guys can't see, but
when you already have the damage done, you can kind of focus on the end game.
Yeah, focusing on the end game is really, really important. You actually set yourself up for end game.
So I want to show you 2 things. All right, guys, look.
And you know, because of all that damage done, guess what? They're like, well,
we're gonna make a prediction, okay? Top 5.
To do damage, you need to be by
top 5 day 1.
So why don't we go ahead all the way over to the west side of the map where nobody's gonna be.
Noah W plays.
Dead side rotates that we of course
trio
love to talk about. This is super
Peterbot.
Cool trios, right? Because it saves them so many materials. When you think about trios, you've got 3 people on
Cooper
a team that can pretty much beam you at any point in time, which means that you kind of need to preempt.
Who else is playing?
You usually spend a lot of builds, right? Staying away from a lot of.
Yeah, who else is playing?
The northeast side of the map as well. Very, very contested. They're on the complete opposite side. They know that.
Peterbot, Noah, Cooper.
They are kind of never isolated. 150, 150, 150, like 15 masks on each of them. They haven't used.
Who the flip, man? Who the flip? Who the flip right now, bro?
They do not need to go near any other players because of how early they got all that damage in.
And also, if they do use their
got a chance. Oh, Clicks is playing. Wait, Clicks is a top 4 merchant. Clicks and Poyo.
That they're bound to find another.
Yeah, I mean, they're just
I think this is
so well. Not only all the.
It's Poyo and Cooper's trio.
But how much respect they get from other players. Let's go ahead and take a look at what they actually looked like then when they took the high ground. Because like I said, they're setting themselves up to take this high ground early on.
I think Clicks is playing. Is Clicks playing?
Early 3v3 allowed them to kind of stay isolated, stay very, very healthy in the materials. And when they took high ground in this game, 80 builds,
Fortnite, Major,
builds still some void
NAC,
left to kind of make some plays, kind of
trios
across some of those high ground layers. This just set them up so well because, like I've mentioned multiple times, right? High ground taking it early on, like they just did.
This is play-in
with the amount of materials you usually have. But when you're going into endgame with 150 on each one of your players,
I don't know who's playing. We need like a trio list, dude.
Game, just like Peterbot, Golden Ritual did in that one.
Yeah, do you know? Anyone know if there's like a trio list?
Someone else is on the high ground because they will either find a way to absolutely decimate the low ground or take high ground for themselves.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Okay, so,
I see.
Right, these guys are really, really good, right? But let's kind of quantify that with the data we have now, right? So
Luke's not in here.
Did really like unbelievably well.
These all the trios,
right? But there's 2 other groups that we're missing. There's all of these other trios that we're missing in this equation, and now all of those trios are coming together on one bus.
Rapid.
Can they look to do what they did in group
on
1?
If Clicks is not here.
Finals. The setting is completely
Poyo, Acorn, Agers, yeah.
I guess
Kanata.
Right?
I think Kanata's gonna be up there.
Like, well, yeah,
so we have
here, hey,
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we have 5. Okay.
I feel like sometimes we kind of.
Oh, let me keep looking.
Right? And then Peterbot, Gold, Rich. I mean, look at the
hey, Moxie.
Right there. They're gonna be able to do it. I guess like maybe the hardest thing would be to justify the 3v3, them being able to like.
I'm looking.
Strictly over in a finals lobby, but Kelly, we know how good they are.
Is Clicks not in this?
And I just want to reiterate again, it's all three of them that are absolutely the top of
Popular,
their class.
yeah. I won't know what to do good for sure. Chaos is one of my good friends too. Chaos. Known Chaos for a long time.
And then Ritual,
hold on.
Tarper, an incredible IGL. He is able to set them up for success time and time.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with my top 5 here, guys. What do you guys think? Based off the teams, I think this is my top 5.
Going for the three-peat of winning Major 1. Everything is being set up for their story.
Looks good. The top 5.
Okay, I like that. This is quite the pedestal they've kind of put themselves on. We didn't do this. They
okay, top 5 trios.
As we continue the conversation,
in no order.
Take a step back and meet up with our casters. Give them a big warm welcome. It is Jacob ER and Monster D-Face.
Like it? Yeah. So no order. Noah. So Noah's trio, Peterbot's trio, Cooper's trio, Poyo's trio, and Kanata's trio. This is top 5 day 1.
Yeah, 5.
Also, do you guys want to see what I'm working on for a Fortnite map? I'm making myself.
Contested drops is going to be really grueling for teams.
Do you guys want to see what I'm working on?
Sometimes it could be a blessing with how much surge you're able to get out of the gates. Yeah, so to really set the stage, couple teams we're going to be looking at for early game fights potentially. Noah W plays
there we go.
Versus Oliver OG down at the bottom right of the map here. This is at the Hopeful Heights.
They're contested?
Team I really want to talk
Wait,
about.
Noah's contested?
And G Money, they're going to be clashing, going head to head. We all know Victor.
Yes? Alright, I got y'all. I'm going to show you guys what I'm making for a Fortnite map. It's like a little project that I'm doing for Jogo too. I'm making an infected game mode. Do you guys remember Call of Duty? Like OG Call of Duty? There was an infected game mode where there's humans and zombies. If you get eliminated by a zombie, you become a zombie. And then, you know, if you beat the timer, you win as a human. Or if all humans are dead, that means game's over, right? So I'm making an infected game mode. Humans versus zombies. In Fortnite, okay? Zombies are gonna have more health. They're gonna have what's it called? They're gonna have more health, more speed, and the game is 10 minutes long. Okay, 10 minutes long. And if you survive the 10 minutes, you win. Or if you die and you're all humans are dead, you lose, right? So this is like the little game mode right here, or the what it is, the Unreal Editor, what I do in Unreal Editor, and then the code logic. This is what I have written for code right now. This is my code for the game mode. Store the players, choose a first zombie. Anytime a person dies, they become a zombie. Or anytime a person dies, they become a zombie down here. So I wrote this yesterday. I still got some more to go, and then I'm gonna do the design in UEFN, and then we'll be good. But that's what I have right now. Currently, that's what I have.
As you can see here,
so you
by
guys can
the
see
damage done numbers, they're kind of not.
There you go.
Right? I mean, by zone 2,
that's what I'm working with.
91 damage by zone 5, 951. Right? They of course have their points.
This is top 5 day 1 trios. Let's go, guys. We got this, bro.
Not in the early game. I feel like it's really easy
prediction
to kind of
going.
see how well
Crazy.
Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual establish their Storm Surge.
All right, first game's in 5 minutes and 45 seconds.
Probably the two
Team Noah for sure. He's in my top 5 for day 1. So let's hope. Let's hope he does good.
The difference.
Yeah,
but Noah is contested,
just a little bit of a difference there by zone 2, but as the zones go on, they definitely do pick it up. And I do want
should I order some food
while
we watch?
Games, Sphinx, Vadeal, and Cooper haven't had too many contesting trios around them.
Also, like
this weekend, as long
in
as
between like the games or like during the games, I'll like kind of teach you guys what they're doing. Like if they're doing like a play and you guys don't know why they're doing it, I'll tell you why they're doing it.
Like we mentioned before,
or what I think they should do, or what I think they're gonna do. I'll predict plays. I'll predict rotates. I'll see how. It's gonna be very interactive. Okay.
Those later zones, Cooper, Vadeal, and Sphinx, they're of course
be very interactive.
It's just
what's up, Bench?
a different approach to the game. Of course, if Cooper, Vadeal, and Sphinx are.
Hey, by the way, guys, if you're on YouTube, don't forget to drop a like. I would appreciate it.
They're gonna need
please
to
don't forget.
Kind of involved with the rest of the lobby. They're gonna need to see players on their screen if they're gonna be able to actually deal that damage. So they're gonna play completely differently. And I think that's awesome when we take a look at the personalities amongst the trios. So let's go take a look at where Cooper, Vadeal, and Sphinx kind of place themselves amongst the rest of the lobby. All right, the first game, like I said, starts in 4 minutes and 26 seconds. I will be moving my camera a lot so you guys can see what's going on. So congested. Cooper, Vadeal, and Sphinx, they know.
Did I put myself up here?
So they're gonna place themselves very nearby, and yeah, Kelly, I mean, they're still in a good spot. But all
right here.
Builds,
let me see where Aussie puts his camera at.
Because they're amongst the lobby.
Oh man, also the group stages that
What's
they
in the
played,
top
I swear
left?
Every zone was a mountain zone and having to deal with that. But even with the rough situation that they were put into, they got second place against Peterbot's trio. So regardless of if they have that early engagement or not, they're still always able to turn it around.
Yeah, I mean, they do an incredible job kind of managing all of this stuff here.
I could do top left.
Differences in the play styles, right? Like I mentioned, since Cooper, Vadeal, and Sphinx.
All right, by the way, for everyone that's just hopping in right now, okay, everyone that's hopping in right now, my top 5 for day 1, which is today, my top 5 trios, no order, is Noah's trio, No W plays, Peterbot's trio, Cooper's, Poyo's, and Kanada's trios. This is my top 5.
It's of course going to be that front side,
no order
of those moving zones. And shout out to Sphinx, he does such a good job of putting them in good positions. But as you can see here, Vadeal, Sphinx, and Cooper ahead of the rest of the lobby.
Let's go, baby. I'm excited, bro. I actually might order something too.
Again, kind of the point here being,
they're
gonna have less builds than a team like Peterbot. They have to spend builds.
3 minutes of the first game. But guys, Noah's contested by Oliver OG based on what the announcer said. So we're gonna see how that goes.
Positions, Kelly, they gotta get the eliminations, they gotta get the refreshes, and that's exactly what they do.
Yeah, like you're saying, sticking to
everyone in this lobby is so good too. It's not even funny.
Especially when they know that there's going to be players dropping down to them, they're able to just.
I don't think is Clix playing Mason. I don't think I've seen him play. I don't think he made it.
Just taking control, even though Sphinx is doing a majority of the tarping, he's also able to get some eliminations himself.
Yeah, he does such a good job right there, and I kind of like to coin this as like a momentum-based playstyle, because it's like, well, if they don't get any of those eliminations,
you're driving from the airport. All right, drive. How y'all? I love y'all. Hope I can. All right, let's go. Let's go. You have a safe drive. Oh, Clix is playing.
How are they getting into those good positions?
You guys sure?
A lot of that heavy lifting is going to be done by Sphinx.
I look at the leaderboard. I don't think he's. I don't know if he's playing. Oh, he is playing. Wait, who's Clix's trio?
Kind of harping a lot for this trio, and as you can see here, in terms of placing the builds for the trio, Sphinx himself places almost.
Oh, that's his trio.
Of all the builds that this trio places, just at 46% right there. So very obviously getting handed a lot of those materials that they are getting from those refreshes and using them to tarp themselves into good positions to.
Sorry, Poyo. I'm sorry.
That momentum-based play style.
Clix, or not Poyo.
So crazy.
Kanada.
And we even heard
sorry, Kanada.
Interview with Cooper that him and Sphinx
oh, that's my new top 5.
I'm for certain.
Well, I thought he wasn't playing.
Really good about the choice of Sphinx taking.
All right, this is my new top 5.
I love it. Okay.
From what I've seen, Kanada's trio is not passionate at all. So, from what I've seen, from what he said, so just based on that, speculation, we're going with that trio. I got you, Mason. Okay, this is my new top 5. I didn't see Clix. I don't know if he's playing or not. My new top 5: Noah, Peterbot, Cooper, Clix, and Poyo. No order. That's my top 5 for day 1.
I hope to see it be a close game, especially after today.
Great. Chat, it's gonna be great.
How dominant Cold Ritual have been in these finals lobbies, and with elimination.
Yeah, I played a tournament recently with the so he's a goated at IGL for sure.
Themselves up even more, but it's Fortnite. It's the FNCS. Truly, anything can happen.
I feel like the sentiment from a lot of people that are going to be watching the games this week, and they're like, yeah, listen, we want a close game. We hope.
I got food like at freaking 8 a.m., but I've been sipping on this for so long.
I don't know about you guys, but last year when I was watching Fortnite,
I'd order something in a bit.
We were running through the competition. I was entertained. I'm down to be entertained again by a dominant performance out of.
All right, first tournament should be starting right now. First game.
They got.
And honestly, that's fine. If they go out and they win and it's another 1,000-point victory, like honestly, I'm fine with that, because there's two spots going to globals, right? So even if they take up one,
I feel like this meta is super interesting.
Still a second spot
with the masks, the swords, everything.
So we'll see. It is that
how strong their guns are too.
Prepare yourselves. 6 matches today. Game number 1.
Who's your top 5?
Casters.
Top 5 trios today.
Thank you, Zeke. It's one thing to be a professional commentator. It's another to be a fan and get to watch this in the front row seats, Jacob. I'm excited for finals. It's going to go down, and we know we're going to have a great competition.
No, it's definitely going to be amazing, because we ever get to see a dominant performance by Peterbot, or we get to see one of many trios really take that shine, take the throne, and upset everybody that's thinking that he's going to take that first place spot. And Monster, I think
chat, can someone
there are actually quite a few duos that can actually
will be good. All right, game started.
Well, the battle bus sounds like it's ready. Let's jump on in.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.
All right, Jacob, the major finals is here. I'm ready for some action. Our trios will be taking to the world here shortly. We talked about teams that will be getting into early game battles. Apparently, there's word of some surprise contestations happening early on as well.
Oh,
so I'm looking forward
people are getting
to
contested again or more?
Or if they're going to back it up.
Yeah, the drop mat was almost just like a placeholder. Things can change in the blink of an eye when players don't feel as comfortable. But we look at our team international, Yapko, Muzz, and Rise. Not too many changes going on
they're
around
uncontested.
them. They get their drop spot uncontested, and they have a lot of
good,
space to loot up early on in this game, grab the materials,
how's your exams go?
And if they don't like what they have in terms of heals, they can always fish for it as well.
Yeah, that is true. This is a wonderful drop spot.
That huge location that they have all
to themselves. It does beg the question, like, why would someone give away that much territory?
I forgot. Yeah, so Noah's contested.
That I'm most interested in today, how things are going to perform here.
Oh my gosh.
You really have to give super credit to Noah W Plays, DC, and Chaos Gaming. They played a phenomenal qualifier, just kind of leading into it, really shining in the form of consistency points and making end games. And then you have Oliver OG. He's only gotten better over the years, slowly, really working hard, and have earned himself a spot amongst the best. This will be a very interesting clash because, as you know, most teams that get contested don't perform well overall.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just taking a slower approach. And I like how you mentioned their top spots and consistency. In Group 3, this was first and second place on that consistency leaderboard, earning their spot here. And they're taking a much slower, more strategic approach to the overall off-spawn fight. In fact, it looks like Oliver OG, Skater, and Dash are able to keep hopeful heights for themselves and kind of push Noah, DC, and Chaos off towards the outskirts, which isn't too bad for Noah and his trio because there is a lot of loot that you can still gather for out there. So it's not a done deal just yet.
Horrible.
Yeah, I was going to say, there are benefits of having the outskirts, especially if a team was contemplating.
All right, chat, I'm ordering food. We got a lot of turbines. I think we can watch NA West today too.
It does seem like this fight might be looking to break out. A little different here for 20, Void and Broken, who of course kind of inched their way on in. It seems like Power Polish and Listen they'll have a bit of a better, I would say, standing so far, given that they have a lot more shields working, but again, this is the finals lobby. Notice how slow things are going right now, right? Everyone kind of pacing themselves here.
Peterbot's trio
really looking to get situated before they make a move.
Way too OP,
yeah,
bro.
I can just kind of feel the energy right now, Monster. I know we're kind of at home, but if we were in a stadium, I could feel the crowd erupt just for watching and being able to see this team right here. This is a chance for Peterbot to really recreate history. And for Cold as well, he has 2 years worth of Major 1 victories along with his former duo Acorn, and this is his chance to go 3 straight years, Monster, while winning Major 1, and that's something I feel like very few players individually can say they can achieve.
Guys, like I said, for sure in top 5, Peterbot's there.
When you think of
winning
Peterbot's dominant reign, the fact that Cold was able to have the entire community still keep him in discussion.
Dude, where's their third at?
Not just look at Peterbot as the one-man army, right, running things on NA, really puts things into perspective of how good Cold really is. Here's another team that is actually looking to do big things here today. Rapid Bolts and Kanata. We really didn't highlight too much, I should say, coming into things, how Kanata was kind of thrown into this team, right? Originally, this was not his first choice, but he has ended up here, and so far he has managed to make things work.
Yeah, and there was a big question mark over the dedication of Bolts and Rapid for quite some time. Are they going to focus on getting this win? They have a lot of other things going on in their life. And I think when Kanata came over, yeah, there might have been a little bit of a speed bump, but since then, they've been their metal to the metal and just
they got Bucky?
And you already see the visuals and Braids rotating over towards Floxy Floodgate. This isn't the contested fight we thought we were going to see, but a couple of weeks ago, Monster, this was a contested fight on the drop map. Bucky, Okus, and Craze versus Visuals, Braid, and Aminish. I don't know what caused them to switch up their drop spot over to the Rainbow Fields, but you can see it's already working out for them, and they're returning back to the spot because this mountain towards Foxy Floodgate is one of the best mountains you can get because it's close to the center of the zone, and no matter where the zone pulls, you got perfect rotation for it.
Yeah, and already they're kind of winning the drop here, but look at this. A huge clash going down right now. Zeus already in the scramble here. Team's extremely hurt. However, they have the advantage given that they got a couple of eliminations.
Is there like 3 teams here? What is going on?
Siphon kick in is the real question, as the other teams are now looking to collapse in. It does seem like they get just that.
They get the res off.
Yeah, this was that crowded Magic Moss's fight. It's the teams towards the outskirts moving their way in, but you see in the outside, Chimp, Skittles, Victor V, they're closing in.
I don't watch you.
Getting a little bit messy, and Possess, Ralphie, Diego plays a team that qualified through the groups out of consistency while being surprise contested
Diego
as well.
and Possess qualify.
This is a situation I feel like they're all too familiar with.
Very interesting that all of these northern teams have decided to collapse just here by the pump power.
Yeah, what,
if you look at the draw map, these teams have their own mini battles happening, and it seems like their strategy was to rotate into one another, but instead it caused a huge combination.
There's 4 teams. There's 1 team on the outskirts, right? Yeah, there's 4 teams.
You can see Victor V's trio just lurking on the outskirts right now, trying to see where they can kind of get in on this battle as everyone's sort of slowing down, looking to really recover here, if you want to call it that. But still, very limited information, I would say, for Victor V and the rest of his trio as far as how many teams truly are here. I don't think they really
wonder if they're going to full fight.
Yeah, what, 3 teams directly in that position, maybe even a 4th scattered around, and then they would be the 5th. And I like how slow they're actually taking this approach, because now they're giving themselves so many options.
Who got first today?
They don't have to worry about a team just churning it on and kind of trying to burn them down in a couple of split seconds. So they can kind of position themselves, farm up, wait for the action to break out, and then finally make their move. They're not kind of forcing their hand here. And you got to imagine that's got to be the experience that we've seen at a particularly Chimp and Skittles with the amount of finals appearance they have, and then Victor V continuously learning and growing from all his teammates.
Well, one thing's for certain, the more early game clashes that go down like this without eliminations, the surge damage threshold will begin to rise very quickly. This can cause cascading problems for the rest of the lobby. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, Cooper, Vadeal, and Sphinx right now looking to base up amongst one another. They've rotated.
That's why this trio looks so good.
Into Oliver OG's team, who came straight out of the Hopeful Heights. And so far, nothing big has come out of this. However, they have wasted a fair amount of material, couple of Void Oni masks. So you can see that Cooper, Vadeal, and Sphinx might have been caught off guard here.
Yeah, and you can kind of see what Vivian was talking about, a slower approach to their game plan in terms of collecting the surge. They want to make sure that every rotation that they make, they're not getting caught off guard by a lot of these teams, even if that means letting one of these teams overtake them on that rotation. But with the zone slowly but surely starting to begin to close in, they're going to have to make their way forward. And since they realize every single team that's currently positioned around them, they're feeling comfortable just taking their time, going step by step. You see, they're not just trying to be so much surge.
Nice shots there
in grand finals. You need so much surge. It's not even funny. You can never stop just getting tagged. You always got to get it.
Curly from the pump power as well.
Booga seems in a good spot.
Nice and steadily. Meanwhile, we get a little update here for Booga of even threats now. Seems like they're collapsing in on a third party onto a team that was fighting here.
Oh, one's knocked.
Shots giving them the details, so they know something's going on down low. Little did they know the fight's already finished.
Order something right now.
Visuals diminish, come out on top.
So what should I order?
Yeah, basically kind of take it down. 2 members of Bucky, Okus, and Craze. They're just kind of waiting right above them, and it's just a very, very hard situation for Booga of even threats. They can't necessarily drop down there and try to go on the offensive because they don't know. There's so many nooks and crannies where these players can hide down below, so they're just waiting for that moment. They heard the fight finish. Hopefully, they come back up.
3.5 hours, 4 hours. If I watch NA West, that's almost an 8-hour stream. Or it is an 8-hour stream actually. We could watch West
right now, just waiting for that team. So they're just
I don't have that, Colin. I actually don't know what that is.
Early on in the game,
or a pizza uncut, or like a kebab.
Wait, we can't just give away our tower.
Uncircumcised
and the call
pizza.
Was correct. You have Curly and crew inching their way up right now, getting ever so closely. Sonetto, Scare, Veer, a huge team to come out of the qualification. I believe it was week 2. They played so well, consistent, and just kind of appeared on our radars out of nowhere as a team to look out for.
Because it's so grief, bro. What am I watching?
As the months have gone by, right now they're going up against the vets of Edgy, Bila, and Quanti, who have come in on the skin of their teeth. How do we think this is going to shake up?
Now, I think it's going to be a big shakeup here for a lot of these teams because this is one of those rotations that you kind of saw and Vivid talk about Peter.
Yeah, no one's contested.
Both of these
contested by Oliver OG.
Kind of meeting in the middle. One went south, one went north. They're trying to take the slow approach, and they really get caught off guard by this exchange. You see an empty slot on Sonetto, materials being missed. This isn't one situation they want to be in, but whoever wins this trio will have a huge refresh.
Noah
really
disengaged though right off rip. Like they took the, I think they took about half the POI and disengaged.
Very similarly for their rotates.
Oh no, this guy might
And they found themselves collapsed here on the outskirts inside the
storm. Guys either going to throw or get him the elimination.
Plenty to work with Scarsnetto and Veer's loadout here as far as sustainability is concerned. And I like how they're playing these side angles. Scare's got the perfect angle right now to really put the pressure up onto Quanti and Edgy right here from the low ground. They have to be careful. There it is. They're going to go in and get with one another, make sure they cap off their HP, keep their shields nice and up.
This team is not going away.
Battle, and there goes the three-way split once again. All looking for separate angles right now. It's exactly how you want to kind of keep control of a three-way fight.
Yeah, just continue, just kind of suffocate
them,
sandwich them little by little, take away their options, their space, and you see Sonetto trying to back up the heel, but the pressure is on to break into the box, and they take him down. He's gonna be the first one dropped out of this fight, but Bylock
they traded,
bringing it down to a 2v2. Quanti and Edgy trying to survive, and it looks like Quanti has no choice but to try to disengage. Edgy goes down as well. A mistake that look will haunt them for the rest of game one.
Scare, Veer, clutch it up, and although they lost Sonetto, they do find themselves two eliminations.
Can't even res.
Of damage here. Talk about
Quanti won't be able to res because they got a knock, I believe. Quanti knocked one, thirsted. They're gonna reboot over there. Quanti's not like in this situation. It is so hard to come back from a reboot because everything's already looted. Or there's teams everywhere. They hear a reboot or they say reboot on visual audio. They're gonna key that. They don't care. You know. They need the eliminations. They need the surge. So if you get knocked, or two of your teammates get knocked, like towards mid game, your game is practically done. You can't do anything about it. I've spawned a different story if no one's like around you.
And the material count is looking
resing at Grants is like legit impossible. Unless you go way back into Storm. You go way back to the Storm and you reboot. You could do that too. That's an option. But you're more than likely to get held out. That is your only option.
Because you know it's going to be all looted.
They go way back
into a refresh situation, having to find elimination sooner or later. Possess Ralphie Diego plays as a team that we saw in an early skirmish. What was it, a 4 or 5 team scuffle at the top side of the map? They immediately made their way out towards the south side of the map.
I need the Popular to go crazy here. I still think
they're worrying just a little bit about Surge. Just 89.
Chat, imagine parlays on Fortnite competitive. Would you guys do that or no?
Things that happen to some teams that might not be prepared for it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm trying to see what I should order here. Give me 1 sec. I'm like looking in between.
A lot of players, especially come game 1 and 2, tend to stay alive. Surge does trigger relatively early and will cause a lot of chaos on the map here. Possessed, Ralphie Diego recognizing just that as well, so they're looking to force their hand here into a fight. I like that. They're taking action now before the warnings start to get issued to the lobby here.
A lot of teams, or a decent amount of teams, are going to be king because they need to surge. People just don't die.
And it's Clixie who's on the run right now. Meanwhile, looks like the islands just come up. Who's going to be the first to go for it? 2 teams are on the way up. Ritual, Peterbot, and Cold being one of them. DJ's trio there as well.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna fight for this?
They're looking to take this fight immediately.
Yeah, and Havoc's already just getting beamed, trying to fly up in the sky. That's one of the things you have to really watch out for. The Void Orb can only take you so far.
Oh, this is gonna be so grief, dude.
And a lot of that damage is gonna be there, but for now, I think
this is gonna be like legit next level grief.
Another trio went up toward this mountain, so they're just not trying to lose focus, go for the boss, and trying to get beamed. So now that a third team's up there, it's just gonna make it a little bit more risky for all 3 of the trios, not just Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual.
And notice,
I'm just gonna get Taco Bell.
That gets occupied, so does the very prestigious material that comes with it. All that brick being taken straight into another team's hands here. Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual have to make a decision quickly now, as they haven't picked up any eliminations, and you know it's very telling so far.
It's Taco Tuesday. Right?
We all knew that Peterbot might have taken a fight early on against the trio nearby, but it seems like that didn't end up working out in their favor. Meanwhile, Bolts Rapid and Kanata right now, only 230 damage.
That is Taco Tuesday.
It must be extremely high, given that we saw them kind of in an early game clash. And they're not content with this high ground spot. They want to get out of here. Too many teams are up top. It seems like they're going to be the first to go.
Yeah, and not only that, but from what we've seen throughout the group stages, we can even throw the play-in stages, watching a couple of these streams, is this isn't the easiest place to get surge for a lot of these teams, especially if you're down below. But Ritual, Peterbot, Cold, they did not take an early game fight, but they followed teams around to try to get their surge early. They're 533 above that damage threshold, really setting the tone and the pace. And you see how passive they're playing. I feel like they're almost waiting for another one of those teams to either disengage off the island or start the boss. When the boss gets started, you know there's so much destruction and chaos.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Like that's when they're gonna try to make a move.
Contesting that is so great.
Opportunity to take
but Peterbot always contests like those. Oh, he's here.
Even though they got into that
Wait,
little
is he gonna get a reboot on?
you can see that the pickup was good for Edgy and Bila. Quanti getting them back in the game. However, they are still below the surge now. There are shots happening.
There's someone right next to him, is there not?
Should see.
Oh no, it's a squishy.
Quanti and team get a little bit active here shortly. However, I'm wondering.
Who's watching the YouTube stream right now?
He's the furthest behind.
Who are my YouTube viewers right now? Who's saying?
Looks like Sinetto and Veer's trio battling on the edge. Here's Power, Polis, and Listen. They've again been contested, and still here's a team that didn't finish their fight either.
Looks like Okus might be back in the game. Trying to see if I see any of his teammates nearby, because it was, I believe, Bucky and Craze that went down very early on. Can he get the reboot? That's going to be the big question. Luckily for him, it's finally leaving away from Foxy Floodgate. From Powerless and Polis, they're continuously falling further and further below the threshold. A big shot like that from Power is going to ease up a little bit of that pressure, but you can see it's not going to be enough. Still 140 below. Out come the splashes, the heals from the team, but they have to start getting proactive. They have to get this damage, otherwise they'll be left with nothing and no damage.
And what's crazy about that, they could have gotten the elimination onto Okus, but it looks like the Surge did that for them. So more damage lost because they couldn't find the chance, and it looks like Curly, Virgo, and Noxie's patience pays off here, as they were also under Surge pressure.
Nice. Noxie's team got that.
Look at that. 3 eliminations come walking into their box. Now they have all the damage that they need.
Stuff. And they are very much in this game right now. Rest in peace, Mawad. Oh my gosh. I remember. I think I remember you when it came out.
Fishing for damage right now, and you can see they are victims of this Surge as well. Very hurt trios starting to take place here. Still, they find themselves right on the edge.
It's almost like a blessing and a curse being one of the premier teams in the lobby, because we always talk about how much space they've been able to claim from the top of the Dojo on the mountains all the way down to Pump and Pipes, almost into the Shatter Span, Dropper, Muzz, Rise, and Yapko. That means they're not going to be able to get as much surge. They're going to have to go on the hunt for it, and if things don't go their way, exactly this will happen. Below the threshold, on the hunt, trying to find some heals. The rest of the team still trying to find the shots they need.
Yeah, Bucky's team died.
Backside of zone. That's Mason. That's Chance. That's Donnie. But they're still below. Even with opportunities like that, they still have to find more.
These shots Kanata are putting down are what we would call clutch shots right now. They're giving him the damage he needs, but the clock is ticking. Now, here's the problem. You have Bolts fishing up for heals right now.
Not about to die. Oh, Clicks.
Meanwhile, Clicks,
bro, it's so grief. Everyone needs surge, and 2 are going to be dying.
They're going to find elimination. They need more damage.
Oh my gosh.
Into the box. They find him as well. And this is going to be the saving grace for this trio. They need the Siphon to start ticking here. There it is. It's going to keep them alive and healthy now.
Okay, so Clix's team just eliminated. Oh, Noah's team got somebody too. Noah's fighting right now. DC Awesomer. He's got an elimination also.
What a refresher as well. So much material being picked up.
Oh my, yo, Kanata and Rapid died.
Finally tuned back in.
See, I took Kanata out and I put Clicks.
Finally finds his way up that damage threshold, but instantly back down below. 9. He gets ticked by 1, but it finally turns off, but immediately back on. That just goes to show how grueling and stacked this lobby is. I think from here to the rest of the game, it might not even shut off. So Bolts knows proactivity is going to be key. He has to continue to look the backside of these zones. And
how many people are alive right now? There's 62 people alive, chat.
Boat says, you know what? I gotta get
closer. Zone 6.
I need to get in the action right now. Otherwise, I am gonna get sent right back to the lobby. And Warman finds a little bit of a refresher. That's gonna be a moment.
It's a Warbat.
For him here. Let's go ahead and have something to work with. Back to his base he goes. He wants to play the range game, but notice he put metal down. He's gonna have to end up working through that, and instead he starts looking towards the opposite direction here. But if Bolts doesn't find tags now, it's gonna be all over here shortly in the coming moments.
Yeah, you can definitely just kind of put him on the clock. 145. That's about like 5 good shots with that hollow twister. But no one.
Wait, is Peterbot trying to fight?
Brick metal. It's even hard to break through that to try to get what you need. On the other side,
they got the medallion. Oh, I did win this fight. What?
A lot of what we're
they win this fight. Unless Peterbot instantly throws here.
42 above that damage threshold.
Oh no,
with the medallion,
wait, Ritual died.
Finding those opportunities to get what they need without risking it all.
It's Chimp who finds Ritual there. Victor V's trio set up.
Oh, what am I watching? It's actually so great.
To actually back off here, and they're gonna
guys, even if Peterbot is just him and Cold, dude, him and Cold are more than enough to win that game still, which is crazy. Peterbot has won global solo. Like I think 2 game solo. These 2 are enough to win. Believe me. The game. They don't need a third. They don't need a third.
They will have to play this out as a 2-man team. Talk about, and you know, you just never know what's gonna happen on a final stage. If you could have told me that Peterbot, Cold, and Rich will be in such a desperate situation come game 1, I'd say you were lying for sure.
For some reason, though, I don't even feel too worried. It's Peterbot. It's Cold. It's 2 of the most individually skilled players that we have in this game right now. I feel like if anybody can make it work as a duo, it is going to be them. But a team that qualified after getting a reboot in the group stages from second place to first. Agers, Acorn, and Poyo. Some of the most experienced team in the lobby in terms of FNCS championships. One of the things that we saw in that group stages was they were struggling a little bit when it came to Surge. That kind of dictated and forced their hand in certain situations. But it's great to see they learned from their mistakes. In Zone 7, they're 271 above that threshold.
And a team that's not too very far off. Sphinx, Cooper, and Vadeal looking like they need to get absolutely active here. A full-on fight breaking out right now. Jacko, Muzz, and Rise.
Right, so one of my Noah died. He was in my top 5.
Talk about chaos unfolding right now. And the feed starting to light up here to really reflect the danger in the lobby.
Cooper is actually full 1
Mason
HP.
go down, Curve. 2 different teams losing players. Even Donnie, Sphinx. Though,
when it pulls far away.
With 167 below the damage threshold,
it's actually so bad for Cooper's team.
To try to figure out what is the
game
plan,
Surge?
especially with one of the farthest pulls in the lobby. And now you add on the fact that it's active Surge. Cooper just got taken down.
My top 5 might be completely wrong.
By the looks of it, they do not have a lot of resources
Noah
to
died.
deal with this. 7 seconds left. 25 HP. He's looking to try to hold this spot, hold the line. 1 HP in a dream. Vadeal has it as well. They're getting pressured from all around. Sphinx goes down. Vadeal can only take 2 ticks, but now he's
in this situation, you're just dead, bro.
He just needs to figure out a way to survive, but out of materials, out of time, they go down.
Peterbot's alive still, like I said. Flix is still alive.
That's
top.
The tags
that's 2 teams from my top 3 that are alive.
Just a moment away from
what about Poyo? Poyo died?
It was just a matter of time before the rest of the lobby caught up. Fully healthy now. Peterbot, Cold jump up to the high ground here. This is I would say an active desperation.
Well, I don't have him in order. That's just top 5 in general.
They don't really have the mats to hold this out. However, they're puffing their chest out, trying to look bigger than they really are here, and avoiding damage of the low ground. Could see Amzo, Batman, Booga. Here's my favorite team, I think, to take the weekend. Situated very, very comfortably here come this mid game right now, or actually I should say the end game.
He still plays? I didn't realize.
Starting to inch our way towards it. But Cold and Peterbot starting to get things back under control now from the high ground.
Yeah, this is usually the stage of the game where really everybody's kind of going through battles down below. They don't really have too much time to look up, and that's a blessing for Cold and Peterbot. As soon as a duo or trio sees it, they usually like to try to make a late game play, and you see a lot of their resources being split between the 2 because they don't have a lot left. And that's where you see him peeking through the cone. Clix is seeing that as a sign of weakness. We can see a potential Clix and Yamzo, Bat and Booga high ground retake.
Oh, what a play would that be?
What a play would that mean?
They're the furthest team to rotate here. Plenty of charges left in a Void Oni mask as well. So they're not going to have a single problem rotating through the rest of this end game. Meanwhile, Cold and Peterbot only have 2 or 3 charges up top. So a much different story, but
they gotta go up.
Land themselves in a world of trouble here. Teams everywhere forced to go through their heavy mats now. The call comes to get up off the layer. Batman Booga is the last to jump up, but it seems like
that was huge. That layer change was huge.
Themselves a moment here. Jacko, Muzz, and Rise, though, are running things on the low ground. They seem to have this fully under control at the moment.
Poyo got elimination.
Yeah, 36. It's not a huge feeling confidence for Storm Surge, but they know at this stage in the game it's going to be more than enough. Agers, Acorn, Poyo, they find another elimination.
What if Clix takes the whole thing? I feel like Clix has a good chance of winning everything. Honestly,
that's where the desperation comes in from a lot of those teams trying to scrape together any bit of placement points.
Crazy to think there was about 5
and Cold and Peterbot are in height.
To take the weekend away, and most of them are still in this game right now. Gonna make for a very interesting game 1 here in the coming moments. Acorn, though, flying too close to the sun, gets the attention of the high ground teams. Meanwhile, Yamzo gets a huge refresher here with Clix and Batman Booga. They are very much in this game as well. They're not playing for low ground right now. They're looking to possibly go for high ground as well. And what a sleeper trio here. Threats and Booga still alive right now, working their low ground spot.
It was big clutches by Bugha that kept him in it to get him to this stage, and now we're seeing another opportunity with Threats by his side. This is a duo that has so much experience through last year's FNCS with a big knock in the backside of zone. Agers, Poyo, and Acorn, though, looking like they will not be stopped at any opportunity in turn. They take down and bulldoze through every trio in front of them.
This is crazy. Big set of eliminations.
Dude,
There's 7 for Agers and company.
Peterbot on height, Poyo second height.
Peterbot and Cold still have high ground, but for how much longer?
Wait, they might take it. They might take it.
To the top here, and they're putting a little bit of pressure down. You can see it's just wood builds. They're completely out. Cold gets knocked down. Agers goes for height. Poyo and Acorn have it now.
Oh way.
They're building up, and it's
Poyo's team took height over Peterbot.
No one is going to be able to stop them from here on out. The zone
Cold goes down, bro.
Peterbot by himself.
If Peterbot wins solo,
that's going to be the hope. But right behind, that's
right there.
Batman Bugha.
There's no way.
Leading the way. He's trying to break into a tart, but he doesn't really have any options outside of the zone. The last of the splashes, his only chance to heal, to try to stay alive inside of the top 7. Almost by elimination onto Encrypted. If he can get this, he can. That siphon is keeping him alive.
Insane. And the fact that he just can't be seen here because the medallion keeps him invisible. Look at him go. And onto Rise's layer he goes as well. Look at him just working his way up and down, seeking, threatening everyone nearby. Another elimination, and Peterbot is starting to heat up.
It's feeling a deja vu from the global champion.
You got another one?
Again, Yamzo goes down. This is why we call him one of the most dangerous players in the game.
Go to zone, go to zone, go to zone.
Almost getting taken down, but Peterbot's not done just yet. Shield's getting cracked. He finds another one on the clicks. Can anybody stop him?
He is still going single-handedly, keeping his team in the game now, and just like that, a top 4 position.
Bro,
but let's
what did I just watch?
Focus to who could win this game right now.
He's
Agers, Acorn.
He's killed the Clicks' whole team.
Ground, looking to work their way towards 10 eliminations. There's still 2 teams left. They're fully healthy. Japco's gonna get one, and Agers is the first to fall, but a trade happens, and it's all going down now, Jacob. It's up to Muzz here. Can he clutch it up?
That was only 2 of our 3 trios down below. They went through unnoticed.
Oh my gosh.
Come
on, Poyo.
Drop down from above. Acorn's already there.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't win against him.
Poyo by himself. Can he make the heroic play? He knows 2v1 weak. He's trying to take advantage, but out and around. That's going to be a minute. Rain from down below. Visuals there as well. 3v1, but Poyo's not going to be stopped. Down goes a Minish. 9 HP. Making it into the zone. He's trying to let the storm do his work.
Siphon, get your siphon, get your siphon.
Very smart play right there. He's going to heal up. It's all up to visuals now, and it's gonna come down to a single shot. Poyo does not miss. He connects when it matters.
No
and
way.
He will win game number 1.
Poyo clutched that up.
Just witness. I thought the clutches were over.
Oh my gosh.
Then 20 in the LCQ.
Dude, what did I just watch?
Stage and the major one finals, showing that this roster change for him was worth it.
Peterbot clutches, and then Poyo clutches.
For everyone to put all the focus on the other teams, you start to forget who Poyo really is.
Bro, that was crazy.
Did all of last year. There's
that
a
was,
reason
dude, what a crazy game, bro. Peterbot is not human. Peterbot, I swear, is not human.
Take a look at Acorn, Agers, and Poyo's highlight reel here. Come the end game. What a clash. What a game number 1 as this stage was truly set for us here.
One sec, chat. One sec.
It was a good old classic
I had to grab
situation.
a water bottle. One sec.
And his former duo just said, anything you can do, I can do better. In the tightest of situations, 8 eliminations for him, 14 for the team. We know who's in first place, but Zeke, Kelly, Vivid, what did you think of that madness?
Oh my God. That was game number. No.
Oh no, my.
No, a game that I thought, I really believed for like a moment, like one moment, that like Peterbot was gonna solo clutch that game. Like I really did for like one moment believe. And to have Poyo come out and win game number 1 is like crazy poetic. I mean, guys, 14 elimination victory royale in a setting where the best trios are on one bus. And I just watched that.
That is serendipity if I have ever seen it. To have Peterbot's incredible solo run be outplayed by his old duo mate Poyo, going one after another, having Agers go down on height. Poyo then a solo having to drop down for the 1v2. That's just game number 1, Vivid.
We could probably, you know, Zeke was like, you know, we could probably talk about Peterbot you know, for the whole entire pre-show if we really wanted to. I feel like we could talk about this game for the rest of the show. There was so much to kind of break down, but it just came down to the clutches. I mean, that of course is going to steal the highlight. Poyo, what an incredible job. Jacob caught it. He knew he had to wait for the siphon, letting the storm do the work there. Finally letting that siphon come in. Had the confidence to take the fight over. Wow. NA. Wow.
I am shocked. Okay, I am just, I don't even know. Okay, look, we're gonna go to a break.
Yeah, we need one.
When we come back, we'll have collected ourselves. I will not have, and we'll talk about what happened in that last game. Stick with us. We'll be back right after this.
I'm back. Whoa! Chill out with the freaking copyright, bro. Trying to copyright me? Let's go, Bean. Hey. Minute 30. All right, be right back. One more time, guys. One more time. Be right back in 1 minute.
Welcome back to the FNCS. I thought 3 minutes was gonna be enough time.
It was.
I just cannot believe what a statement game we just watched from Poyo, Agers, and Acorn. 14 elimination victory royale, a solo clutch from Poyo. That is a clip for the ages. Oh my gosh. That was just game one, Kelly. That was just game one.
I don't think I can handle this. I don't think I can do 5 more games, but I'm going to have to. And I'm so excited. I'm so happy that this is what NA is bringing us. There has been so many doubters out there being like, oh, NA is going to be boring. Well, they've all shut up now, okay? From game one, here we have Poyo, Acorn, Agers with 121 points. And also in second place, Visual Braids and Aminish. We talked about them at the start of the show. A bit of underdogs in the competition. Getting second place in game one is definitely setting themselves up for success. But of course, Peterbot's insane solo run, Vivid, is what it caused them to get that 3rd place spot.
I mean, yeah, we're obviously going to hone in on the Peterbot effect there at the very end. But, I mean, first and foremost, the situation that this trio was put in, they were a duo. Peterbot and Cold were a duo. Had the confidence to actually go up to the higher ground, and they held that for the first 2 moving zones there, right? 9th, 10th, 11th. They were actually holding it. I think finally it was Clix's trio that maybe was like, is that a duo up there? And finally some teams started to kind of fly up and start to fight for that higher ground. And then Peterbot. I honestly, my jaw actually hurts right now because I haven't stopped smiling from watching this. And I don't know if that's ever happened since I've been an analyst on the show, honestly.
All right, 2 minutes till next game starts.
This was just insane. When you put something like this medallion in the game, where you can do these solo plays, Peterbot is going to take full advantage of that.
Yeah, that game was crazy.
Every single shot hit right there. Every single moment. I mean, he was climbing on things. I didn't even know it was possible. I was like, oh my God, he can do that?
Yes.
Yeah, Peterbot is just insane.
I mean, especially if you put that medallion on him, right? Just running without any slowing down right there. And it literally had to be a trio to stop him. But when he saw all the stragglers, and that's really what they do well, is picking off player by player where they're kind of off by themselves.
Major 1 finals points. Okay, so this is a leaderboard right now for the top 10. So Poyo in 1st, Aminish 2nd, Ritual, Peterbot 3rd. Clix is in 5th. So okay. I have 1, 2, 3 of my predicted teams in the top 5. Currently top 5. 3. So I'm 3 out of 5 right now for my top 5 predictions. That's good.
Themselves, just huge props to success in Fortnite.
You know what, Kelly, I'm going to go ahead and run away with your point right there and say, heck, the conversation about Clix, Yamzo, and Batman Booga
favorite cheese? I don't know, bro.
Surge in general. I mean, we were jumping from some of our top name teams to the other one, to the other one, to that one. They were all like below. And we were just sitting there, we're like, what's going on?
Magic Clix
gets
is 4th.
Maybe we got some stuff to figure out here. But yeah, everybody seemingly struggling with Storm Surge right there, right? Like Cooper, Vadeal, and Sphinx, probably the biggest ones.
Clix breaks the curse today. He gets
sure. A crazy game number 1 from start to finish, including that Storm Surge. I mean, some of these teams, they got to figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully that was just game number 1. You know, if that was game number 12, we'd be having a very different conversation.
True.
You know, but hey, it's fine. That was just game number 1. Let's get 5 more games of that. Wow, we are amped, and we hope that you guys are as well. It is that time. Will game number 2 have that same energy?
Oh, 19? It's all good. He died 22nd. That's why.
I hope so, because
you can bring it back this game.
With that being said, though, find your seats on the bus. Game number 2 is ready, so casters, take it away.
I wholeheartedly agree. I hope the rest of today and tomorrow continues at this pace, because that was only game number 1. We saw Peterbot heroics, but we saw Poyo really show up and show out.
All right.
Yeah, man. I thought
what if Poyo takes the whole thing, bro?
The highlights, the reactions from the community was going to be enough to, like, you know, give me what I needed for the weekend.
Poyo Loco.
I need more. The action is just incredible. And at this pace, I don't know if we're going to have a voice for tomorrow. Talk about a game number 1. That's just setting the stage now as we're jumping in for game number 2. And by the way, shout out to Faxity. I can hear his voice through Twitter here in my house. He was going crazy for the pop-off game. You can really just feel the energy going crazy right now.
Yeah, that energy is contagious, even popping up on the reaction streams on the side.
Let's go.
But it's now time for game number 2.
Let's go, chat. Time for game 2, baby.
Let's find out.
Game 2. There's 6 matches. We played 1. Or they played 1, sorry.
Monster, let's go ahead and talk about another team, though. It's
so
easy
game 2,
to
after this we'll have 4 more. So 4 more matches after this.
We talked about them being contested at that little.
All right, let's see. Is Noah gonna give them the POI again, or is he gonna actually fight them? What's gonna happen? I think Noah fights them off spawn. Honestly, I feel like that changes his whole game if he fights them off spawn. They get more surge. They have the rest of the POI to loot, and they won't be like going for scraps. Essentially, you know.
All of our teams that we thought would be coasting through this game number 1.
Yeah, they have better drops too. They have much better drops. No way. No way, right?
Difficult problems maintaining the damage, but this is one of those things you cannot practice for. You can't prepare for. Real finals lobbies is just so different, right? Everyone slows down. Things really start to become
I think they should fight out spawn too, depending on what loot they get.
Type of time, even in the weeks leading up to it. So now more than ever, You have to hit your shots. And you have to commit to these fights. I think game 1 showed this. You can't just walk away from these battles.
Oh my God.
You need to finish them.
Yeah, and this is like 2 examples where they kind of disengaged on out.
What the heck am I watching?
In game number 2, Chimp's already down. Skittles follows, and Victor V is no more. G Money, Seek, and Osid already claim Magic Moses as their own.
Huge set of eliminations right here. Magic Mosses had to get wrapped up.
Wait, go back to Noah. What is Noah doing?
Monster and Seek now winning this fight is a huge start for them. They need the points here to go ahead and kind of catch back up, make up for lost time. For Skittles, Chimp, and Victor V, though, it's going to be a major setback for anyone else. But listen, Power in Polis right now here at the Canyon Crossing seem to continue to have problems right now.
They're gonna for sure.
It's 20.
Oh yeah, they're keen now, bro. They're keen now for sure.
Notice the difference between this game and the last 10 players now. Fully eliminated teams have recognized, okay, we're contested. We need to get these eliminations.
He almost actually got him.
And move on with the game. So the dynamics now, Jacob, are going to be very different compared to game number 1.
Yeah, and I don't think it's so much just about the loot when they're splitting these drops, Monster, even though that is a good point, but it's exactly what you're talking about, the surge. The Storm surge from game 1 was very,
okay, I don't know is fighting on spawn. I think he left.
A lot of our top-tier teams that you
or
guess
Collar left,
on that Storm surge were actually below and around that threshold itself. So I think off-spawn fights like this are become more and more impactful and actually getting the damage, finishing them early, so you actually give yourself a shot to play the rest of the game out with less worries.
And you know what? I called it in game number 1 when I saw teams kind of taking these extended fights, tagging one another.
Oh yeah, I did a solo second place, and I did
that came to my mind is the first surge is going to be very high. And that's what happened. That's what happens when you take
Nada has this POI.
Kind of don't finish them.
Whoa, what's going on here?
And it keeps going. But enough of that. Braid's visuals and Minish are holding on to their top 3 position right now. Pretty much holding on for dear life here, as they've already lost a man here. Visuals down in the box. Will they allow the team to get the pickup here is the real question. Swappy nearly picked up, but looks like Kix is the one playing defense right now, and they're not too happy about this. Minish looks like he's calling for the disengage, but Braids is deep in it. And unfortunately, they are going to have to give it up now.
Unfortunately, now they're going to give up now.
Yeah, I think that return was just kind of get that reboot card back on out. Gonna go ahead and use this van right here, but you saw that he threw the orb early on just in case they continue to get pushed. They can kind of make their way on out with ease, but just judging by the mini-map, nobody really making their way on over. After a fight like that, in a drop spot like this, I think both of them kind of know we need resources, we need materials, we need loot in order to have a good game when we win this fight or not.
Noah did go down.
Skater dash and Oliver OG, where in game number 1 they allowed Chaos Gaming, Noah to back out, right? They're like, no, not this time, taking full advantage of the high ground here, and they're pushing in on DC Awesomer. Ronin Dash has got the Void Oni Mask right on top of his opponent here, but looks like Chaos Gaming might be the most out of position right now. He's gonna go ahead and go for it here shortly. Skater's here to back him up as well. And this is going to be looking like a set of eliminations to be picked up here.
No way.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Chaos. 2v1. His teammates already abandoned him. It's almost a necessary evil to try to stay alive and keep the game intact. But now they're immediately trying to beeline, follow DC. Not really let him out.
DC's out here too. If DC 1v3s this, that'd just be...
Regardless, and whoever he wants those reboot cards. And I think this is going to be a really interesting decision for Oliver, Skater, and Dash if they want to continue to follow this solo across the map, because you know as well as I do, the longer contested off-spot and fights go, the riskier of that third party is going to be, and already you see one team moving on over.
Team starting to slide in down to the hopeful heights here, and they're moving pretty quickly now.
DC has potential 1v3.
Trying to get out of there. They're gonna have to fully dip now. Skater.
Oh wait, one of their teammates died.
That's just how quickly things can change here.
Oh, DC just showing up there.
Not even the best loadout either, right? They're leaving behind so much of their drop spot here. This is gonna be a very tough game for them to go ahead and try to find themselves situated, but the damage has been done. Meanwhile, a Minish and Visuals,
very
from one bad situation to another, they find themselves at the Seaport City, and looks like Booga and crew are welcoming this team here. They had a bit of a problem last game finding their activity in the early game, so this could be a boon for them.
Could be a curse, but for now,
oh my gosh, Oliver OG
chasing them so far out the map, getting separated. You see Oliver OG had no choice but to get separated from the rest of his team, you see in the minimap, the two solos just kind of scrambled around, and there goes that team that Visual and Braids originally contested, also moving on over in this direction. And you saw just kind of being dictated from game one. All these players realizing like, hey, we need to get our surge early. We need to make sure that we're at least above a certain threshold so that way we can focus on our rotations when that time comes.
Like what we're watching right now with this little standoff here, Press, Clixie, and DrewBot really looking to commit right now. They're still safe for the time being on the Storm. Seem like they have this thing somewhat under control, but it's giving Tony, Creo, and Zeus a little too much time, it seems like, to go and get situated.
Team is keying too. I feel like more teams are going to be keying for Surge because of last game. Last game was insane. Oh, Peterbot.
Meanwhile,
oh my gosh.
Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual in a completely different fight here at the Magic Mosses. They've rotated straight out of their drop and into another squad.
This is
that was
how
sketch.
they like to fight for their surge early on, get above that threshold.
Right there.
And it's kind of these prolonged fights where they land damage. The other
they
team
win this. They win this without a doubt. No way. No way.
The longer this one takes,
they're staggering. And they're
could potentially move in, but you take notice. Peterbot is kind of just forcing them into one angle.
Ritual, Cold, and Peterbot. Yeah.
And as soon as they press into a situation just like this, it's like taking candy from a baby. Two more players are going to drop. They're leaving Taram as a solo, who's also taking damage.
Is any weaknesses to work on for next time aside from Ranger?
You can run, but you can't hide. Peterbot.
Just Ranger.
Right now. And here's the thing about Peterbot. He plays like he is a 2 or 3 man army on his own, right? You can really leave him to his own devices and he'll go ahead and make sure things get done. And so can Cold. And look at this. All of a sudden now this team levels up. 3 eliminations already.
3 eliminations. I feel like Peterbot's gonna be keying a lot of this game.
Found the surge, the damage that they
if they key one more team,
group stages is telling of what might come next. They should be setting themselves up for a big end game right now. Meanwhile, Clix, Batman, Booga, and Yamzo can't say the same for them, right? They've had a relatively quiet start to their game. They're relatively maxed on material here,
and now
they need to start finding themselves into some types of situations to find damage.
You know, for their lobbies this season, I know you're kind of a fan of this team. I think everybody, rightfully so, they've got about a 23% win rate when it comes to set lobbies this season in finals. There's only one team higher than them. That's Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual at 28% as well. So as long as they can continue to stay above that Storm Surge threshold early on in the game,
in zone, Poyo has a surge base going.
Most success. It's when they
why is this team always in zone?
Around the map, separated and kind of forced into box fight situations is where they're going to have their struggles.
Yeah, and a lot of teams find themselves in those spots, right? How do you figure out what is your weak point in your strategy?
Oh, lie, guys. Playing Edge in stacked games,
to practice. You don't
I don't think it's the way to go. I feel like playing center, if you can get there, is your absolute best option. Because every time I play in a stacked end game, every single time, playing Edge has always been always almost led to death. Almost every single time.
You just have no idea how much it really takes.
So if you if your drop spot's towards the middle and you're winning, or you have your spot,
but for Japco, Rise,
this should be fairly easy for you. Not easy, but easier. Sorry.
Caliber trio.
Because you don't have to go from the outside in, you go from the inside out. You go from the inside out, it's a lot easier.
So far, they have the zone
pull somewhere, you know?
Between 2 spots. Their team's nicely spread across the kind of canvas here, and seems to be working pretty well for them so far.
Yeah, and you got to take note. They land at the Shattered Span, so they immediately noticed the zone, rotated south, trying to hope that that congested south side of the map where a lot of teams are contesting are being where they can find the surge. And a team very similar, but without having to rotate, is Vadeal, Sphinx, and Cooper. Kind of a disaster happened in that last game. Just weren't able to control their Storm Surge. They were kind of stuck in a situation, using a lot of their heals and forced to fight. With the zone moving over this side of the map very early on, they know a lot of teams from the west, any teams that are remaining on the south, are going to have to rotate through their direction, and they're hoping that's how they're going to accumulate their surge.
Real quick.
Oh, look at this, though. Creo putting pressure right now. He's going to find the shield breaks onto Cold there. Peterbot and Ritual forced into playing offense on their own for a second now. Creo, though, has to be careful here. Looks like he's already done woken the bear now. Off they go, rotating out as they see the push come back. And again, this is still inside the Magic Mosses. One of the very interesting things that we talked about, Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual, is that they can afford to do whatever they want in their early game because teams are going to move really quickly away from them, right, for the most part. So They have complete, I would say, control of this terrain right now.
Yeah, and this is exactly what kind of Vivid was breaking down in the pregame. They got that early game fight, so you got to imagine where they're at in terms of the Storm Surge numbers, staying in the zone, rotating all the way towards the dead side to try to find an easy and smooth way in. And when they see these teams along the way, they're going to go ahead and pop some shots.
Oh,
and wow. The first one down in a split second, and I don't think his team's going to have enough time to react. That's G-Money and Ozid that's going to be left alive without Seek.
And you notice how quickly they threw those Void Oni masks. There wasn't a single ounce of hesitation in that trio.
Elimination. What did I aim?
Shoot,
I don't even know.
They're all there. And you're down.
Oh, they're fighting a Minish team here?
Theirs to keep now. And that's just going to give them more confidence to play dead side rotate, more confidence to go ahead and get in the center of the map here come the mid game.
It's a huge difference from game one. But no, about 88, 89 people at this stage in the game, and I did see a knock from the zone to feed, and you're seeing how it's getting cleaned up.
Jeez,
Blitz gets the elimination.
Nice.
Jojo is trying to get away. Aoxy gets caught out. That's basically a solo here, and you know as well as I do, only because they're in zone, they might not go for the chase, but if this was
trio is so
anywhere
good.
else, they would make sure to hunt down that solo.
Just watching these trios come together makes this FNCS feel so special right now. There's something in the air here. I am just enjoying every single minute of these clashes, these engagements right now. The top teams really putting it down right now, showing us why they are here, why they deserve to be in the finals, and honestly why they're amongst the best and the favorites, right, of the region here to perform well. Every single big name trio we've expected to perform well are doing just that, especially come game number 2 right now, where the experience really starts to take the lead.
From one fight to the next.
Food's going to be here in 35 minutes, apparently.
Too greedy on trying to follow those other 2 players out, just trying to rotate with the zone. And this is almost nearby their old POI, Brutal Boxcars. They heard a reboot van in the distance, and I think they're just going to try to move their way on over, try to gather where all these other teams on the north side of the map are making their way in towards the zone, while it looks like Cold and Ritual are going to position themselves on the Brutal Boxcars mountain, so that way they can continue to accumulate Surge in that regard as well.
Let's take a look here. A couple pop tags from Cold right now. Talk about activity when they.
Well, I didn't know if Chris was playing. I had no idea.
Continue to be this active, but it seems like game 1's a bit of a scare here for Cold, Peterbot, and Ritual, making them think twice about their Surge situation right now. They don't want to be in the same spot that they found themselves in game number 1.
For them, I think it's just wait a minute, see where zone goes, make a move from there. On the other side, though, I do believe they already got a knock onto one player. They see them rotating away in towards the north, taking the launch pad. You know they're going to use their mask, whatever they can do to close the distance.
I might play the next FNCS in my region.
Rise and Muzz are going to be the first ones on over
to youngsters to back in IGL.
Where they have a chance to spot them in the water. And it's going to be Yapko that actually does spot out that solo first.
Still deciding if they're going to make a move for it. Void Oni mass charges being used up. Not sure how I feel about this overcommitment right now, but they're feeling pretty confident. The tag comes in. Rise almost caught out of position right there. Now has to wait for his team. Big Box comes out. Early splashes as well.
Can you win?
Ooh, comes to Muzz's rescue there as he's got the couple splashes. The zone almost put them in a bad spot, but seems like things are going to settle now. Minish Visuals and Braids are saying, hey, you know what, bring this action. We want it. Typhoon Blazer out. No connections just yet. Defense looking sound here for Muzz's trio. But Muzz, in a bit of a scramble right now. Force a low ground.
Braids goes down.
Happens. Braids is down and out. It's up to Visuals here to try to clutch it up. And Minish already in a full-on fledged battle. Japko back against the wall as well. As he continues to get forced into the storm.
You got to jump in there,
great
bro.
repositioning by Yapko, knowing that they were kind of knocking on the door. He was weak. A lot of damage was dealt, but he's trying to reunite. And there goes Muzz winning a huge fight yet
they got Rise.
And now they have the Kappa factory where they can instantly try to get that reboot back, get all that loot that they lost before trying to rotate to zone. But they got to be quick because it does look like it's pulling away.
No, you know what they say, no pain, no gain. That was a fight that was definitely risky, and now it pays off. And think about what they just did. They took down the second place team here, slowing down the momentum for Visuals and Braids. Diminished, sending them right back to the lobby.
I could hear Yam zone.
Start taking a lead.
Follow.
Just where the zone just kind of pulling all the way towards the east.
552 below? Oh, I was about to say.
Muzz rise.
I was about to say they need more though. They need more.
Clicks, Yamzo, Batman, Booga. They're almost 600 above the damage
Lucky
threshold.
still alive.
They're just trying to smoothly move their way in towards zone, find themselves a good spot. They're learning after each and every moment in these games, so that way they don't make that same mistake twice. There's chance. Donnie and Mason.
Chat. I need this food to come in, bro. By the way, YouTube stream, don't forget to drop a like. I'd appreciate it.
They know they need that
currently watching
now in this 5th zone before the game gets progressively harder for them
day
with each and every following zone.
A1 for NA Central.
One of the best
A2
parts
tomorrow.
about game number 1 being so slow and then intense on the Storm Surge is we've had a nice trickle of consistent action for us here in game number 2. As our
they need surge. They need surge. They're gonna all in this, I think. Yeah, they're gonna all in for sure.
Fast adjustments being made here, but for Donnie, Chance, and Mason, they have that pressure of the surge here. It seems like enough wasn't done here, and it's gonna be an all-out fight now. Mason looking to crash through the builds there. They find death on the side, but Donnie can't quite break in, and they lose a player for their troubles, and still no damage. So all of that set for nothing, and
yeah, they're
already
dead.
Chance sent out. It's all up to Donnie. It's not looking good. This should be
wait, he got one
set of eliminations here for him, but
he's dead.
Zone's already doing damage. The surge is already active.
Dude, imagine he got both of them right there.
That was tough. Or they thought there was the hope and chance. Almost
1600 above, bro. Who the heck these guys fight? Who are these farm all game?
And a whole nother player walking them down. There's only so much.
I think Clicks and them got an elimination here.
And you can see how active the lobby is getting now that Storm Surge is kind of dictating a lot of this.
Bro, with Surge pops actually so
freaking
irritating.
They're saying because a team like Nut, who's down below the damage threshold, is immediately trying to progress and aggress onto them. Unfortunately enough, Possessed, Ralphie, Diego
zone pulls
hold their ground,
pretty far away.
Elimination before they rotate.
Guys, masks are like actually changing, man.
Look at where the zone's ending right now. It's bringing its way towards the Seaport City. Very heavy amount of player activity happening on that north side right now.
Keep running, bro. I don't want to get copyrighted.
Most of our teams that are desperate for surge seem like they're going to be landing themselves right in the mix here shortly.
Jeez.
Ralphie, Possess, and Diego just got a little bit of time to work with here now before the zone closes and things start to get real desperate.
Jeez Louise, man. Jeez Louise, man.
Meanwhile, Clix, Yamzo, and Batman Booga are one of the teams kind of lurking nearby. Possess, Ralphie, and Diego have no idea.
Rotating north is just going to be hard because even if they make it through all these buildings at Seaport City, they got to go across the mountain ranges where you already see 2-3 teams positioned up. They're hoping if they move towards the right, they not only get a position toward the zone, but a spot where they can look back, try to get some surge. It's Batman Booga, Yamzo, and Clicks to seem are a little bit.
Where's Peterbot's team? They're alive still, right? I haven't seen them.
Storm Surge is active as well. They gotta hurry up.
Oh my god, they're in a wood cone. They're in a wood cone to your right. Spray that wood cone, buddy.
What happens when you don't find your early game fights?
They spray that wood cone. This guy's dead.
Start to go downhill, and although they do have an elimination, you could just see that number, that threshold is steadily rising here.
Clicks in them are. Oh my god, they need surge. Are they gonna keep Clicks?
But it's gonna come at the hands.
Wait, that's 3 free elims for Clicks. Yup. 200.
Well, of course they can. Into the trap door, he falls, and
that's huge, bro. That's actually huge. That's why it's so important to get surge.
Couple of teams starting to focus in on them though. This could end pretty badly now.
Just gotta try to hold on as long as possible. That Storm Surge do a lot of the dirty work. Diego plays Possessed. Even without a teammate, they're still not finding the opportunities that they're looking for. 118 and counting, which means they're going to have to get more and more risky.
They need one more tag. One more tag.
Possessed is going to go down. Storm Surge is going to take him out. Diego plays with only 15 damage needed, but it doesn't matter.
Wow. Clicks has 2 eliminations.
Strike back, get the
They have
eliminations,
5 eliminations right now.
I was gonna say, interestingly enough, they actually
okay, Bolt's over here, Yamzo here.
At some point or another, it seems like they started to fall behind. So
did Peterbot die? No way, Peterbot died, right?
A little bit of luck on your side as things start to
fall
into your favor there.
Did anyone know if Peterbot died?
Bolt's, Rapid, and Kanata are pretty happy about this position they found themselves in.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see his name. I don't think he's dead though.
Them here, and they've got full information
being downloaded
here on the rest of the lobby.
Oh no, Peterbot's right here. Peterbot's right here.
Right there. You start to really take in what is unfolding. Just like this, and all of a
if it pulls up this cell right here, they're gonna mask on.
Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual.
I think they're gonna mask. They might low key.
Not the most prime
mask onto height.
Yeah, and
that's how this team is.
Activate 7th zone. It needs to go down to about 40.
The team that's in front of them, that's closer, that's kind of griefing height. So
that do need to fall. or 4 straight trios, so it's
they are
not
gonna
be easy to try to survive this. But for Yamto, Batman, Booga, and Clicks,
are they looking for a pre-edit play?
To be rewarding. They not only got surge, but enough loot to kind of hold their
come.
The zone
forget it,
one of the farthest pulls in the lobby, and immediately so the IGL of the team scouting out where they need to void. And
okay, Yamzo and Clicks, they're actually rotating on their right side. It looks like it's dead over there too. Yeah, it is dead.
Tough spot to be in right
now. There's like one team here, but it's like nothing.
Now.
The whole lobby's like gone.
Yamzo, Batman, Booga, Clicks here, one of the first to go ahead and start rotating out.
Vadeal needs surge. I haven't seen much from Cooper's team, did I?
Sphinx and Cooper have to get a move on as
well.
Are
they top 5 right now? Can't remember.
The worst we've seen them in so far. Only 128 above.
Booga got 2 kills?
Much this game, however, the pressure continuing
Cooper got a kill
right now. And off they go, and they are still so very far from the safe zone.
They still need more surge, only 99 above.
More. Luckily, the sky is clear here for the Void Onimass rotate.
Peterbot 632 above. Yeah, they're chilling, bro.
Well.
Clicks and Peterbot are chilling.
Rotate for them too, but
they lay rotated.
Void Onimass, of course, making that no
problem still alive.
For them now.
Yeah, you can see because they haven't had the most forgiving rotation this time around.
Oh, they could hold people behind them.
The south material is not necessarily looking the best, but they're looking around to see if there's any potential refreshes
they can
try to get.
Super grief.
Muzz, Rise, Yapko, no, they're not in just yet.
I like that. They didn't throw the mass.
Yep.
Not on height. There is 43 people alive. 8 circles. Chat, real quick. If you're watching, you're lurking. Let me know. Who's your prediction that's gonna win this game right here? Which trio is gonna win this game? Stop lurking and let me know. That's your prediction. I don't even just say it. We're not gonna do a prediction. Just say it.
Going on here in Poyo's world, Agers and Acorn.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Poyo looking for any kind of elimination right now, but
yo, Poyo looking solid.
But it does seem like they find themselves.
Think Peterbot's gonna fake bow? Solid guess, honestly.
Falling into their box right
guys,
now.
You know what? I think Poyo takes this game too. I have a weird feeling that Poyo's gonna win this game.
Time was going to be on their side.
The top 3 is going to be Poyo, Clicks, Peterbot.
Really
this game.
To be careful for.
Clicks gonna win.
Who's gonna try to
I mean, Kanata has height right now, and they're looking pretty solid. So can't count them out either.
On their position in the clouds. Ritual, Peterbot, Cold trying to claim the
position in
front of everybody else. Zone after zone. It's still a little bit too early to know if anybody's going to try to take that high ground away.
Let's see it though. Pressure coming in. Clicks, Yamzo, Batman, Booga maintaining this
I am not playing, so
visual right now. No problem as far as their loadout's concerned. Things are seemingly starting to come together for them, but a refresh could be nice here. Meanwhile, Yamzo's starting to lead out. Matt's starting to run a bit lighter here for the front side tarp. Only wood left and remaining. Second height starts to get the pressure here. They're looking down.
It's
cold. It's Ritual. It's Peterbot who's down below them. Meanwhile, High Ground does have 2 teams potentially.
Oh, they go for height?
Clicks and company go up for height, and Cold and company take
go to height. What are they doing?
They're just continuously trying to bulldoze their way through these teams. They know they don't necessarily need Storm Surge. It's just about materials.
Okay, they didn't actually take height. Guess they went for it and they dropped down, or they die? I couldn't see.
Cease is going to be left by himself. He has to make a big clutch happen, just like he did to get to this stage alone. But he's going to fall. The whole team's going to be ripped apart.
Old Ritual, Peterbot still alive.
Box against Acorn, Agers, and Poyo, the team that won game 1.
Oh my gosh.
Top 10 situation right now. This is where the points really start to add up. But look at this, only 30 builds here, 3 mats left. What can Peterbot and team do? They're gonna need a refresh, and Edgy is gonna be the one first to fall here. Now Peterbot gets the siphon, so he goes into the storm for the loot. The risk was worth it.
They played it, dude. They played it so well. When they run in zone.
That is exactly what we expect.
Even running in zone, they play together.
Agers, Poyo, Acorn are doing it once again now.
Oh my gosh.
Maintaining control of the low ground. Great shots here by Agers. He's working.
So Peterbot on mid ground, Poyo on low ground.
Loses his team.
Not on height.
It's all up to him and Ritual now.
Wait, Cold goes down.
Movie before. We know what he can do by himself. Looks to the back. Acorn gets spotted out. Not enough damage for Peterbot.
Oh, he's dead.
Elimination. He gets jumped on from above. Quickly scurries to the zone. 7.
Yeah, if he somehow does something with this, I'm gonna be super surprised. I don't know. Yeah, I was about to say. All right.
The siphon, but he finds nothing. Peterbot goes down.
How do you qualify for this? You had to play
FNCS
weeks.
Looking for the win.
And do good.
This comeback right now. They needed to get themselves back.
Agers is alive. Poyo dead.
Agers though is the last man standing. He takes down Yapko. He's looking for a siphon. There it is. The points start to add up. The health is coming back for him. Meanwhile, he turns his high ground attention up top. It's Kanata who's still there. Agers swinging all types of.
He can kill both of them right here.
Got his bearings back under his feet here. and things are starting to simmer down. There's a lot of fragmented teams alive, though. Anything can still happen right now.
Ah, Ager's no way.
There's anybody that's a full trio left in this game, and Ager is trying to use that to his advantage, trying to go with the unnoticed, but Rise is on the other side. Ooh. Eventually, they'll crash, and it does look like it's going to be Ager's to get the elimination.
Wait, Ager's can keep them to the top.
Just in the nick of time, trying to keep them alive, but the fight comes out. Kanata takes down Cooper. 2v1 situation. Kanata going for
wow, Ager's got second. I think they're still first, though, but they got second.
12 eliminations, but Kanata in the double digits with 10.
And if there's anyone that needs that little bit of confidence boost, is someone like Kanata, who plays off of the momentum of his mood and wait for him to take that game 2 victory right there. That's going to really put him in a good spot now, Jacob, for the rest of the day here.
Yeah, you talked about the attitude, the confidence. This guy's got to be feeling good, and that brings it all around to his teammates as well. Bolts and Rapid, even though Bolts dropped down low, trying to go for eliminations,
correct, baby.
he eventually fell. You got
crazy game. That was actually a crazy game.
And the damage that he actually did to
so the same top 5 teams in the top 5 every game.
Take a look at the high ground position here.
I guess don't count out Kanata, bro. Don't count him out.
So easy for them as no one contested them from up above, and Kanata's pressure was just too good. Look at him rack up the eliminations here, really leading his team.
Height way early on, and they held the whole time. They don't, I think Cliff's contested, but they're on a match, right?
To land the final shot right there. What a big game now for Kanata.
All right, let's see what the leaderboard is looking like. Once it pops out.
Kanata, let's go! Oh my God!
Look at Mr. Bossman. How you doing, bro?
Dude, what are these games? I cannot believe.
Should I have kept in Kanata?
The 2 first games of Major 1 finals have given us.
Noah's got 4 matches to come back, bro.
About this game is we're literally bouncing from.
Don't let me down, Noah. So far, these guys are doing fine.
The moment we get the white shot, we look up and we go, wait a minute.
113 points.
Kanata, Rapid Bolts, are you guys on height? And they win.
Yeah, they had that tower, like you can see right here, from 8th zone, and I thought, no way.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Convert this into
I literally
high
said
ground,
that.
and they do that. But then we see
they've had it for so long.
Like, well, no way that they're going to be able to hold high ground, and they still do that. Kanata has to be one of the best fraggers from high ground to get double-digit eliminations from that position. Is
I believe in him. I put him in my top 5 for a reason.
To speak on where they were in game 1, they ended.
But if he dies mid-game again, then he does. I don't think he does today. He still has tomorrow though to be good.
Recover, and you know that this
he can still recuperate. If he loses 3rd game, dies mid-game, he has 3 matches to like do good, get up in the leaderboard, and he can still be really good.
Yeah, but what a huge like burst of confidence that must be. I mean, for Kanata, just as himself personally, drop
20 bomb. Honestly, I see it, bro.
But 10 eliminations,
that's crazy.
Breaking into the double.
Imagine they just go freaking like
game number 2, especially after that first
Rogan WK everybody.
Still though, even saying that middle of that game right there, Kanata, Rapid, and Bullets looked like they were a little bit lower on the Storm Surge. I'm surprised they were actually able to bring that back and convert that game. But yeah, Kanata put it on a show, and well done to this team, holding the high ground, receiving no types of pressure, just cleaning up the rest of the game.
Dude, let's go. We have to go to a break. When we return, though, don't worry. We'll break that win down and so much more. We'll be right back. Let's go!
Let's fucking go. This copyright. Oh, my family's getting food, and someone's gonna get whatever they get. Should be here soon. They order something, I don't know. Hey, hey, hey. Fox heat. All right, we need the popular to pop off here. The first 2 games like are important, but you could still like if you have 4 consistent games in the top 5, top 3, whatever with eliminations, Noah can still be top 3 today, if not top 2. They're just getting grief off spawn, bro. They They gotta fight Oliver's team. That's 2 games in a row they got grief. They can't just run away anywhere. They're good fighters too. I don't know why they don't just fight them off spawn. How's Click's doing? I think we're gonna get the leaderboard in a second, but Click's not doing bad. He was in the top 5 last game, like leaderboard wise. He did pretty good this game too, so he might still be in the top 5. I think they died. Like, I don't know. We're gonna see though. Okay, Clix is 4th. Clix is 4th. Poyo 2nd. Muzz is, or sorry, Poyo 1st. Muzz is 2nd. Peterbot's 3rd. Rapid is 5th. Yeah, NPen is playing this. I don't know where he's at. Where is he playing? No, he's not playing. What? I thought he was playing. Oh, it's 28th right now. Oliver OG, I don't know where he's at. Okay, yeah, this is the chat. This is the leaderboard right now. Clicks in 4th. Wow, look at the lead that Poyo has on everyone. Chat, look at that, bro.
Welcome back, everyone, to the FNCS. We just got a sneak peek at the standings, and I'm about to lose my mind.
What is that, like a freaking 60 something point lead, something like that?
Have not disappointed. We have seen some of the craziest plays, some high profile trios, all battling it out, all going head to head. This is crazy. But that last game, Bolt, Rapid, Kanata get themselves
a victory
royale. Once again, we see a victory royale coming out with double
digits.
Let's
enjoy it.
But look at these standings. Agers, Acorn, Poyo, almost 100 points ahead. Games in second.
That's actually crazy, bro.
Back to back, 13 eliminations, 14 eliminations. Kelly, what am I looking at?
I mean, you're looking at what a lot of people expected from
What's happening, Peterbot? He's 3rd.
Poyo get picked up by Agers and Acorn. They had a great
Peterbot can just key everybody.
But then they kind of floundered a little bit during the play-ins. Group stages wasn't exactly what they wanted. And, you know, we actually talked about it at the start of the show. Like, what vibes are we going to get from this trio?
The next
and they don't need
game.
The vibes. They're here to just do business. They know exactly what they're locked in for. And this is what we expected from this trio. They are absolutely stomping the competition from low ground, from high ground, regardless, Vivid. They are running away with it.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned it earlier, but I was like, yeah, their group stage games, they did not look like they were going to do well in those early and mid games, like at all. They needed to kind of clean that up. And for finals, right now, these games, they have for sure cleaned up those early and mid games. They look like such a healthy team throughout all stages of the game right now, and it is translating very, very well. I mean, a first place with 14 eliminations, second place with 13 eliminations, literally cannot be stopped right now. Almost 100 points out of the competition.
I just look at the elims, right? Look at the placement points. I mean, what am I looking at? That should, you know what's crazy? What I love is that should say Peterbot, and it doesn't. It says Poyo. So everyone out there who's been like, oh, Poyo doesn't carry, but show Peterbot, you're a liar. Check the stats, homie. Look at how crazy this is. We have just seen 2 games. I don't even know. My heart is racing. My little bird heart is racing right now, and I'm going to lose my mind. But there's still a ton of things we wanted to highlight. I mean, even just look at this top 5. Look at these names. I mean, guys, we are fighting here for one of those 2 spots going to the global championships, and it is so apparent.
I mean, honestly, I was really impressed with Muzz, Yapko, and Rise right there. We saw this crazy early rotation all the way to the southeast edge there, just to make sure that they grabbed some tags, just to make sure that they grabbed some eliminations. They were able to take down Braids' trio right there, who was previously in 2nd place, and then they just were able to use that and convert it into such a great low ground. And I kind of like this Blade Oni mask hold that Muzz had right there. It definitely seemed to be, you know, more of a contingency plan, whether that it didn't work out for them or not. But regardless, they were able to just kind of have a great end game there. Rise having to go for a solo run, and that seems to be kind of the repeat story we're seeing, Vivid, is that these solo clutches, it's kind of what's holding up our top 5 right now.
Yeah, super incredible job there. But also, we've got a couple of teams that were kind of playing catch up, right? They had a bad first game like Vadeal, Cooper, and Sinks. They've kind of snuck in their way up to 11th place, but then obviously Canada, Rapid, and Bolts winning that game. I mean, they had 3 points after that first game, and now they're in 5th place. So that win right there was extremely important.
Yeah, literally one game is a difference.
So big. I mean, even Peterbot, right? Once again,
if Noah wins this game,
we talked about
eliminations, he'll be up there
trio. But again, we're put in a similar situation in this last game, right? Everyone goes down. It's Peterbot left as a solo. So do we think
Rise and Muzz are second, Push is 4th right now, Peterbot 3rd, and
obviously it's
Poyo
just 2 out of 12 games. I don't want to get crazy here, but
Canada, I believe.
You know, it's happened back to back. So what's happening?
I don't want to speak for Cold and Ritual too much, but Peterbot actually has
I don't know.
Has been
let me know what you guys think, right? Or your opinion. I don't know what I have, okay? I literally I had like bumps right here.
Obviously,
right
this
here,
isn't affecting
right here,
him too
on my
much.
Back.
You know, the fact that they have
almost like mosquito bites, right?
But
they weren't really that itchy. They just itched when I like would scratch him, right? But it wouldn't like itch.
I mean, I don't think
I just didn't mess with them. For some reason, I messed with them. I started itching them a lot, and it became red. Just red dots right here, right now.
You know, healthy materials,
and I stopped scratching them, and they haven't gone away. It's been 2 days, but they're like slowly fading out. What the heck is it, bro? It can't be chicken pox because I don't have a fever. I don't have a headache. I don't have any of that. Poison ivy, there's no way. It's snowing outside.
Yeah, I think you hit it right there. The money on the head right there.
Literally just right here, my back.
That's just their worst games, right?
I don't know.
This is not even what they're truly capable of just
I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna get it checked out. Like right now, if I can feel it a little bit, but if I like scratch it once, I'll start itching it. But I'm okay right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be so hard for these teams.
No, I don't have that, Fake Bell. I don't have that. No, I've never had chickenpox in my life. Salty, never in my life. What's up, Arthur? Who's winning it? Right now, Poyo's winning by almost 100 points.
Will that change because the battle bus is ready for game 3?
This is top 5. I got you. Top 5 is Poyo's trio. 2nd place is Muzz trio. 3rd place is Ritual, Peterbot. 4th place is Clicks. 5th place is Rapid and Canada.
Very interesting kickoff to the weekend so far. As finals day 1, game 1 and game 2
Rash,
definitely
that's what I think.
On our toes.
Hey, I washed my clothes at my grandparents' house. But like, I washed a lot of clothes, right? And it didn't happen right away when I was there. It happened like 3 weeks after. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
However, we are just getting started, right? I really don't.
I never had it, so that's what my aunt said. My aunt said shingles.
There's a reason
detergent can do that. That's what I was saying. But my grandma's like, no, I didn't use new detergent. But I told her like I never washed my clothes at her house. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's serious. If it's still here in a week from now, I'll go get it checked out. I'm not gonna scratch it. I'm gonna try my best. But if it's still here in a week, I'll go get it checked out. What's up, Max? My day's going pretty good.
This time around, over towards Magic Mosses, you see it just a little bit split out. They don't want to kind of put it all to the test because it's exactly what you were talking about.
Check it out.
12 games throughout the weekend, Monster. It's truly a marathon.
He's gonna steroid shot to fix it up.
You don't just gas yourselves out and kind of lose sight of what's important. But from one fight to the next, it does look like Cease, Jack, and Blake contested again. From groups to this, they figure out a way to win off spawn.
Yeah, I just think this leaderboard is going to look very, very different.
All right, let's go.
By the time
where does Clicks drop? Where does he drop again?
I
wasn't really paying attention.
Let's take a look at what's going on here.
I like anabolic steroids.
Cease, Jack, and Blake
I'm gonna take anabolic steroids. I might get jacked.
End game just before.
You're freaking yoked.
They're straight yoked. To get their footing. First set of eliminations going to fall right into their point threshold there. Very nice. Meanwhile, Sinetto, Scare, and Veer. Strong game 1 performance. Kind of fizzled out
plus
from the
one shot.
Game. And
I don't know. I'll get it checked out in a week if it's still here. I've never had chickenpox in my life. I don't know how the heck I would have gotten this.
Getting contested with the Whiffy Wharf.
I'm super confused. I don't know. Maybe it's the water. The water was not clean enough when I take a shower or something wrong with the water thing in the city. I don't know, but I feel okay other than every time like I touch it, it's a little bit itchy. That's about it.
There's one drop spot. Both of them are going to be wouldn't necessarily say in shambles.
It's mostly like right here, like my torso, my lower back, maybe like 1 or 2 on my neck, 1 or 2 spots on my arm, maybe like 1 or 2 spots on my legs. That's it. Just literally mostly my torso though. Not on my face.
Straight out. And they immediately move over towards Brutal Box.
Noah? I don't know if Noah's fighting.
That's one of the few resources towards the north side of the map that they actually lack.
Yeah,
oh, they ran away again.
That metal.
Look at Noah's loadout, bro.
Chipping Victor V right now. Just looking to trade some tags here with teams in the vicinity. Nothing big comes up.
Dead.
Oh, they're fighting right now.
I'm blanking every shot. Like, I'm literally them. It's just blanking.
I'm just so dead. I'm running.
Wait, no, you're running towards me.
There's two teams right here. The one.
You're running towards me. No.
Bro, what is this? Why are there 7 teams?
The 2 teams are one.
What's going on?
So hard.
Are they just leaving the drop spot? They're getting keyed? Are they afraid to fight?
People are here.
I think so.
What is this, bro?
Better hope not. I'm just so dead, boys. Guys.
Yeah, legit said it's gonna happen too.
This is not working. Team-led turtle too. Like, what is that? The blade here. The blade in here.
We'll come back to this.
Oh yeah, I know.
Does go there, so watch out.
Probably dead anyways.
I think we're dead anyways, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Here.
I'm just gonna watch them real quick, see what happens.
I'm running this way then. There's no way our drops were that high. That's not real.
And the snow as well. This is too hot here.
I mean.
Yeah, I mean, winters is really cold. Summers can get pretty hot. We're in Chicago. Cause we have like really our weather is like super humid. Or sometimes it could be super humid. Sorry. I mean, they're still alive.
I don't see anyone at crab.
Wrap this up, guys.
Might have to just go for crab. I might die for
I'm getting keyed.
Oh, Chaos getting keyed.
Can you look over me? Never mind.
There's a chest over there too. Maybe throw.
No one looted crab. I'm going for it. I don't know where everyone's at. I don't know what happened to these teams.
60? 100?
Nice.
I'm dead.
Oh wow, Chaos died.
No, man.
Oh man.
This 20. What?
I mean, I don't understand.
Oh, it was like
he's right in front of me. I'm not shooting.
Okay, well Noah's shambles right now. We'll come back to him later.
Skittles and Victor V has had their drop spot just fully invaded around.
Yeah, all of his team is W keying them.
Heavily on their points
so
right
no one of them are
they're
landing together. They get the loot and they run away, and then every single time Oliver and them just chase them. I was saying they should just. I would just tell them like
moving past.
Stay there and fight. If they're gonna get chased anyway.
Kind of positions on top
their best bet is to
that
stay there and fight,
mountain.
so they don't run into a third
It's
party.
not gonna come without its own risk of possibly just kind of getting tagged up by Surge.
What's up, Adam? How are you doing, bro?
Metal teams willing to converge on that.
Oh, Peterbot's king.
Others are having no stress. Others are having all of it. Peterbot, Ritual, and Cold.
What's the age limit for FNCS? I think it's 13.
Try to get their surge to really set themselves up for some of those performances that they've been having so far. And you see that they're kind of pushing each other
he took that wall first try.
Peterbot taking all the walls on that side, trusting his team to stay alive and put the same pressure on the other side.
What I like about this is no 2 games are the same.
Oh my gosh,
Peterbot a completely different way this time around.
Peterbot died.
He's going to be the first to fall here to the hands of Fredbot and Nut there on the other side of the wall.
Wait, what?
Ritual and Cold seemingly deciding, hey, wait a second, we haven't done enough damage. Let's get out of here. And they actually back off.
What is going on?
Smart decision for them, but for Nut, Fredbot, and Liam, this is going to be one that you kind of know who it is. You took down Peterbot. Do you chase the other 2? And we're going to see how Peterbot actually went down, just getting a little bit too aggressive. Nut was not only able to hit the shots that matter, spray him down, and get the siphon, because he just had a sliver of HP himself.
Did notice they started to move towards Cold and Ritual's way, but hold that thought. Creo, Zeus, and Tony have moved out of the Brutal. Seems like they've gotten chased by encrypted sales here. And this team wants a little bit of action. Both sides putting the damage on. It's going to be a fight for height.
Oh my gosh.
More tags coming in though. Other teams starting to look in now. This is not a free 3-on-3 yet.
Dude, fighting in this tournament is just so grief, man. So freaking grief.
Yeah, it's going to be a risky fight, no matter the case, especially for a team that's positioned not only on top of the mountain, but down below all the rest of those builds. So teams looking in this direction as they kind of build their way up, that is going to be free and easy Surge, so I do like the decision not only to disengage but kind of slow things down. Try to dip a different spot as Death just gets tagged up from all around the lobby. As good a position it is for these Surge bases, you gotta watch out because as soon as you peek over, it just makes you susceptible to just beams just like that.
A lot of action happening here. This is what's allowing Death, Encrypted, and Sales to remain inside the top 10. These early Surge bases are definitely important. Meanwhile, Poyo, Acorn, and Agers right now, our game 1 and 2 leaders right now.
You got that Fort Itchiitis.
Better to a tournament start than that.
Yeah, I got Fort Itchiitis. I got it from Ranger chat.
13 elimination
Ranger infected me.
All those eliminations, Poyos have picked up 11 through those 2 games.
Ranger griefed me and he infected me, chat.
By, I'd say, a fair margin across the rest of the competition right now.
You guys want me to watch NA West also?
You can kind of see that uncontested
NA West major
shift,
today.
They're easily making those rotations in towards the east.
Yeah,
they
long
got
stream.
Options to get Surge.
Are there any cheaters?
The
No
third
cheaters.
Contested by 2 teams if they want to look south. Donnie Mason land just above them to the north. If they're feeling risky enough, clicks Yamzo Batman Booga over towards Lost Lake. So you can see how they're progressively getting better in terms of accumulating that Surge game after game. So that way they don't have to worry about it. Unlike some of the rest of the teams in this lobby.
I wonder if Peter's gonna get res.
Curly Knox and Virgo on the move right now down at the Hopeful Heights here. They've got their eyes on a trio next door. Noxy already calling the scout here. They seem like they've had a bit of a struggle out of their drop. We already know they've gotten into some early contested fights here.
I feel like because I think 5 of the 8 contested drops that we're seeing throughout the day, obviously if somebody changes it up, that changes it up, but 5 of them are on the south side of the map, 2 of them directly next to Noxy, Virgo, and Curly. So they're quickly trying to rotate, get as much Surge as possible, and take advantage of those fights. But I think a lot of the lobby is realizing how quick and important it is to kind of rotate, get your Surge, get out of there. So as soon as they held their position on the south side of the map, a lot of those teams that were contested kind of moved on out of there.
I'm one of those fucking teams that will fucking contest it, by the way.
I want to see where Clixie, Yamzo, and Batman Booga were positioned this game because we already know that
we could watch West too, honestly.
To get rezzed right deep inside the storm, so they could easily be one of these trios that will be next up, right? For Yamzo, Clix, and Batman Booga to target. And given that they're already kind of off their game a bit, right? That could spell disaster for that team right now.
That's actually a really, really good point. Because Peterbot goes down, they go deeper into zone.
Typical Gamer's icon skin is a big deal of the next season. The pickle skin, because his name is Typical Gamer.
6 of them overall.
Imagine they give him a freaking dill pickle skin. They call it that.
On over, gain some elevation.
The pickle.
And as soon as they see 1 or 2 players around, that's when they're going to try to take their time.
Which sure seems quiet. Yeah.
One of these fights.
But Clix's trio, Clix, Peterbot, Kanata, anyone in the top 10, top 5.
Too happy about that.
If they win a game,
the zone's already starting to push.
They could just take first.
They're looking to cut these teams off.
Like
first to get to the safe zone.
Given that Poyo's team goes down earlier.
A little bit of a
if Poyo's in the top 3 again,
that's guaranteed to yield
they're still gonna keep first, no doubt.
Right?
But if Poyo and them die, if they get keyed and they die or something mid game, and then someone wins, someone can take first. That's in the top 5 for sure. Maybe top 8, top 10.
Jack making his way towards Pikes here. Has to be careful.
No, I'm watching it, Mason. I didn't.
Which is tough.
I barely played it, so.
Now they're getting forced into zone. Jack can't even fight back. He has to try to heal. They're quickly on his tail. The cone's barely going to save him, but he's blocked off overall. Great edit by Jack.
Bro, imagine.
Firing back onto JoJo. Unfortunately enough, the blessings come to an end.
Imagine he actually got the elimination.
The siphon coming to work for him, keeping JoJo alive. But you got to give Jack credit for that work.
I'm not gonna lie, that was very, very clever for him to go ahead and edit that player out the box.
Oh my gosh, Blake.
He almost caught himself a little highlight right there, but now it's all up to Blake, and he gets his drop kicked right back to the lobby.
Oh my gosh. I think my food's here, chat. 1 sec, I'm gonna grab it.
Now looking very good this game here. Surge secured, eliminations in the bag, and on their way to endgame they go. That's a tough elimination for Seize, Jack, and Blake too, who are in 11th place, just on the heels of top 10 now. So that's gonna be a full reset for them. Aoxy, JoJo, and Fishy were in 16, so up they jump now, on their way to top 10.
Yeah, it's just tough. The history of Blake is just not on since his 16 finals He's contested through both of them as Taram just trying to go through unnoticed. That's such a smart move. Instead of just trying to go for some damage, because you see his teammate is also in the zone with him. He's just trying to play it passively. Let them go on by. Don't worry about us. You didn't see nothing. And that's going to allow them to kind of live to tell the tale, because Ritual, Peterbot, and Cold, they hear the action going down. It looks like they're on the hunt for it overall.
They are literally keying into Chimp, Skittles, and Victor V right now. Anything can happen there. Pay attention to the feet. Well, as I say it, Victor V goes down immediately. We'll catch up in a second. Bolts, Kanata, Rapid though. Top 3 on the conversation right now. In the lead here. One of these teams that are going to be surely set up for success now, given that they're going to be securing a medallion here shortly. This is going to be a big opportunity for them. Notice though, we've seen this, you know, happen in the group stages where the medallion goes to Bolts, right? I wonder if that's going to continue to be the story here. It should be. However, talk about a big situation. Let's look at that highlight. Oh, it was a beautiful tag there, and the timing couldn't have been better because his squad had Void Oni masked out into another fight. GG's.
Yeah, really catch them on the tail end. And that's them just adapting very quickly, because remember, to start the game, Peterbot and them, they were taking a fight, and Peterbot went down, which means they were slower than normal to try to get their surge. So they're really trying to make up for that lost time. Death, Encrypted Sales, trying to do the same thing. 95 points. They got into the Major 1 finals through their consistency. So they're looking to make that hold true here yet again. They don't have a far rotation to go. It does look like they might try to take advantage of this shrine. If they do have one of those water sprites, 2-1 charge, they can use this to try to recharge it, kind of gain some heals that they can take him with them into the end game.
Meanwhile, Minished, Braids, and Visuals though, trying to make up for lost time here. They're keying another team. It's Mason. Mason caught off guard, collapsed on, caught while fishing. There's so much loot here for them to pick up as well. And this is going to be a major come up for any team that walks away from this. Meanwhile, Ritual, Peterbot, Cole, just thinking that this is also an opportunity for them as well. They can't mess around with the Storm. They don't have the luxury to do so. They've been in there way too long now. And it makes you wonder, have they done enough damage, right? They've obviously been in these skirmishes, but with Peterbot being down, they're probably feeling like the pressure's on.
I know it's not a big deal, but did you just see what Peterbot just did? So what was that? Ritual threw down the water sprite to get heals, and typically there's like a 20-second recharge on it. Peterbot just picked it back up, dropped it again. That's 60 straight HP for them, and now they're up into tip-top shape. 200 shield and HP instantly to try to fight and take control of this situation.
Cold the little right there before the Void Oni.
Wait, no one went down?
The Minutes Vision ones with Braids, though, not letting them really get comfortable here. Wonderful defense.
I bet Chad, I got food.
You know, very good to see Visuals, Braids, and a Minish hold it down right now. Not many teams can full stop a push coming from Cold, Ritual, and Peterbot, but they've managed to successfully do it.
And I like how they're playing together, because Visual and Braids, back last year when it was duos, they were always a threat, always a team that you look at with potential to get into the top 5. They were playing in the championship last year. Minish has always been one of those threats, those dark horses looming around, just waiting for an opportunity. And now they kind of converged onto one trio. And you could see from north side of the map to south side of the map, they're trying to take control of their own game, getting aggressive when they need surge, backing off when they don't. So that way they can try to play consistent, because they know it's 12 games throughout 2 days and they can't get gassed out early.
Yeah, it is 12 games, chat. Don't forget that.
A team that
so even if they do
stay topped off,
even if they do bad today,
Sphinx Vadeal. I like this spot that they found themselves in right here, kind of playing this outer edge, the little bit of landmass and pressuring teams on the other side of the water. Can also get sufficient here to really put themselves in a good mid-game position. Meanwhile, Noxy, Curly, and Virgo taking full advantage of this outside rotate here.
So game with Cameron. How you doing?
No one in sight to give them any pressure. Little do they know, though, they're inching their way towards Visual, Braids, Minish, Peterbot, Cold, right? All these teams that are kind of playing the northern outskirts. Danger can be looking to set in. They've been spotted out. There's a team watching from up above, but doesn't seem like they have angles on them just yet.
I think both will win into a different order, really.
Yeah, they're hoping by being 741 above the damage threshold allows them to kind of focus on rotation, go to the slower side, which in turn not give them as many targets, but they're hoping because of that damage that they've already accumulated, it's going to be more than enough. And you spotted out that team yourself, rotating close by with the whole zone pushing towards the south. I think both of these teams are making that correct decision. Whether you see each other or not, it's more important just to get to zone first instead of taking these out-of-zone skirmishes.
I just can't believe they got Peter back. No lie.
Creo, Zeus, Tony. One goes down here. A fight by the islands. And already a collapse coming in here. This is a team that seems to be under some serious pressure right now. Liam, full keying. Fredbot as well. I wonder if the surge has anything to do with it right now in the storm here. They want the loot. Look at this. They end up snatching it up here. Playing bully ball for the come up.
FNCS? No.
And then off they go.
I don't know. I'm not gonna be playing West. I don't think.
At least secure some heals here.
It's almost about the small victories for them. Same one that took down Peterbot early in the game. They're not biting off more than they can chew in any scenario. But you're seeing a good portion of the teams having to rotate from this far back portion of the zone. Peterbot, Ritual, and Cold, instead of gliding, they were there. They're going to try to make that smart play, use the orbs.
I can't believe they got him back up.
Slowly gliding down, susceptible to shots from across the map, especially with how much distance they do have to cover.
Look at this.
Thank you, Big Bo. Appreciate it, man.
Here. Too many teams situated in front of them. They're going to have to switch up the angle. I was
no one does have to fight off the rip. I agree.
Definitely not going straight. They're going to have to pull left here into even more congestion now, though, on the outskirts.
Poyo's still alive.
Acorn, Poyo, Agers slowly making their way in right now. Press, Clixie, and Drew, though, are only 15 damage above, so this is a tough spot to be in. Although they have this really nice high ground hold here. Oh, wonderful tags now onto Fred there. It's going to buy them a little bit of time here. Iamzo, Batman, Bugan, and Clicks also recognizing the pressure coming in. This might be a full set of eliminations. Just waiting to get picked up right now.
10%?
Other teams
I don't know. I think it's 5% actually. For 10,000 V-Bucks?
Yeah, this zone pull
or 1,000 V-Bucks? I don't even know.
They have the
hey, Killer, what up, bro?
They know every team down
How you doing, my man?
Is gonna
How you
have
been?
To rotate on out while they're taking shots.
Close
now you see some teams down below being affected by the storm surge, and they're butting heads with Clicks, Batman, Booga, and Iamzo, who have the expertise to stay out of that decision. But fight after fight from across the map, Cold, Ritual, and Peterbot.
I agree.
900 above the damage threshold. As soon as they take some shots, you see them slowly but surely trying to turtle back, play that safe game, survive, live to tell the tale, so that way you can finally pop off and get the wins that we know they can.
Man, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling.
This is an important fight for them right now. If they can get the refresh,
we're doing FNCS.
High ground is going to be theirs. No
I think we're going to watch West too. I'm not sure.
However,
if you guys want me to, I could.
Damage has been done. The team up top seems like they were fighting for surge, so very different opportunities at stake here. Look at this, Peterbot now inching their way towards another team. This is for the refresh here. They don't need the damage. They want the loot.
Thank you for the gift of sub, or get the membership.
Teams.
Thank you, man. Oh, Gruesome got it.
So they're trying to use that advantage, push the team in. Possess trying to go
wait,
on the
Gruesome got it. What the heck?
The moment right there, separated from everybody
oh wait,
else.
dude, thank you,
But if you see that, it's a bird. No, it's a plane. No.
It's oh my God, 6 years, 8 months. That's a long time, bro. Jeez.
Haven't really had to move an inch from the start of the game, getting blessed with the zone. They're really taking advantage of the fact almost 8,000 above the damage threshold and counting.
This is incredible. This is our second most consistent team so far. Placement-wise, coming out of Game 1, Game 2, Jacko, Muzz, and Rise have found themselves in such a key position right now. And they are untouchable, quite literally. There's no way anyone's going to even dare to challenge them right now. As they are a long time. Oh, it's not just them, it's Bucky Okis as well.
That's literally like right as I started.
Talk about a visual to remember right here. This is something you only see in a game like Fortnite. Anything is possible. And for this game right here, you can't practice for this, right? This is just chance and occurrence right now. It's going straight over the water. Very rare play out, I would say, as far as the zone's concerned.
How do they get these teams? The players choose their teams,
spend
their teammates.
A lot of materials, so if you don't have them, you got to start looking quick. Bolts, Kanata, Rapid, not too far off from their drop spot either. They're able to save a lot of the resources. Zone beginning to open up. They can one-hop it with the Void Orb if they want. But 105 damage above the threshold. They know as soon as they get to the other side, they got to start to look back. They got to start to get active.
Have to restart the freaking page.
Peterbot get the elimination, but Ritual gets dropped as well. Bringing it down to a 2v2.
Ritual goes down.
Once again, they find themselves just not as a trio in the end game. This is what's holding them back right now.
Yeah, they keep dying.
It's Cold and Peterbot who have to work with one another, continuously losing the and I'm going to say this very lightly, IGL of the team, because they all are so good. However, Clicks and team already on the move, looking very strong here. Meanwhile, Japco and Rise, the first to the punch right now, already set up. Peterbot and Cold.
Peterbot's going to drop Ritual, watch.
Left to play for the game by himself at this moment. Can he get back to Peterbot?
I guarantee it. Peterbot's going to drop him after this.
Kind of situation here. New zone reveals itself. Back to the bridge it goes. This is an incredible end game right now.
Actually, hilarious. Go straight back up to the spot they were at before on top of the bridge. So far away from anybody else. I don't even think there's a chance you can one orb to the top of that without just a little bit of elevation, and that's exactly
Falcon's always been a thing.
Everybody else down below.
But I think they just recently got into Fortnite.
Raging waters that you were talking about, expending a lot more materials, which means that somebody sooner or later is going to have to get a refresh that they need in order to keep alive. Ager's Poyo Acorn, not at this moment, but barely 91 above the damage threshold, so it's not going to be easy for them either.
Well, this is the team that's been the most consistent, so we'll see what they can do. What a difficult end game to play right now. A very unique zone here. Peterbot, Cold, still working as a two-man team. So far, so good. But now the zone pressure starting to come. Void Onimask start to come out. They don't even have time to really look up and angle it correctly. They just are trying to get to the safe zone. Meanwhile, Jack, Muzz, and they just want the high ground here, right? Rise.
Let's think of this subs convince me to play West.
Get back to these old builds and secure
GG play, sure.
Up top. They'll just be able to ride this end game out right now, but one thing's for
certain, I don't think Ranger's gonna play.
So
we need to pick someone out.
First place looking like they're getting ripped apart. Acorn's down. Poyo's out. Ager's getting pressured by himself. This is a perfect opportunity for them to close the gap on that leaderboard, but it's up to Ager's for a solo clutch to keep them in contention of that top.
I think we can pick someone up, like an actual pro.
Shot, but not able to get the elimination.
On West,
Ager's
you do good.
For more. Storm Surger's not a worry. It's just him being by himself.
The NA region knows Agers is one of the best when it comes down to box fighting. Do not count him out right now. Peterbot, though, is the last alive as Cold falls on the rotate here. It's not looking good. He's out of material. Are the best falling now short in this last game here. Peterbot, though, has to figure something out. Still no chance for an elimination just yet. But also the lobby so distracted. Everyone focused on the rotates here. The Void Onimask still in the hand here. This is a chance for Peterbot to find one, but no. There it is. Some mats finally picked up now. Up he goes with the Void Onimask. That's a wall that
you got the med kit?
He wanted to, but no. Finally, he falls in a short game for him. And the best of the best struggling now, but Japco, Muzz, and Rise are here to take advantage.
I don't think anybody would have guessed the games to go the way that they're going right now. Booga threats of Eve still trying to make some plays from down below. Find a big elimination, keeping them alive. That's her second one of the game so far. But Threats need some help. They gotta have his back. The pressure could come at any second, but at least he's getting the time that he needs to heal. Make it through these zones. Top 9 teams left in the game, and not all of them are feeling this smooth.
Keep in mind, there's no multiplier. How you perform today is going to determine everything for your weekend right now. Will you be able to send yourself to the Global Championship? It's really up for grabs right now, but the finals is up for stakes as well. Meanwhile, Kanata, Rapid looking pretty decent. They have control of the medallion. We already saw what Peterbot could do with it. You have a limited sprint. You can't be seen. It's just so powerful in the right hands. And Kanata, one of the fastest here to use it. Obviously, you can see him going ahead and getting to work now. He's going to find Okus. The siphon starts to come in. More material for him now.
Poyo alive?
He has to work with that.
Gonna strap yourselves in because it looks like we're going for a wild ride. One elimination, but still sprinting around. He finally gets found out of builds, cannot protect himself. He's gonna get dropped. Muzz,
Muzz.
Drop down from
wait,
above.
Muzz's team might take first.
While they have the advantage, 3v2 situation. It's visuals. It's Braids underneath the duo that's trying to hold strong. Zone after zone, they're rotating towards the north. They don't have the upper hand, but this is their chance to really shock the crowd.
Visual Braids and Diminish have continued to put out great performances, but Muzz, Japco, and Rise have just looked better, and Muzz secures victory on the big stage here, and he does it in great fashion, and just like that, it looks like the leaderboards will be potentially changing now as Rise, Japco, and Muzz, one of the most decorated teams on the NA region right now, put up a great performance.
And this is just another one of those teams, Monster. Everybody's questioning roster changes. Why did you go with him? Why did you go with who? This is the moment for them to prove that this roster change is worth it. And the
Peterbot's still in third.
The global
wasn't first.
not only
Ager's second.
in consistency, they
they're like hand to hand. They're one game off.
And as soon as they were able
Wow,
to get
bro.
the high ground, there was no looking back from that.
Oh, these two teams are going through it.
Over across, they are now first place.
So I'm going to say what everyone's thinking. You know, Muzz, you're not OC anymore. You're just NA. We're just going to go ahead and adopt you right into the fold here. You've been competing on NA for way too long. He is representing so well as he continues to pop up. And look at Japco work there, too. Really setting up the critical eliminations there so Muzz can go ahead and win the game.
Wait, does Muzz play for OCE at Globals?
So now,
no, right?
Send on over to Zeke.
Gods can bleed. I cannot believe it. Mr. Worldwide's plural. They come out with a victory royale. And man, this lead, when y'all see these standings later on, are going to shock you. I did not think
yeah,
that we would develop leads like this, but because of that victory,
this is Cooper,
why so important, Kelly,
and Knight.
Right? Pairing this up with eliminations,
they're both
consistency,
one game off top 5.
Consistency now. Muzz is ahead of the pack. I don't even know. We're going back and forth.
It does look like Ranger. What the heck?
Speaking of going back and forth,
no way.
That zone
if it actually looks like Ranger.
Disastrous for so much of the lobby, but it was exactly what Muzz,
you guys didn't get
Rise wanted, having that shattered span zone, then going into the water, then going back to the bridge, just gave them such control over high ground. Pretty much everyone else was just using their mobility.
You're gonna see Mooding for like 5 minutes.
The end game here.
I'm back.
But of course, Yapco, Muzz, Rise took advantage of that. We're able to grab a ton of eliminations, and I love, of course, the play dropping down low, trying to grab more refreshes, trying to grab some mats and everything so that they can continue controlling.
Yeah, I mean, that's what this entire game was all about. Just control, like Kelly mentioned right there. A lot of our top teams as well couldn't control the rest of the lobby. They went down. So this is a huge opportunity for Muzz, Rise, and Yapco to kind of boost themselves up the leaderboard. Incredibly well played from this trio. I mean, a zone landing right over by where they land early on in the game. That's how you take full advantage of it. Love to see that from this trio.
Man, that was my zone, by the way. I designed that myself. You guys are welcome. You're welcome. I did that. That's me.
Good writing.
That is crazy. With that being said, that is game number 3. We still have so much more to break down, but first, a short break. When we return, more action here from the FNCS.
Yeah, I don't know why he has a Canadian symbol next to his name. That's weird. All right, let's eavesdrop into Noah's comms here. Let's eavesdrop here. Let's see what he's saying.
Thought I had you there, not gonna lie.
Might around.
Did I hit you there? Like 30 or something? 20?
Not within this round. Oh, one pump.
I just got... I didn't even know you can hit your head on that. Like a flat wall. No, you're not winning this, bro. There's no way. Probably...
Oh my god.
You're a psycho. No.
I'm not.
Alright, Noah can still do good, guys.
I'll move around.
How much time left, Chaos?
6 minutes.
Okay.
Alright. No, Noah has delay on his stream. He does. All right, less than a minute, guys. Less than a minute. Match 4. Imagine Ranger first place at FNCS. That'd be hype. I'm almost done, guys, by the way. I am almost done.
Welcome back, everyone, to the FNCS. We just wrapped up game number 3. In case you missed it, you're tuning in, welcome. You have missed 3 crazy games. Highly recommend you go back and watch them. But Muzz, Yapko, Rise got themselves the victory route in that last game. We just wanted a couple highlight, just really quickly, how they got that victory out. Guys, back in 7th zone, they were just perched on this beautiful spot, overlooking just this amazing shattered span here. The moment the zone pulls away, they have just got to be like, guys, this is ours, right? I mean, there's just no way we don't win this game.
I mean, it seems a bit obvious seeing as how that is their POI, but taking full advantage of it, being able to perch themselves up, be 1,000 damage over Storm is just going to give them so much ability to kind of control, as we said earlier, the end game. And that's exactly what they did right there, being able to rotate that from to the water back to the bridge. It was just smart, standard Fortnite play right there.
No, honestly, I gotta tip my hat to them as well, because usually when sometimes the zone kind of pulls to your POI, it's actually not as easy to get Storm switch, right? Because you're usually kind of like posted up. Teams try to, you know, avoid you as much as they possibly can, because it's very obvious to where you're going to be at. But the fact that they were kind of like 1,000 above right there means that they had something definitely figured out for that zone. So again, well played by them.
Yeah, just
that's
so
literally
crazy.
Ranger.
So crazy indeed. Let's take a look at these standings. So remember, we have 6 games today, 6 games tomorrow, and then we'll have Major 1 finalist rather. But take a look, guys, this lead after that victory royale, look how far ahead Muzz, Yapko, and Rise are ahead of everyone else. It's just Agers, Acorn, Poyo right behind them. But when we think about like what we came in on, right, like what a lead we have developed. And what's crazy from the other side, right, Agers, Poyo, and Acorn, in that last game they placed 13th with 1 elim. So for a single moment, they let the foot off the gas, and that was enough for Muzz, Yapko, and Rise to just walk away with that victory royale.
Definitely, but Poyo, Agers, and Acorn are not going to be giving it up that easily. And although they did go down in 13th place right there, Agers still had to pull out a solo clutch after Poyo went down right here. And honestly, it's interesting when Trio started, a lot of people were talking about how in the end game,
someone in top 5 wins, they can take first.
Like duos competition, that's when you're going to have to solo clutch, and we're not going to see that with trios. That does not seem to be the case for NA finals right now, where it's more likely that instead of it just being 2 players running the end game, it does come down to a solo clutch. And so many of these players in North America have that ability in spades to be able to just kind of run in the back of the lobby and keep their placement points climbing up.
Yeah, definitely working wonders right now for a lot of our teams. The top 5 is also seemingly kind of ironing itself out, point away from the rest of the lobby. Peterbuck, Cold, and Ritual, though. I mean, we said it after last game. We're like, yeah, well, they haven't had a good game yet. Game 3, also not a good game, but I can't lie. For 3 quote-unquote bad games, they're in 3rd place, and I feel like they're still in the conversation, and they're still close enough to 1st and 2nd, where if they just have that good game, that Peterbuck, Cold, and Ritual game, then they'll be up there as well.
It's crazy to look at the leaderboard right now, and it is 160 points between 1st and 10th place.
Wow.
And we're at the halfway point right now for day 1, right? So that's the quarter point for the entire tournament. So tons of games still ahead, tons of opportunities for things to change and everything.
I think Peter Boston and WQ this game.
There is definitely a lead shaping up right now for our top 2, but I think anyone in the top 9, where we just saw Vadeal, Cooper, and Sphinx jump into our top 10 finally, I think that there's still plenty of opportunities for them over the next 9 games.
For sure, and this is still day 1, right? We'll still have time for the trios to come back, to prepare, to VOD review, to talk to coaches, and come back with a plan for day number 2. So let's not get crazy. No one sound any alarm bells. Peterbot, we're good though, right? Like, we're good. We just need to have like a good pop-off game, and then we can do that now. You want to do that now? Okay, I'm sorry, I was just talking to someone. Don't worry about that. Anyway, guys, it is that time. We are halfway through day number 1, so let's jump back into the action with Monster D-Face, Jacob PR.
And it happened yet again. We got a new elimination leader that I want to go ahead and talk about. Yapko, after winning that game with the rest of his trio, he's on top with 14 eliminations, almost 4,200 damage throughout these first 3 games. Now we go to the second half of the day. Are you going to be looking for any adjustments from them or anybody else?
Yeah, I think Zeke said it best. He's writing the script here. He's calling in some new plays right now, so we're going to have to see how things are going to shake up. Those first 3 games, just a telltale of what's to come. I think we are still yet to see the best from a team like Peterbot. Even in the start of that last game, they, again, out of the ordinary, fell very early, right? So they just have to get their footing. Let's see it, though, as game number 4 sounds like it's ready.
Throughout the first 3 games of the day today, we've already seen teams making some quick adjustments to their strategy. If you think back in game number 1, you saw how stacked it was in terms of players alive left in the lobby. I think throughout those games, they're getting more and more riskier to take these fights because they realize once you get to 7th, 8th, 9th zone, it's not as easy to get Storm Surge.
Yeah, it really does look like the lobby's starting to settle in, get comfortable, and play to their strengths overall. We do have to, of course, look at game 3 as an outlier. That end game, very unique, very critical, right? Piece of land that Muzz, Javco, and Rise were able to claim first, almost secured the victory royale at that point. So with that in mind, anything can still happen right now, right? I think it just is going to come down to a matter of can you bounce back and keep your mental sharp now as we're in the back half of the tournament here as game number 4 is just starting up.
Contested fight that we've seen all too long. I say semi-contested because throughout the past couple of games, talking about adjustments from game 1, they were kind of fighting all out for it. Last couple of games, slowly but surely taking their time, splitting magic mosses, making sure that they at least have a shot to play some of these games out. And already does look like Osid, a full loadout from heals to weapons to his movement. Has what he needs, just kind of going with the rest of his team, but these are a lot of those contested fights that we're seeing today, including Brutal Boxcars.
Brutal Boxcars continues to fight it out here. Nerfface, Aaron, and Joji.
I'll be right back, guys.
Gonna have a bit of a standoff
Literally
right
1 minute, 2 minutes.
Things are slow and settled here in the lobby. Very, actually, paced start here to game 4 so far. Degen's going to be the first to catch some tags right now. Havoc and Sandman have the side angle.
Because this is contested, they can't even take advantage of Brutal Boxcars to its fullest. Because you think back when the Brutal Boxcars first came out, it was Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual landing over here. They're not landed in the POI, but on the outskirts as well. For Nerfface, landing some good shots, using the Fire Mask to try to deal just a little bit more damage in that direction. Trying to catch Sandman off guard, but Havoc already moving up the side of the mountain. He's going to be the one looking back, trying to alleviate some pressure if they do take shots in that direction, which they continuously do. Sandman just almost getting eat alive, about 50 HP remaining. Havoc forced to go down the mountain just to save the day.
Nerfface still looking for some big openers here. Just a back and forth exchange right now. Nothing major happening here. Meanwhile, Peterbot on the other side. Are they on a fast move right now? It does seem like they're doing something a little bit different. What's going on here? They've got more coverage of the land, but looking to go ahead and group up again.
Yeah, because of how much space they're commanded. That spot above, there's like a slurp truck over there, 5 or 6 extra chests. They have flooded frogs all to themselves. And you're kind of seeing how spread out they actually are in the early game, just so that way they can loot up, grabbing primarily just the chests. So that way they can try to move as quickly as possible to try to get surge. And already you're seeing a little bit of a different zone, a lot of it appearing on the north side of the map. So you might see a change up of strategy, and you just tune in to Acorn and A. There's no Poyo in sight. He's already down, and that's a huge hit to the team early on.
I was curious as to how he was one of the first to fall here. But, I mean, the zone kind of played its way on this western side, so sort of makes sense if they touched down first. They were targeted for some reason. We'll keep an update there, but here's Diminished on the hunt right now. What a game for them so far. Sleeper trio, if you want to call it that, right? I don't think anyone had them comfortably inside the top 5, let alone the top 3 position, but they're at 188 points. Virgo, Noxy, and Curly have also played spectacular so far. 159 for them here. Teams that are looking to set themselves up for not only a nice paycheck, but keeping themselves in a conversation for a finals win. Do you imagine that?
Yeah, and when you talk about like VOD reviewing from day 1 to day 2, this is a team. If you land on the south side of the map, I would be very, very important to VOD review them, because already we've seen them push multiple different locations after their drop in order to get the storm surge that they need. That's allowing them to play consistent as they are.
So this is live.
All this is live. Anybody, that's going to be one. So you tune on Muzz, Yapko, and Rise. Slow game plan for them right out of the gate. Storm surge isn't necessarily the first priority for them when they drop. It's all about just looting up, because they're on the center of the map for the most part, maybe a little bit towards the east, but that allows them, wherever the zone pulls, north or south, to kind of rotate there quickly. The only side that they're worried about is if it goes all the way towards the west, which typically doesn't happen until 4th or 5th zone.
The Cash Cup King, Muzz, shining on the FNCS stage once again. You love to see it.
Gotta play more rivals later.
Favorites of the community, I dare say. Japcon Rise complimenting him very well right now. And yeah, we didn't even highlight, this was their drop spot, Shattered Span.
On YouTube, these.
It literally ended right here, and they did exactly what you're supposed to do.
Win on YouTube game. And Twitch, I think.
Zone pulling towards the south. This is just outside Pump Power, Demons Jojo. That's to the south of there. Ralphie Possessed Diego plays. They land all the way towards the north. Some of the farthest north pool in the map if it does continue to go south. So they're going to be one of the teams that are hurting when the zone goes south, struggling to get surge, having to kind of prioritize what's most important for them on their path there. And it's not going to be easy, because you have to go against teams like Kanata, Bolts, Rapid on your way to the zone.
Yeah, first I thought we were getting a north or maybe like a far west, but this zone's starting to really tug its way back. Diego possessing Ralphie. Overall, have to put up some big numbers right now. Look at this, they're very far behind overall on material counts. They're scrapping this entire place down pretty quickly. It's got the attention of a trio outside. Meanwhile, Cold, Ritual, and Peterbot once again.
They're W king?
Ritual just seems to not be able to really catch his footing here.
Hi, camera.
And it's all up to Cold and Peterbot now. This is back-to-back performances now where one of, someone on the trio falls in the early game.
Ritual died again? Yeah, Peterbot's dropping him.
Reminiscent of game number 1.
Peterbot's dropping him.
91 surge. When was the last time we seen 91 surge in the FNCS finals lobby? And it just goes to show this is how important it actually is. But the third party coming in, Peterbot once again
Peterbot's dropping him.
Disengage outward, but just a little bit too slow. Cold gets caught on the mix. He gets knocked down, and now Peterbot's left by himself this early in the game. That's a disaster again. I don't think anybody would expect.
This is not good. I would say it's great for the overall story, right? To give Peterbot, Ritual, and Cold something to fight for, given that everyone's concern was like, was the FNCS going to be a steamroll for what is arguably the strongest trio coming into this, the favorites, if you will. But so far, when the finals lobby ended up shaking up and the way things are looking right now, the competition is set out for them, and it seems like NA is not afraid to take on the best. Sonetto, Scare, and Veer back in the game right now. They're going to be using that reboot van. That's going to be one less van now for Peterbot to leverage as well. These little things start to compound, right?
Yeah, just making it that much more difficult. Luckily for them, they can go back to Flooded Frogs itself, continue to move towards the east, and that looks like exactly where Peterbot currently is. You see just a little bit of his arrow in the mini-map. They're going to continue to rotate in that direction.
All right, this is game 4, I believe.
Go anywhere, you go towards a Flooded Frog type POI where you know there's a lot of
I'm going to be more immersive now. I've just been like,
here's the thing though, Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual typically leave
YouTube chat, don't forget to drop a like.
Well.
I would greatly appreciate it.
Would scare Sonetto, kind of rotating through there. They're probably naturally just going to check anyways, and they're going to take all that leftover reserve that Peterbot's team typically leaves behind. So this is really bad for Peterbot.
Yeah, Ritual.
He's going to be
banking
on picking up his squad and going back to the
Cold die too.
Going to be scrapped dry, honestly.
Wow.
And we know.
Yeah, Peterbot's still looking for a new trio.
Heal off if it does come down to it later in the game. Peterbot's gonna have to trust Ritual and Cold if he does get the reboots back. Send another one of our juggernaut teams in this one. Kanata, Bolt, Rapid, rotating all the way south from that Demon's Dojo. Gotta imagine how much surge they do actually have on them because of how much space they're able to get early on. A lot of the teams around their actual position probably rotating early to the zone. But since they're so far ahead of the curve right now, every other team, they're able to kind of look back and see if there's any opportunities that present themselves.
Could have been, but the team's just outside the line of sights now, so off they go.
Well, these guys, they
a full team with Typhoons right here.
They play competitive.
Looks pretty sick
all the time.
Rotate on foot like that.
And TG Ranger
there it is,
don't have time to practice. So
gonna be first attack Kanata here. Not gonna break a sweat though.
Just out with the follow, thank you.
Yeah, without some of these zones have been playing, I do like their idea to go straight over towards Seaport City or one of the surrounding mountains. I think if last game has taught us anything, once you see a lot of water in the zone, you got to start preparing and be one of the players to kind of position yourself first. And just across, they do see Muzz on top of that mountain, something that is easy to spot out, but sometimes can be very difficult to fight against.
Yeah, I think Peterbot's for sure going to drop her
though, playing this ultimate height position here. Worked once. Why wouldn't it work again? Already, though. Seems like not too much traction in action here on the outside right now.
Unless, like, tomorrow they come back. Or the next 2 games they come back crazy.
Up against Visual, Braids, and a Minish now at the Pump Power. It's a fight that looks like it's going to distance here. Not too much of a fan of this, though. We are getting late into this kind of mid-game here. Visuals playing a bit of a side angle. Wonder what's the play right now.
Oh, you're good, V's. You're good.
Oh,
The other side, though? Yeah, I think they kind of heard the footsteps and stuff as well for Victor V, Chimp, and Skittles. Just kind of play very, very slow. Going back to some hidden loot that they had before when they were fishing.
Peterbot's all the way in
Storm. Those teams don't take a skirmish this deep into zone, especially when it is pulling toward the south. A lot of them will get stacked up on that side as we tune back into Peterbot, where he's successfully able to get the reboot cards for his teammates, return back to Flooded Frogs, and this is exactly what you were talking about here in this game.
Look at this, the reserves still
what if they win?
Behind there. There are a couple splashes, but can they get the heals to maintain here, sustain, if you will, inside the storm? We know we saw a couple med kits there. Void Oni mask is out, but just looking very worse for wears right now. There goes the heals, and off they go. So, all right, they've managed to kind of bounce back into this one. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but they are alive. That's all that matters. And again, it's crazy.
Well, they can't really play
these
Storm,
are what their
honestly.
Bad games look like. Somehow they rebound. Somehow they still secure points. And they surely have done a good amount of damage, right? At least before things kind of collapse against them.
Oh, Noah died again?
So the first thing on their mind is Surge when they get in the zone. Sphinx, Cooper, Vadeal, as the day has gotten on. Besides, see them progressively getting better and handling their own Storm Surge situation. Right now, they're spread out. 2 of them are just right outside Mass Meadows. The other one is towards the north. But Donnie fighting on another side of the map. Cannons crossing just outside their view. They know they have a knock on to Aoxy.
Did they run away again, Ryan, or did they fight?
Let it go for free. Big shot by Donnie yet again, backing him down, not letting the revive come to fruition. So Aoxy's instantly going to be cleaned up.
Like what I'm watching right now.
Ooh.
Nice tag right there. And the Pike's follow-up was good, but not good enough to take down Chance Guru here. His team goes and wraps things up here. Nicely done for Donnie. Putting another number on the map right now. Very well played.
Got a fight, gotcha.
Look at that. They get to feast here. They will have to play for the pickup, but the zone bouncing back across now. We're seeing a back-to-back
reset my camera.
Shattered Span potentially right now.
Check out the replay. Right off of the respawn, they're immediately going back to work. I said they knew how important Surge was.
King again?
Ritual making up for going down early, gets the elimination. 466 above the damage threshold. Honestly, I would not have expected them to be that much above the threshold at this stage in the game, considering what we've seen so far with both Ritual and Cole.
Yeah, what if they come back and win this?
You know, I was curious, you know, if Ritual
30
was the weak link here, do we think it's like FNCS finals jitters, right? Or could it just be the luck of the draw? Sometimes things don't exactly go your way.
Yeah, it's just kind of one of those questions. It's something that I feel like you know, from day 1 to day 2, even from game to game, they're talking about the adjustments that are kind of needed to make. They see another team in their line of sight, immediately beelining their way on.
Wow,
over,
they're keying everybody.
They're trying to
they're
take
keying everybody, chat. This is interesting.
They break into one wall. They get pieces on the other side. Cold gets a knock on the one, and immediately separates him from the rest of his trio.
Hold on. They might be cooking here.
Another big elimination. Look how quickly they're making it look. How easy they're making it look right now. Cold, Ritual, Peterbot starting to heat up right now.
Wow, okay. This might be a whole different game.
Problem with the damage moving forwards here. It's just a matter of positioning here onwards. Seaport City once again in action here. It's almost reminiscent of the first game here. Let's see what learnings players are going to take into this one here. Vote Oni Mask helping them with the big rotates here.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit easier this game, considering compared to last, but Agers, Acorn, they get Poyo back. 298 above the Storm Surge threshold, but that's not going to stop them from going after Seek.
Zone clicks are so live up there in the Surge base.
Down as a duo and immediately make it to zone, but as this one continues to move towards the eastern side of the map, a lot of the teams in this
wonder if Peterbot's team is going to continue W key to like try to come back and get first. Because if they W key, like a 20 kill win, I think they get first.
Even made it in for a second there when we first tuned in. They were down and out, but
as long as Muzz and Poyo's team both die, or if they key them both, they can reclaim first. No problem.
And off they go for a big rotate. They're going to be cutting off the rest of the lobby here. One of the first to go ahead and dive in.
I wonder how competitive it's going to be without the masks.
It's pretty impressive to actually think about. We're kind of always talking about Poyo, considering he gets in moments like this, able to stay alive, pressure coming in. They overbuild to try to create space, but it was actually
Isn't Poyo on 60 ping? Or he was on 60 ping? I don't know if he still is.
Before Peterbot said, "Nah, this team's mine, taking it over." So it's great to see them continue.
Oh my gosh!
On the threshold, and they're taking shots out of Yamzo. Clicks and Batman Booga, getting him down. No shield. Yamzo is forced to back up with the rest of the team. They kind of converge slowly but surely, turtle back to try to save themselves. Neither one of these teams are currently in zone.
Here
still got some distance to cover.
Clicks here.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, yo, wait, these dudes are not even in zone. They're putting a lot of pressure on this team right now.
If Muzz died early on and Poyo gets top 10, I think they get first.
Instead of playing Clixy, Yamzo, and Batman Booga in a pretty bad situation.
We'll
see if they've got enough to go ahead and bounce back. Meanwhile, Rapid Bolton, Kanata, the blades out.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty crazy here on the low ground in the Seaport City. It's going to end up working out for Rapid as he finds Braids. One of the combination from Visuals, of course, and a Minish here. Visuals seems to be the only one standing, but not for long as Bolts.
You can be competitive 60 ping is nuts. Yeah. I mean, I was playing 60 ping with TG and Ranger.
For them right now. These eliminations
it's not even my server, it's their server. I'm playing 60 ping with them.
As teams are starting to really approach that 200 points threshold here. Meanwhile, on the edge, Ritual, Cold, and Peterbot is the first team.
Oh, this guy's just solo in the bush. Yeah, he's cooked.
Yamzo and Batman Booga Jacob have now got themselves situated. It has cost them a lot. Look at their mats.
Yeah, a fight that kind of put a lot at risk, but you're seeing how they're able to get those eliminations. Scare gets tagged up. Veer gets dropped. They're able to get that elimination and immediately try to move
the solo does in the bush.
Clean up Scare on the way there, and you can kind of see the stats. Something I was talking about early. They won 23% of their finals lobbies. Just like Peterbot, though, they have to continue to come online, get back into the form we know they can compete at.
Yeah, they're still very much in this race right now. However, it's never been more difficult. Halfway through the material counts here for Clicks. Pretty tough spot to be in, already going through their chug splashes pretty early here.
Let's see.
More Void Oni Mass rotates coming out now.
I don't think it's Clicks.
No lines of sight
this team has to rotate so far every time.
For them here.
I just realized.
One more, and in they are nice and safe. They're positioned up amongst the juggernauts here. This end game's looking pretty tough so far, but a much better, much more favorable game than the previous one. At least we have a lot of land in place though now.
Acorn and
This is like 60% of the lobby, 80% of the lobby, almost 90 outside of the zone now.
Wow.
We continue to move south for the winter.
Whoever this blue team is, this blue like arrow team, is straight chilling.
But Poyo, Acorn, and Agers, because of their proactivity early on, they're able to kind of take it step by step by step. But Bolt's Rapid And I would say Kanata, but he's already down, forced to kind of watch this one on the sidelines.
Some of them are streaming bees, but most of them aren't.
Trying to figure out what is this rotation, how they're going to make it. They're trying to look towards the zone. There's so many hills and mountains to overcome before they even make it up there and have a straight shot to the zone.
They like to record.
We've seen many of the other teams in this situation. This is the first now. Bolts is going to be left to just duo it out with Rapid now. Cold Ritual and Peterbot finally situated as a full trio nearly in the end game. Can we see them actually cross that threshold? It's been so difficult for them to do.
Central.
Meanwhile,
I'm not
feels
gonna
like
watch
Muzz, Japco, and Rise have really figured it out. They're set up perfectly inside the new Storm right now. And look at the maps that they have in a base already situated, just fully aware and under control here. This could be another breakaway game for Japco, Muzz, and Rise if they could just maintain positioning here now. One set of eliminations, and they're going to be taken off to the tracks here. A lot of hurt teams nearby. Still hunting.
Yep.
Just a lot of pressure they're putting down on
reinforcing
the other side
the walls.
of the map. Rapid's now by himself. Bolts gets lost in the mix. At least he's able to look back and see G Money. He knows 700 above the damage threshold, but that can change.
Oh, he's solo.
In the blink of an eye as he tries to scout out where he's going to position himself. You see the northeast part of that zone stacked as can be, and that's why he's going to board orb his way over the top to where he's trying to be as safe as possible.
Yeah, I'm so close to all live still. Why aren't they showing Peterbot at all?
Over to Clixie,
I want to see if he's king or not. Jojo.
Quarter material in the reserves here.
I would have thought streaming would hinder performance and swing. It would hinder performance if you were on a solo stream or solo PC for streaming. Most of these guys are on a streaming PC, so I wouldn't hinder at all.
Clixo works his way back.
And they have a 2 PC setup. That's what I have.
Test of defense there. And now they're trying to change their focus. Can they look somewhere else? Little do they know.
Wow.
It's a whole team there. Wow. Beautiful tag right there, and all of a sudden they full commit in. Very nicely done for them.
What a refresh, bro.
They get some heals to go for the road here. It's not much, but still the placements and the points that they earn for the elimination is gonna be welcomed here. Look at that. That's a little bit of a refresh there. Bugha and Aviv.
Zone pulls.
Looking up at high ground, nothing big comes out of it, but the fact that they're trying here shows that they want this dub here.
And I would say through the qualification to get here, Bugha's been playing phenomenal. I know there was a big question mark about his dedication.
Oh yeah.
New year, new him. He's back at it. He gets tagged up, trying to make his way
Peter,
into his position. Probably wait for Aviv to back him up. Because they're the only 2 left alive on that trio, especially without threats to a lot of firepower that they're missing. Trying to get up the side of the mountain. Clicks, Batman, Bugha, and Yamzo doing the same thing, and that's the team that Bugha and Aviv have to watch out for. They're peeking through the cones. This is vital information before they wait the 8 seconds for the next zone to reveal itself.
Oh no, they're alive. They're alive.
No surprise to see them looking very soundly here on the low ground. We thought they would have been a high ground team every single game, but we
they have 8 eliminations right now, this trio.
Down in the low ground here. And it just feels like Muzz, Japco, and Rise have found a huge boost of confidence as they are the team positioned for height once again here now. So the story really starting to shake up here. Meanwhile, Poyo, Acorn, and Aegis
Poyo's right next to them.
Just accrediting how good he's been playing, but Poyo is a dog, and he is still hunting here now. And this is a great performance for them right now. 7 eliminations already starting to break away from the pack here. Really keeping things interesting, keeping Muzz, Rise, and Japco on their toes, if you will, right now. And although they have height, they don't have any elims.
They're on height? Ooh, they might keep first.
Yeah, and a little bit of feeling of deja vu from that last game where they were able to get high ground and really not be tested.
But they don't have any eliminations, that's the thing. I know Peter's team and Poyo's eliminations.
To pressure all the teams down below. Peterbot, Ritual, Cold. They box to box against Vadeal, Cooper, and Sphinx, who have smartly changed layers. They get on out. They don't want to be caught in the madness that is.
Oh my god, there's a guy right in that cone, or in that ramp.
They're continuously being on the hunt.
Nice,
but
another one.
Surprise, that's Rapid, the solo. He gets taken down, sent back to the lobby.
He's still alive.
Clicks, Batman, Bugha, now at 7 eliminations. No material.
Almost 30 people in zone 9. Jeez, bro.
Just to pull in what they can here.
That's insane, man.
Act of desperation, but hey, they are still alive here and earning ever so slightly some placement points, but they got to get to this next refresh ASAP. Oh, look at this. They find a team inside the zone. It's Violet, it's edgy, but they can't sit around and wait. They have to keep moving
1 HP.
here.
Just waiting for the zone to open up on that left side. Cooper, Vadeal, Sphinx, they're not waiting. They're just going to the front side of zone, claiming all that space for themselves. Trying to be very, very proactive, and that opens up opportunities. Oliver OG is going to be positioned right above, but they got to watch out for the trio. They're going for the pre-edit. Cooper's trying to break his way in. Good shots on to 20. He's going to go down. They're immediately trying to bulldoze their way in, grab that elimination, grab the resources
26 alive.
without getting too greedy.
Not too bad now. This is going to give them a little bit more gas in the tank here. Meanwhile, Clicks finally goes down, but Batman Booga with a great change. Finally, though, they get edgy and a little bit more mats. Another inch taken. Can they turn it into a mile now? It's just up to Batman Booga and Iyamzo. Iyamzo, of course, the voice of this trio right now. Batman Booga, the firepower. It doesn't get much better than this. Top 10 now. They were very much in the game.
So
High ground has no problems. Just keep eyes.
Yeah, I think Muzz wins this low key, unless Unibrow makes that high play.
Just pressuring the rest of the lobby. The big points, though, are in the hands of Ritual and Peterbot. They are flying up the standings right now, and it's still active down here. Meanwhile, Cold falls, though. It's all up to Peterbot. Once again, he's the last man standing.
A familiar station that he's already ready for. Big knock on the Virgo. Tries to go for the back-to-back, but the run ends. Top 6 for them. Ager's now left by himself.
Muzz is going to take first, I think.
Nowhere
still,
in sight.
Keep first.
He's looking all around, trying to figure out where he's going to try to make this
Poyo's dead.
Zone. Moving toward the north. He peeks out for a second. High ground puts a ton of pressure, getting to expand the build, force them down low into that chaos, but Ager's trying to play it smart. He doesn't want to go to the low ground. Not at this stage in the game.
He's dead for sure.
I was going to say a couple missed edits there, and he is just caught between two teams. This looks like it's going to come down to Cooper, Vadeal, and Sphinx versus our high ground, Muzz, Rise, and Japco, but there's still Oliver OG right in the middle. It all comes down to what Oliver OG is going to end up doing here. Are they going to look to high ground? Are they going to kind of sandwich their way down?
I think Muzz wins this.
No,
they got Japco. They got Japco. No, that's Muzz's team.
All of a sudden now, anything can go down here.
What the heck?
Don't know why he dropped down, but that was high ground. They were trying to force Oliver's team into Sphinx team down below, but the tables have turned. It cost them everything, but everybody's weak toward the backside of zone.
Wait, Cooper's team.
It's Cooper, Vadeal, Sphinx down below. They have full control, but they're out of build.
I mean, Muzz can still win. Heal off. Why is healing off now?
The outside of zone. He's going to try to start a little
Rise got one.
A late rotation in. Rise doing work, but he goes down. The trio down below.
Wait, no, Muzz can win? Wow, Cooper won.
But he does not stand a chance. Vadeal, Sphinx, and Cooper finally show up.
I don't know what the leaderboard's looking like right now.
I'm not gonna
I don't
lie.
know. I have no idea.
It's looking like Muzz's opportunity to come back once again, and one mistake, one false move. Japco falls early by rotating down too soon, and all of a sudden now you crack things open for Cooper, Sphinx, and Vadeal to run one up. And they do just that. What a victory royale for them as well. They needed that win right there. They needed the confidence boost. Vadeal was talking about it online. This is feeling like another global championship level game.
That's actually a sick game.
Why are the games so sweaty?
Oh man!
And just like that, they pull in a victory royale. Take a look at the highlights though, Jacob. From their perspective, it looked easier, I'm sure, than it felt. Not too bad for them to take that dub.
Not too bad at all. Vadeal going from not knowing who to play with EU to having a superstar team in NA. Game 4 is done and dusted.
All right, let's see.
Go to our analysts to let us know their thoughts.
Oh crap! Okay, Agers.
Just keep going back and forth, guys.
Wait, Agers took first with Poyo. They're first by 3 points.
My gosh, to see Muzz, Yapko, and Rise come so
whoa, hold on. Poyo first, Muzz second, Peterbot third, Clicks fourth. Wait, chat. I'm 4 for 5 right now, am I not? I'm 4 for 5 right now, I think. Yeah, I am. Look, I predicted. Top 5 day 1 trios, no order. Noah's not in the top 5. Peterbot third, Cooper 5th, Clicks 4th, and Agers 1st. Poyo. Chat on the dot almost have it. Noah's 31st right now. He needs. Wow, he actually needs 2 crazy games to come back. Yeah, he needs like 2 crazy games right now. From here on out, he needs to have good games. Otherwise, he's not going to globals. But
Yeah, and honestly, not as many as eliminations that I would have thought. That
wow. Chad, I am 4 out of 5 right now.
Right? Like I would have talked about kind of like
4 out of 5.
Base play style. I was assuming that they would have just had more, but the way that this end game kind of played out, it was crazy because Yapko kind of dropped down, went down the Oliver OG.
Will you be DJ tonight? I mean, if you guys want me to DJ, I can. Cooper, I'm down for it.
Trio of what there was actually able to get the refresh, which was allowed them to go ahead and transition that into the victory royale. Crazy stuff. They get the win.
Man, chaos, my favorite. Now, with that being said, 2 games left to go before we call day 1 done. For now, we go to a break. When we return, we'll break down the standings and what we've been seeing after this short break. So stay tuned. See you in just a minute.
I took a picture.
Ground
down, went down the Oliver OG team, and then it goes by.
That's just Ranger, bro. That's legit Ranger. You gonna bet? Nah, I'm not gonna bet. If I bet, I would have made money, bro. I'm 4 out of 5 right now. But there's still 2 games, so we're gonna have to wait. Two and a half minutes. I don't even know if there's betting for this anyway. What is Ranger doing there? That's literally a Ranger. I'm not sure, Bees. I don't know. I take a picture and send it to Ranger. Group chat.
The other, I feel like I have whiplash at this
Oh, I need to find one where he's smiling.
point. My gosh, to see Muzz, Yapko, and Rice come so close. But then Vadeal, Cooper, and Sig step up and say, hold on a minute. We are...
That's... it's Ranger. That's literally Ranger, bro.
What are you doing? That is so good for them, and to see them get it, especially at this moment, right? We still have 2 games to put up before the show's done. This is momentum, right? If they just carry this, they continue this ball rolling, we could see big numbers by the end of these next 2 games.
That's literally a Ranger. I'm gonna send it to the group chat with TG too. That's actually Ranger, bro.
Welcome back. Missed you, but now we're here again together. Game number 4 on the day of the FNCS Major 1 Finals went the way of Vadeal.
I'm gonna check the replay. I'm gonna check the replay.
Maybe you're just tuning in. Great to see you. Hope you've had a fantastic time. We are deep in competition right now. So many things happening, bro. And to see once again this momentum-based team find themselves a victory out is big, but we turn attention to the standings.
I like big ducks and I cannot lie.
It's kind of crazy.
All the ducks chanting
Acorn and Poyo are still holding down that number 1
There's a leaderboard
spot. And I mean, Kelly, given like the situation,
Ranger goes true.
To still be holding that number 1 spot is like a testament to their skill.
I just don't understand probability-wise how Agers keeps being the only one alive at every single end game here. We had another solo clutch from him. It was a duo clutch for a long time between Acorn and Agers, but eventually it did go back just to him. And to be able to hold on for so long and still get a few eliminations, I mean, everyone has said it. Agers is an incredible fragger, and to see him still being able to just run through these mid and low grounds is so impressive.
I mean, this trio is just doing so well right now, especially in the elimination category. That's their third double-digit elimination game. They ended that one with 10 right there, which is pretty much the only way that they're kind of holding on to that lead right there. Because I was 100% pretty much convinced that Muzz, Yapko, and Rise were going to be in first place after they just got second right there. Yeah, Agers of them holding on to
2.5 minutes about till the next.
That's so. I mean, yeah, just disgusting stats, you know. And you kind of bring up Muzz, Yapko, and Rise. You know, they get that last game second place, but it's only 4 elims. And you know what's crazy is you said this right before we went to break, Vivid. There's kind of times where you kind of expect there to just be more eliminations on the board, and there's not. And when you look up and you're like, wait, these guys had height. They didn't have the elims, so maybe what went wrong for them that I expected to look and be like, yeah, 12 elims, I don't even 13 elims, but to end on only 4?
Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly. Actually, I don't even know how they're pulling it off, right? Because as we saw right there, I think it was like 10th or 11th zone. So, you know, a couple zones into the movings, it's 0 elims. Like, that's so unheard of in these games. That's very, very kind of hard to pull off. I mean, obviously the zones are kind of pulling to that southeast side of the map, right? Kind of favoring them a little bit because we just saw this.
I think top 10 is globals, right? So wait, top 10 is globals? Noah can still go to globals.
It's working very, very well for them.
If he gets top 10, I believe.
Good. Almost, you know what I mean? I mean, 0 eliminations. When these elims are worth so much and they're not really getting that many, that's kind of where they're hurting right now. As you can see, again, they're a little bit behind in that category. But I mean, still second place, doing very, very well.
Well, we saw from Muzz
10th is only
building that crazy tower again at Shattered Span, and he was able to get those tags, no eliminations, but they were really just worried about Storm Surge there. Zone did pull away from Shattered Span, so they weren't able to kind of take advantage of like what we saw from the previous game. And then from in-game there, I don't know if you noticed, but at some point Muzz just didn't have any more ammo, so that might have been the reason. Maybe they were conserving a little bit, maybe they were prioritizing just controlling high ground rather than trying to get those eliminations onto the low and mid ground. And unfortunately, we did see Yapko go down. So although I don't necessarily think it was a shambles situation, I think with the loot that they had, they played that as best as they could.
Now, speaking of shambles, we don't have a long time, but Peterbot, what the heck happened that last game, right? To start the game in Zone 2 as a solo, to get rebooted, and then Kelly to come back and to place where they did 6th place with 12 elims. I don't even know what's happening anymore.
I don't either, and it wasn't even like it wasn't until the end game that we saw them recover. No, by Zone 5 they got 3 eliminations and were 900 damage above Storm. The ability that they are able to recover is so incredible. Taking the low ground once again, not too much of a surprise. They had just crazy loot, decent heals, but of course it did eventually get a little rough for them, and they did go down, I believe, in 6th place right here.
Yeah, I mean, they just keep getting their early games messed up, right? Nothing's really going according to plan in that early game. They've got to switch something up there. So kind of like when that happens, the rest of the game's like, heck it, we ball, right? And it's just worked out the best that game right there for them. So they're still hanging on 3rd place.
That's right.
I don't know how. They have not.
That's range in 6 years.
They're still 3rd place. That is bad.
I can't unsee it now, Chad.
With that being said, I want to talk more, but we have to get back into the action. The players are ready, so find your seat on the bus. Let's do this.
Thank you, Zeke. That's right. I'm ready for the action here. Had to make sure I unmuted after that last game. Things got a little bit exciting. The leaderboards, though, Jacob, are getting closer and closer now.
Well, I mean, for the top half, it is getting closer, but you can see that point gap start to spread as you move down that leaderboard. That puts a huge importance of these last 2 games of the day. Because where you stand on this leaderboard, there's no more point multiplier. It means everything, and Game 5 is ready, and they're ready to be put to the test.
Poopy poop.
And Jacob, it is very interesting, right? Some teams perform better in the types of lobbies, or the format, we should say, where the 1.5x comes into place. That day 2, that comeback competition opportunity is real. But with this type of style, with this type of format now, it really is going to come down to a big outlier games, right? Can you pop off more often than not? And there's a couple teams that can, and we're seeing that happen on the standings now, as a few teams have already broken into that 10+ elimination threshold in multiple games now. And talking about just quick fights here, though, Oliver, OG, Skater, and Dash, that's probably the first time we've seen them really land and just finish things up here at the Hopeful Heights and not have it drag out.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like telling from what we've seen in game 1 to this. They're realizing we can't split it anymore. There's not enough.
Wait, was that this game? Noah died again?
For Storm Surge, they're starting to realize these last 2 games with everything on the line, you almost got to fight for everything. But Sandman's down. Degen gets tagged up, 19 HP, barely making it in the window where you can use the med kit. But on the other side, they're facing Joji. They're left by themselves as well with Aaron going down.
What?
Dude,
like what we're watching right here.
Dude, how are we?
It was 10 HP. I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
what happened? What even happened, bro? What the frick was that? Jeez, man. He's everything. Oh my. I mean, bro, GG's, dude. They can have that, bro.
Wrap this up, bro.
Goodness, dude.
Is one more game left or no?
Yes, bro. Unfortunately.
Oh god, unfortunately.
Frick, dude.
Wow.
Actually.
Is this last game? Oh, there's still one more game.
On that kid too. I don't know how he won that. I guess I just had like a doo-doo SMG, but like still.
Of its teammates down, looking like he's going to be the hero of this early game. Valuable Storm Surge. We know that is basically currency to be able to get around the lobby for free. As we tune in, Flooded Frogs, Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. Not the day anybody has expected to see so far with the performances, but Peterbot really keeping his entire trio in this game after game after game. It's honestly, I feel like going to be a scary sight when they finally all come online as a full trio.
Let's see if they can do it. There is yet to be a game where Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual smash the early game and really put themselves in a great position for the end game, right? Game 1 was high surge thresholds across the board, followed by game 2, and then we of course seen how game 3 and 4 have now played out. A couple early game eliminations, really setting them back round after round, but Acorn, Agers, and Poyo have not necessarily had that problem here. They seem to have a much different story unfolding for them. They're barely holding on to first place though. 3-point spread here between themselves, Muzz, Japco, and Rise. So very close competition up at the top.
Right, tweaking.
You see nobody over towards the bird. That's usually where Pikes, Jojo Fishy, Oxy, Taram, Rekko, and Dummy land. So nowhere for Poyo to get Storm Surge early on. Zone. Not really too far away for Rise, Yapko, and Muzz, so they're going to be able to take their time very, very early on towards Shattered Span before they start to make their rotation on over. Regardless of their mobility, there's multiple launch pads that they can use to try to close the distance very, very quickly. Grab one of those mountains just north of Seaport City if they want. They have all the choices, and only 3 points down from first place. I feel like they got to make sure they make the end of the day count.
Yeah, this is it. Muzz could be working his way slowly but surely towards the 4X. Can he do it and take a Rise? And Japco along for the ride. Clicks, Batman, Boogan, and Yamso are still very much in the conversation as well for the team that's on its way. What do we think about their performance overall? We haven't really seen anything super outstanding, right? Nothing extremely pop off. However, they've been slow and steady.
Yeah, my only real question for them coming into this tournament is their ability to consistently get Storm Surge. But I think it's kind of the same around the entirety of the lobby. It's not as easy as anybody would have hoped. Kind of puts teams like Jojo, Oxy, and Pikes in this situation. Talked about them kind of contesting over towards the bird. They're moving further and further west. They don't want to be one of those teams that's just in somebody else's path, kind of getting farmed for damage. They're trying to create their own story here. Liam, Nut, and Fredbot, first time finalists as well, really trying to come back, have a great day performance to close it out. Repeat it there for day 2. Liam's moving up layer by layer, trying to go on the offensive. Jojo's down below. He gets separated. The full trio pounce onto him as a solo. Quick and easy work, taking him apart from his team.
Hey, let's not forget, Liam, Nut, and Fredbot is the same trio that took down Peterbot, right?
True.
Cold there in the last game, really setting themselves up, or setting them up for a pretty tough spot. And this is where they shine best, this is where they perform best. Third party, though, puts a couple shots, and meanwhile, Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts here have their work cut out for them right now as well. This is a storm fight outside the Demon's Dojo, the first that we've seen them really lag behind this far back. This is up against Victor V, Chimp, and Skittles, so they've kind of changed up their rotation as well, veering out towards the mountains as opposed to going straight for the beeline to zone.
Yeah, I just see some empty slots on them. I can see them kind of returning back towards the
I wonder
north.
what people are gonna do.
Converge on a
this
location,
game,
try to get some extra loot. Kanata Rapids.
this game and one more
not a
after
situation
this.
they want to be in. So far in his zone with it pulling in, so they're quickly just going to try to get some damage, move on out. Should jump on board Sphinx. Kind of the IGL leader of this trio of Cooper and Vadeal. He's the one that kind of separates himself from the rest of the team.
Like no tags
so that way they can cover
around
more
him.
ground so they can get Storm Surge. And it's something that I think has been working well for them. Not necessarily super impressive where they have the most numbers in the lobby, but they're doing just enough to stay ahead of every single zone in terms of the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously helps you taking a big victory royale, right? Especially one that had a nice amount of elimination.
Why are there so many people
here? Had they not dropped their first game with a 17th place, they'd be very much up towards the top. Just shows you one game can really shake things up, even this late. On to day number 1 here. Noxy, Curly, Virgo here at the Hopeful Heights still have the attention of another team nearby. Have to be careful on their rotates out. Meanwhile,
oh, G-Man,
what's going on over here? Possess knocked at the moment.
They get an elimination. Almost thought I saw maybe Chimp was somebody that he took down.
Yeah, I think Chimp's getting trio.
Full trio, 3 eliminations, 67 points. Kind of a blessing for them since they landed.
Oh, they're like so far into zone right now.
Map. I would love to see
as
after
I
the
say
day
that
ends, like who has the most distance covered, because with the way some of these zones have been, I would say they could be one of those teams.
Yeah, there haven't been any northern zones. This one's going a little bit more to the west, but a lot of the zones have been, I don't know, fairly center or like seaport. Definitely not in the north side though, we know that. Peterbot, Ritual, and Cold, what are they up to now? They find Seek, Osid, and seems like G-Monster. Their backs against the wall, and already that signature trio breakup right here. Peterbot on his own side, Ritual and Cold playing a completely separate angle. It's like clockwork every single time.
And Cold just take a downward approach. Tree's kind of blocking him off just a little bit, but he's just following G-Money. Trying to make sure that if he runs away, he's not going to get an advantage in this fight, but he does find a way back with Seek and his team. Osid just a little bit farther away, but Peterbot just quickly shadowing them on the other side. He has the piece control, spots them all out on the other side, and he's kind of picking and choosing his battles, waiting for his teammates to cause a little bit of distraction before he tries to make that move.
He just knows better, too, to take that left camera peek, not to put themselves in a
bad
situation. Peterbot doesn't have the luxury, I would say, right now to really take a risk. I like that he's putting respect on these trios.
W King for Surge, or I don't know what their plan is, but
because these early game fights have been
they're gonna W Key everybody, bro.
A little tough.
They wiped the team faster and W Key that team too.
The fight goes on, lasting longer than I think we'd expect, giving more time for Dummy's trio to start coming on in and decide if they want to take the fight here. Gotta be quick.
Oh wow!
The sound that'll haunt me. The Typhoon Blade underneath. Cold's not going to fall for that bait. Lands a good shot, but the splash is coming out on the other side. Instant heals to try to get them back up to fighting shape. Got to imagine that third party now beginning to shoot shots in their direction. Presence is going to be known. You see Peterbot just trying to overbuild on that outside and push them away from that water sprite so they can't benefit from those heals. And he's going right back into old territory.
Wow.
Oh, look at that. Finds an angle here. Great tag there, but recognizes G-Monster still somewhere lurking about.
Nice, they got one.
Osid's gonna fall here finally. One of the trio gets caught out. It's Cold who makes the big move, and then the second follow-up as well. Now the third party starts to collapse in. They want a piece of the action here. Peterbot in the box. He's clutched up enough today. His team's gonna have to carry the rest now. And Ritual does just that. But it's a 3v2 situation going on now. Oh yeah, they spotted them out. They see the res coming through. They actually
it's all good.
All the way too. And they're right back in this game now. Possibly forced to splash it up. Yep, they are going to use it. Everything coming out now. They're right back into fighting action here.
They're going to keep this team too. Watch.
They had splashes, water sprites. Really no loss there. That trio kind of has no choice but to disengage on out. Especially when you know who actually won this fight. I don't want to bite off more than you can chew. Kind of take whatever damage that you were able to get and disengage on out. You see them immediately moving their way in towards zone. Ritual, Cold, Peterbot. Moving towards the
right
west
side,
where you got Havoc and Sandman. They need to be careful. You don't want to get caught off guard, especially when there's a huge numbers
Oliver's
mismatch.
fighting Bucky.
Look at this. Fight breaking out here. Things looking a little messy for Oliver, OG, Dash, and Skater. They've already got the trio elimination from the drop pretty much wrapped up in the bag. That was Noah W plays this trio. And this is a, I don't know if it's a fight for greed, pride, or positioning, but someone needs it clearly. Skater, Oliver, and Dash, I would beg to say they probably don't necessarily need the damage, but they're still sticking around.
Yeah, with a few inconsistent days.
I was about to say, why are they still here?
I feel like they're just trying to replicate what worked for them in that last, where they were able to kind of
rotate through the tunnel, I'm assuming.
Points that they need. You can see with the loot that they're able to gather, just kind of stagger themselves back. The zone's not doing too much damage this early on in the game. They have the ability to take their time, but they have a race to the other side of the mountain. You don't want to be the team stuck inside of that tunnel, getting targeted by everybody else, but you see action kind of flowing throughout the map here. 75 players still left alive for Bugha Threats and Aviv. It's going to be a good opportunity, not too far away from their drop spot at Seaport City, for them to get surged on that team that is right below them. Follow them in towards zone or kind of beat them to punch, and then be able to look back.
Just give a little credit to Oliver OG, just good map awareness, right? Recognizing the tunnel there, kind of playing a little bit of a different rotate instead of burning maps to go up and over. Potentially getting chased out. The island starting to populate here, Jacob. We got Poyo, Aders, and Acorn, the first to the punch. But Clixy, Yamza, and Batman Bugha might have their say here as well.
Yep. Does look like they're already throwing their orbs up there. They might be one of the first teams, but they got to make sure that they throw their orbs right, because exactly this will happen. A little bit too short, you end up gliding, beamed on your way up, or just falling down altogether. Batman Bugha not really able to follow up on that damage, but Ager slow to rotate on over as well. But unfortunately enough, a full trio and a couple other teams in the lobby not able to get the knock that they need. So Poyo, Agers, and Acorn will make it to the top of the mountain, but it's going to be short-lived. It looks like the boss Shogun X entered the frame to get a knock.
Interesting turn of events there. So I'm curious, are they going to commit to this at this point? Oh my gosh, Shogun X is here to play. More damage coming in.
Shogun X just trying to more damage to them than anybody else in the lobby this game.
Yeah, Aders needs to pull thread here. That's what he's trying to do here. Get the pressure off the Acorn. Finish up this boss quickly now.
Interesting. I feel like Peterbot for sure is gonna keep keying. They're just getting this for free though. That's interesting.
Interesting to see like Clix, Batman Bugha, and Yamza really not move too far away, right below them on the mountain.
So Muzz and Rise are in a surge race.
In that direction. On top of a mountain of their own, Muzz, Rise, Yapko still taking advantage of any slow teams to rotate from the north side through brutal boxcars. And this is something they've been doing almost all day long, whether they got the zone or not. They're just kind of slow to rotate, making sure that they take advantage of all the other slower rotating teams on their way there, making sure to maintain elevation throughout the course of their rotations as well.
See if they can do that into the end game, though. We have yet to see a team really challenge for height.
Cool kids do on Saturday night in Chicago.
We'd see one of those crazy
they watch Fortnite Grand Finals on stream.
For high ground. However, these first 4 games we've watched,
just kidding.
One team's gone up there.
I mean, these just go out to the city.
That's how it's been
so
far.
Especially with some of these zones, you know, the open water ones, you really don't have an opportunity to look up. Especially with so much chaos going down below. Sphinx, Cooper, Vadeal. Slow rotation after slow rotation from Mass Metals. They haven't had to move too far, but now with an open
Endgame is probably like one of the most boring things to watch. Endgame is just so fun
though. They were up on top of the mountain, so they know the perfect rotation. The instant the zone pulls on over, they're just going to try to creep their way on the other side of Foxy Floodgates and kind of set up, knowing that teams are going to have to come from the north and the east if they want to find their way in.
More trouble for Peterbot though. Look at this. HP running pretty low.
Oh my gosh, right Peterbot might go down.
Pressure coming in from a fresh trio. Fredbot and Liam just continue to ask for more trouble here. Liam falls to the hands of Cold though.
Oh, Cold gets one.
Oh, but the
yeah, it's literally just restaurants, bars.
Here, ready to fight. Big damage coming in now.
Any favorites? These will or not?
Has really proven that they are great at fighting. However, Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual seem to be pretty fired up right now.
Wow.
No fear.
Wow.
Oh, they're back for vengeance, back for more. A very great pickup right there for Peterbot now. And look at this. They are racking up points right now.
It almost even looks like there's two teams on the outside of the zone looking in that direction. Trying to see how they can take part.
5 eliminations right now.
Their own before they even rotate out, but you got to be careful because almost unscathed. It's Peterbot, Ritual, and Cold.
Watch them key this team. This team's keying them.
And Prez, they're ready to take the challenge.
First of all, you saw the elimination feed. You know exactly who this is. Talk about heart on Clixie to go ahead and key Ritual right there, not knowing which of the three, obviously, he was going to be going up against. This is finals, man. Teams are brave. Everyone looking to make their mark here. Oh, no. Peterbot's so quick, though. Traps one. Punishment comes in, though. Both teams are hurt.
Gotcha.
Luckily, his teammate was there to alleviate some of that pressure. Almost full box by Peterbot right before our very eyes. But a difference this time.
Like, it's not even healing. Why? They have no heals?
Full trio down below. There's more and more teams coming and rotating in this direction. Sales being one. He gets the knock on the Sandman. Cold being back down as well. 1,600 damage above the threshold. This is more about pride than anything else. As you see, even more teams, Monster, coming outside of the zone, making their way in.
Dying.
This is becoming more and more of a dangerous situation for anybody to be in, no matter how confident you are, no matter how much you think you have the upper hand.
Yeah, Peterbot's just thinking these teams are absolutely desperate right now for Surge, so he's just going to go ahead and push in, making quick work of that very damaged trio there.
Bro.
More eliminations.
They might drop a freaking 30 bomb this game.
This is the most I think we've seen of any team this early into the mid-game now. Approaching near 10 if they haven't already cracked it. Liam still alive, by the way, from that very injured Fredbot and Nut, team now. They're just down to 1. And, when you have a player escape like that, this is why the Surge stays active, right?
Just one of those real just tough situations. It does look like this time around, they're immediately trying to rotate towards the edge of the zone, not beeline their way in towards the middle. They know the next one's going to be about a 50-50 as we look around the lobby. Some teams in close proximity, some using their numbers, their distance to their advantage to try to get the number that they need for Surge.
They might need Surge. Also, they fought Peterbot and starting to W them. Maybe they don't care anymore because they're being bad in scores.
Where they were able to kind of go from Shattered Span, the zone moving on that side of the map, maintain their position on high ground without really too much risk of anybody taking them down from below.
I'm noticing, though, Muzz's team only seemed to be about 100 above the
Poyo's team is chilling.
You really see the difference in not having that ultimate high ground, not having zone favor, right? All of a sudden now, the dynamic starting to kind of change here a bit. Poyo, Akon,
imagine
do have the high ground here.
They pulled this. Imagine they
managed to, I guess,
no way they're gonna fly. They're gonna freaking.
Worse for wears.
They're gonna teleport this. If they fly, they're dead. Chad, if you fly in this meta, you are dead.
Hand, though. Shogun's
if they fly this, I'd be very, very surprised.
A lot of great highlights. Some of our most exciting end games have come to the hands of whomever's been holding the medallion, so I'm excited to see what Poyo can do.
And just gotta rotate their way. Just one orb, they'll make their way in zone, but you already see teams like Clix, Batman Booga, Yamzo, Peterbot, Cold, Ritual. They already have their spots in towards the zone, so they know they're just gonna do their best to not make it easy for any of these other teams trying to rotate their way in. And it does look like they're just trying to pick that perfect spot. Wait for some of these other teams on the low ground, position themselves, box up, and then with those void maps, they can try to void their way to a little bit of elevation.
Look at this, Clixiando, Batman Booga. Little update for you guys at home. They are very much safe in the zone. Muzz, Rise, and Jeffco not too far off for them as well. Just putting pressure in. This is a team that actually needs the pressure, right? 200 above. That's a spot that you don't necessarily feel comfortable in as a trio. Edits coming in. Muzz and crew want to do what they do best. Let's take a box fight. They can force one.
Yeah. They're not anywhere near in desperate need
of
those materials, but you can look at the count overall.
It's still alive.
Just judging by that, if it keeps at this pace, how it's going.
This is fourth right now, I believe. Imagine he actually
needs some sort of a refresh to replenish some of those materials. As Possess finally gets caught out on the outside of zone. That's Rapid who gets credit for that elimination. They're first of the game as a trio, but they're still making sure to remain proactive. Almost 400 damage above the threshold. Just wait these next couple seconds, seeing where the zone goes before they make that quick move.
Snakes. Oreo, still the team that have a little bit of high ground right now, and it is gonna pull towards the mountain. Okay, so this is gonna shake things up here. Might see what I've been asking for, a fight for height. The mountains are in play. What a find right here. What just happened? Someone lurking behind the bots of Cold, Ritual, and Peterbot. There it is. That's the 10th elimination. Meanwhile, Muzz, Rise, and Japco, we said it. They weren't comfortable where they were standing before. In they go. Muzz is down. Can they save them? They should be able to, but that wall is open. They have to get in. Oh my gosh. Luckily, the teams that start to look in focus a little late, but no.
Chad, you guys want me to DJ after this or no?
The damage has been done.
It's a big loss to the team. 3-time champion.
After like the tournament.
At least it was at a sacrifice. Able to get damage before going down. 188 above the threshold. Trying to ease the stresses that the team is going through as we're trying to make our way up and over this mountain. On the other side of Foxy, Cold, Peterbot Ritual being smushed, forced down low to the low ground, but a situation that we know they can thrive in, especially being 1,000 above the damage threshold. 21 seconds, next zone will reveal itself.
What's up, Tommy?
And that's exactly what they're waiting for.
I'll be honest, they had way too much material to play low ground. I think they're going to be looking for height. Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts are already up here. They're going to be the first to go ahead and try to contest, and they didn't even take Oreo or Snakes' high ground. They just made their own build, so look at
Peterbot went down.
Plenty of material. Meanwhile, Cold, Ritual, and Peterbot, though, things start to go south for them. Down on the low ground, Peterbot finds himself down again. This is the second time now, but he is just knocked. Luckily, the save comes in here.
Wow, he's still alive?
There goes the pickup. The splash a little early, but he's back in the running here now. I think all attempts at high ground might be put on balls now. Japco and Rise here.
Wait, might be put on what?
The zone up.
The heck?
They want to get up and off this low ground into the safety. They're below the surge again.
Oh,
this is tough.
Yeah, very tough situation for them, but they're just waiting for the zone to open up, make their way on the right side.
Honestly, playing low ground here is huge. They're only a duo, though.
Really
that's the only problem.
The longer
But I think, and they're below surge.
For that shot, 67, falling further and further.
But he is getting a whole lot of space right now.
They're trying to beat the team in the front of that chase. That way, any team behind him gives him ample opportunity to go for those shots. Peterbot is officially back on
Poyo.
That revive is going to be successful. Him, Cold, and Ritual still 1,000 above the damage threshold. 10 eliminations so far. They find a knock onto Encrypted. Wasn't theirs, but they'll take it nonetheless.
Oh my gosh, a med kit.
Go ahead and meet him on the other side. That's back-to-back eliminations. Now Booga in our sight, and Booga was the one who originally got that knock onto Peterbot.
I was gonna say these eliminations are huge, right? That's the siphon that keeps.
This looks so grief.
Try to take these fights. It's the refreshes that keep the mats up because they're playing this.
And Peter gets a freaking med kit, bro.
High ground, if you will. It's
oh my gosh! Give Ritual the big pot.
They are literally floating in the air right now. Meanwhile, Yamzo, Batman, Booga, Clicks, we haven't even saw what's been going on with this team, but the story developing here on the low ground, they seem to have things completely under control right now.
Kanata on height again?
I think Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts are running
out
of
keep it, I think.
here. Things are going to start getting desperate for the high ground teams. Rise is still in this game, though, keeping on the points growing for this trio now. This is the clutch that you expect of a player like Rise here. Really time to shine for him now.
Oh my god, that is about to go in.
Second place, the ones that are kind of on them on the leaderboard.
Acorn,
Agers, and Poyo. They have an opportunity to look up. But
looking for height.
Kanata trying to distract them. The whole fight's going to break down. Poyo scrambles around, finally reunites with Agers. They have a strength in numbers. They're trying to use their advantage, and a big shot onto Kanata, forcing him to return. But
Poyo gets Kanata.
That's Poyo who's able to get that elimination. He was the one who actually replaced him on the team.
Poyo's just insane right there, really looking to fight right now. Meanwhile, Clips, Yamzo, and Batman Booga go from low ground up top.
They're playing high
starting to ask for
early like that is
handle for a second there. And
it's really like, I don't know, it's shambles because people, the way the meta is with mass, it will continue to, it will just keep dancing on you to try to take height because all they gotta do is throw it up and just teleport and they have it, you know?
Teams are starting to crumble here under the pressure of the lobby. But Rapid has to find a little bit more. No materials for him. Can he clutch something up? Can he find some big points here? Top 6 now. Click still working up the lobby here. Has to save Batman Booga. What a save right here. Just going to put them right back in the game.
Oh, yeah, they're dead.
Oh, no, a full-on collapse, though. It's
Poyo
and Acorn, who seem to have answered the call here. They just sit down Clicks
and
his
is
entire
dead.
trio.
They are
going to be one of the first, Jacob, to hit 400 points.
Nick just continuously steamrolling. Very few healthy teams. One of them's going to be
Cold goes down.
It's Cold and them facing off. That's a whole nother trio trying to enter into the mix. Down goes Cold. Peterbot soon to follow. Ritual's by himself, and he meets that same fate. Vadeal, Cooper, and Sphinx, a team we looked at to take them on, just did that.
Oh, look at this.
Acorn's taking height?
Acorn and Poyo there. Poyo's got to hit this shot. Of course he does. He's just that good.
Bro, that's going
to be a great Cypher to keep him in the game. Meanwhile, Agers, we put so much pressure on his shoulders here to have to clutch this one up as Poyo falls to this. The pressure of the zone, the shot that came in, 9 HP, no heals left, but still a top 3 performance is something to be proud of. Curve and Shadow have managed to hold this high ground. Agers is probably giving the win away now to Cooper, Vadeal, and Sphinx for another dub here. Can they do this in a 3v2 situation?
It all depends on the heals, but it doesn't look like it happening. Cooper gets dropped. Sphinx doing what he can.
Cooper won again.
Shadow, and that is going to be 11 eliminations for them. That is going to be their second win of the day in Game 5.
And was that back-to-back, by the way? They just came off of Game 4.
Wait, are they? They're 4th? No way.
And all of a sudden now, I think I counted about 11 or so on the tally there. Things really starting to heat up now for Vadeal, Cooper, and Sphinx from the bottom of the barrel all the way on up to the top. They are continuing to improve game after game. That was just game number 5, though, and talk about a fun mix-up for them there. And, you know, it really didn't look like it was going to go their way. Like, this fight right here was so scrappy, right? Anything could have happened.
Actually pretty crazy.
Sphinx, he was going to be the first one going up, distracted, dealt a lot of damage, forcing Shadow into
one more, our last game.
Easily pick up that victory royale. The first team on the day to
Are they not
2 games.
top 2?
What do you guys think of that?
Listen up,
Kelly and Vivid?
I got a case of the vapors.
This is correct.
The back-to-back. Vadeal, look right here. Vadeal. The back-to-back. What in the world? What is NA doing today? Kelly, I thought EU was crazy, and Vadeal, Cooper, and Sphinx said, hold on. We're the best region, Zeke. Let's get a little back-to-back action. What in the world? 11 elims as well. These guys are climbing the standings. This is gonna come down. We still have 6 more games tomorrow, Kelly. I don't know. I'm gonna faint. I'm about to pass out.
Okay, well, while we pass out, we'll talk about this incredible run that we got to see.
David looks like Ranger. That's what we're all saying.
I mean, they had a slow start, right? But when you have back-to-back victory royales, it doesn't matter how you start the day. It matters how you end it. And they did such an incredible job on the low ground. And really, it was so much chaos, Vivid, happening between the low and mid ground. We saw so many teams jumping for height, trying to steal it away, getting punished for it. And instead, Cooper, Vadeal, Sphinx, they stay low. They're able to clean up everyone else, and that's why they were able to claim that VR.
Yeah, it's actually pretty similar to the last game they just won as well, game number 4, right? It's just like kind of like a 3v3v3, one team in the middle, one team on the high ground right there. Of course, it was a little different this game because we lost some of the trios up top, but just seems like they have so much control over both the teams that are above them, applying the pressure at the right time, kind of making them fight above them before they actually get involved.
I want to watch Noah's POV.
They have that timing down so well because they've been playing that low ground all season.
Just disgusting. We are watching peak Fortnite right now, and we do want to continue the conversation because there's only a single game left to go. But first, I know, a break. When we return, we'll put this on we'll wrap this in a big bow because we have 1 game left to go before we close out day number 1. So don't you go anywhere.
Ranger, bro.
We'll be right back.
Ranger's brother, yeah. Same thing. They're the same person. Oopie. All right, 2 minutes. All right, let me see something. Oh, what makes them qualify? Is it top 10? It is Ranger for Sharks. Happy Saturday, yup. Today is indeed Saturday. Funny visuals, Noxy, Avid. What's up with this like crazy dubstep they're playing? It better be uncopyrighted. Otherwise, I'm gonna see the bad word. I'm gonna swear. All right, 30 seconds. Chat, who do you think is gonna overall be first today? Based on the leaderboards right here. This is the leaderboards right now. Who do you think is gonna take first? Oh no, you're good, Tabisa. You're good. That's funny. I think Clicks is gonna keep fifth. Unless Kanata comes back. They've been doing not too bad.
Welcome back. One game left to go. We call day one done. And so much has transpired. Vadeal, Cooper Sphinx, they got themselves the victory out in game number 5. But that's not the scary thing. The scary thing is the standings. As we pull these up, Kelly, what stands out to you?
That Ritual, Cold, and Peterbot, even though they went down for them somewhat early, 4th place, they have actually jumped up into 2nd place right now. They have yet to get a top 3, and yet
last game,
they
chat,
have 46 eliminations. They are just a stone's throw away from Agers, Acorn, and Poyo.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much been the chase for this trio, right? I mean, they were behind after game number 3, they were behind 70 points, and then after game number 4, they're behind 60 points, and now after game number 5, 40 points. They continue to close the gap time and time again, and honestly, this game was wild. I went ahead and looked at the stats, and this is actually a trio with the most storm damage taken. Like, they were just chilling in the storm. They feel very, very comfortable fighting out there, and for some reason they would just kept fighting teams throughout the entirety of the early and the middle game. Even, you know, some reses happened to come in between. Just crazy stuff.
To have that game start with Peterbot getting knocked by G Money, and then they're able to get the revive, they somehow convert that into being 1700 damage above Storm. And they don't slow down the entire time. They were just laying down so much damage. Putting the Mythic AR in Peterbot's hands should be criminal. But Cold Ritual and Peterbot, you know that they want that win.
Dude, there's some like ultra HD pictures. What the heck?
We know that eliminations are worth more in the Major 1 finals. So
like
that's why we see that although they don't even have a top 3 performance, they're still able to be at the top of our leaderboard. But they want the VR.
They do, right, Kelly? And I love you kind of call that out. Maybe you've not been following, but the fact that we've raised those points per elimination by even just that little bit, that tiny little margin.
I should have said Poyo.
It's enough for Peterbot to now.
I mean, they could still take first. They're only one game away,
and they still haven't had that game that we're looking for them to have. They still
have
not
in second by like
Royale. And
he's
this
away
is
like
what's going down, like unbelievably insane.
Like
now
40-ish points.
First place team though, Agers, Acorn, and Poyo, they are still holding it down, right? They have not given up this first place spot in the first 5 games, and now we have 1 left to go. This is crazy.
I mean, Poyo, you know, global champion, absolutely incredible fragger along with Agers here. And Acorn lauded as one of the smartest players in Fortnite, and he's definitely showcasing that today.
And Poyo just looks like a mechanical. He looked like the most mechanical player out there. Some of the eliminations that he was able to find through some of this end game was absolutely insane. They're doing so well, but I gotta tell you, they probably are like, wow, like we're doing really well, like all of our games have been good, and then they look at the leaderboard and it's just like they like wipe the sweat off the floors. They're how close to us? Like what's going on here?
I think the game's about to start.
You know what I mean? Like how are they that close to us? I mean, they seriously look like they've been the best trio on the day for sure, but it's got to be super worrisome that Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual are kind of closing that gap.
Dude, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, right? And for like, obviously, again, because we have 2 spots, if you're Poyo, you're thinking like, it's scary you're catching up, but as long as we keep doing what we're doing, dude, we're gonna lock our spot too, you know? Like, yeah. If that was how we conclude Major 1, to have Poyo and Peterbot in like separately lock spots for globals,
like I'm looking at Ranger, bro.
That would be insane. But listen, this is it, okay?
Ow.
1 game left to go, and then we close out day 1, then we VOD review, and we come back for day number 2. With that being said, one last ride in NA. Monster D Face and the 6-foot phenom, Jacob PR. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Zeke. Finally putting some respect on my name, but Monster, I gotta say, time truly does fly when you're having fun. Just watching some Fortnite with a great friend.
The last game
definitely.
Here.
And Zeke over there counting the chickens before they hatch. We still got a whole day tomorrow as well. The competition is getting very close. I'm just glancing over at the leaderboard. I can't believe we even have the great Muzz, Japcon Rise up there in this conversation right now. So let's jump on this battle bus one more time for game number 6.
If you look at some of the players at the top of the list where the elimination leaderboard was formerly always dominated by Peterbot. Yes, he's in first, but everybody else was in reach. 1 elimination down Poyo, a couple eliminations down Agers. Yap goes in the mix, and this just goes to show how close this fight off spawn is going into the last game.
Did he win this game? He wins off spawn.
Yeah, definitely is, and we have been harping on the fact that Peterbot had all those air quote bad games. We're starting to see the good games come out. The 13 eliminations, the 12 eliminations, the high placing points, and it could just be that they figured out the secret sauce. Beat those teams in the early game around them, farm up those big eliminations and those points, and then take your time through the end game. If that's the formula right now that's going to send them to the globals, I mean, we could be seeing the writing on the wall right now nice and early. I am very interested to see what is going so well, though, for Agers, Acorn, and Poyo. They just seem to have such a sound strategy, right? As things are all falling into place for them.
Oof. As soon as we tune in, Chimp already getting his hands dirty, gets that first elimination onto Osid. You can see him kind of.
Let's see what happens here.
I have a heater for Octopus 5 going for it. Dude, how does he bum me? I swear he's doing it on purpose. I don't know how he does that.
No, there's a team turtle.
Look at him, he's doing it again.
Is this a gun? Oh, we're dead. I gotta like go behind the trees. I gotta like run to it. Like.
Oh my gosh.
I'm good.
I'm getting keyed already. There's no. I didn't get a gun. There's no gun.
60 white on the guy on you over there on the right side. You see.
I don't have a gun. I don't.
I'm gonna try to kill my kid.
I literally have 0 guns. Yes.
I'm trying to kill my kid.
Not a gun spawn.
My kid's running.
I need help. I need help.
I'm looking over for you, but I can't see you if you're in that building over there.
Try to keep my kid just so make it too.
He's low. I hit him at 60 white. You probably could.
I'm alive though.
Oh, jeez, bro. How?
Wow.
60? I'm getting shot by the other one. Someone come. Someone look. There's 2.
Looking. 23 white.
There's 2.
60 white. 80 white.
Oh my gosh.
She
tried to.
I'm coming.
Okay.
I have chugs as well. There's one dude on chaos.
Chug me. This
yeah,
guy's.
I'm coming.
farming builds. I went for 60 shields.
I hit 2 of them.
They win this. They win this one.
There's a shocking to our left. You need it.
Yeah,
right
I
up
do.
here.
Without a doubt.
Wait, king him?
Hey, on you still?
They're running a little bit. I'm in it.
Yeah, they won this. Let's go.
We need to fight them.
Yeah, they're
all has an AR.
Getting kind of cold.
One is.
Yeah, I'm farming mats.
I cracked one.
Nice.
I went for 60 shield, bro. Another team's here. Coming in. I'm like, we gotta hide.
Wow, this is actually the grief spot.
I'm alive. I'm fine for now.
We need to go to crab or something, I think.
I'm pretty sure a team won a turtle this game, though.
Yeah, that's probably them.
That's that team, no? No.
I think that's Noxy.
Bro. Actually, I mean, we have a little bit of surge, right? I have like 60 or 70.
Yeah, that's 60.
I'm trying to run over there.
They're trying to shoot us. We gotta
your
run.
left.
He's on top of this hill right here, bro.
Yeah, close to us.
Oh, what?
He's a mass.
50.
Wait, Noah's cut off.
Team, bro. I don't think this is Oliver.
This is Oliver right here on the hill. This is Oliver. He messed up there.
Oh. Is he still up there?
I'm in the building. I'm just farming.
Another team behind us. There's another team that's shopping behind us.
From where?
Like this way. I don't know exactly. They just
like
shot
crab?
really.
Oh, he's you can see him right now.
You gotta watch for them. We just go up and like.
Oliver's trying to crab. One just went up here. Yeah, he just TP'd up here. He's still on the bottom, but he has a TP up there. He's on the bottom. He's about to be like right here. There's two.
I think we have to go like electrical then or something. I'm gonna tag him.
We can fry him.
Yeah.
You ready?
Wait. I'm ready.
Alright, the guy in the back.
He's like teleporting.
He has no mess. I think.
He got shot at by someone else, did he not?
He did get shot at.
Bro, they're so. Let's just go to electrical.
You shot before we were ready. Like
Okay, they made it all shot.
By another kid, that's why I thought he was gonna kill anyways. I don't know what that shot was.
Prize money that moves down each and every one of those placements that a lot of these guys are trying to hunt for the good practice and those 2 spots to the championship.
Just on the move right now. Clicks Batman Booga. And
yeah, Peter can take first here.
5th place right now. Top 5 team. We all knew it. We all expected it. This is my team that was my favorite, honestly, to take the competition. But man, oh man, the zones have played a factor. That game 1 could have gone any way, right? Like every round has really had its own unique story to tell. And still, they are very much in the race right now.
I wonder who's playing West.
We saw Vadeal, Sphinx, and Cooper bounce back with a 70-plus point game. That can happen to anyone who picks up a nice victory out. Look at the collapse right now, though. Off to Clixy here.
Oh.
Clicks the first to initiate. Yamzo to follow up here from the side now. And it is not looking good for him, but the teammates are starting to come in. Batman Booga cuts them off. And this is just a high-level fight looking to go down right now.
Yeah, immediately the team wasted no time just trying to converge back onto Clixy's location. And this is where they kind of spread up, take the different angles, try to funnel them into their position. You got Yamzo taking the top, Batman Booga taking an additional angle, and just Clicks mowing down Clixy. No shields left, forced to back up. Yamzo takes a shot. He's forced to reposition as well, reassess the situation overall. They got to be careful, because you know at any moment, Peterbot Cold and Ritual, not too far away, north of Flooded Frogs, can roll in and try to third party this.
I like how Yamzo thought about drinking the mini for 6 shield, and he's like, nah, not worth it. Let's just get out. Let's just get out. We could splash as a team. We could fish up some shield fish. There's so many better ways, I guess, they could utilize their resources. Meanwhile, the real Booga, Threats and Aviv, have made their way to that mountain where Tony and company were, and it seems like Aviv's gonna find himself a nice little pickup right here.
Getting cold.
And they are just
eliminated
deleting that poor team. Nurface sent back to the lobby. His tournament run for the evening is over. Edgy, Quanti, and Bila. Okay, here's a team that honestly I think you have to be careful, man. Nut, Liam, and Fredbot thrive in these early game fights. We've seen them show up and show out. I'm giving them all the credit and all the respect. If nothing else, they know how to fight.
Yeah, it's just a peculiar situation Edgy, Bila, and Quanti find themselves in because they land at Shogun Solitude uncontested. They don't really have a lot of time and a lot of opportunities to actually get surged. So as soon as they're done looting and leave that actual POI, they almost immediately have to put themselves in this position where they're close up or far away to try to get Surge. In the feed, though, you did see Threats get elimination on the Creon. He immediately pushes over, cleaned that one up. Aviv and Booga closed the distance as well. Or there's one elimination, 2 more to follow, especially since they know just a sliver of HP remains on a Joji.
Let's see it play out here. Joji, super damage, should be wraps. There it is. I was gonna say for a second there, did a V fall, but no. Joji getting sent out. Look how fast lobby's getting cut down now. 85 players remaining here. 3 teams fully wiped out. Plenty fractured now. Japco, Muzz, and Rise seem to be pretty hurt right now. They play in Deep Storm here, but the collapse in onto level 1 Crook. They want to take the fight. Japco's going to be the first to initiate here. Rise has got the backside. Great tag from Japco, but both sides get hit a little bit there. Only shotgun as well, so tougher to play with, I would say.
Yeah, if you can kind of keep your distance, definitely packs a punch, especially since they know there's only 2. Crook with the Typhoon Blade trying to create some distance, but has no choice but to leave kicks there, who jumps right on top of the full trio. He gets taken down. I feel like maybe a necessary sacrifice so that way his teammate can try to disengage, but then if you look at the mini-map, there's a whole trio moving into his location, a whole 3rd trio moving, shadowing Rise, Muzz, and Yapko that they need to be careful for, because finally the shots come in and there goes a little bit of damage.
There's way too much teams here now. Looks like Polis and Listen have already decided they're committing to this fight here. Japco, Rise, and Muzz. This is their worst case scenario right now, but Japco fired up right now. Sits one down. The zone credit for the other. Hold up. This is good. Defense has to come out from Rise now.
Well, if they die here,
pick up here shortly. There it is. They're right back in this game. That could have gone really bad for them, but now the question lingers. Is this a huge setback for the leading Japco, Muzz, and Rise here?
Yeah, especially since you got to consider the fact now they're going to have a little bit of a journey towards the northeastern side of the map overall. So what little resources they do have, probably going to be forced out in this situation. Yep, they're going to recycle. Oh, I thought if they had a water sprite, they could have recycled it there, but it does look like they're just going to continue rotating back to their original POI where they know a lot of that loot was left behind. Very, very similar to what you were talking about with Peterbot in our previous games.
Clixiamzo, Batman Booga sticking to the outskirts here. This is the furthest west zone we've seen for an early game. Seems to be playing into their favor at the moment, but do they have wind of this squad swimming their way around? I am curious.
I've never been to that spot on the map. I don't know how. They never bowls there.
We'll update with Cooper here. Couple water sprites in hand. Zone relatively close.
Nothing happened cool. What are you talking about?
You got to see his teammates just grabbing hold of that bridge. Position's going to be crucial for these next couple of games, or this last game, I should say. Especially one of those teams inside of the top 5 where you really started to kind of break away from the rest of the pack. You want to continue to do that, close out the day. Probably much easier said than done, as you kind of spoke about it. A little bit of a different zone than what we've seen throughout the 5 previous games beforehand. Some immediately trying to adapt and use that to their advantage. Grab position, beat a lot of these other teams to the zone, and then be able to look back.
Really bad right now. Clixiamzo, Batman Booga have a team right above them and one trailing from inside the storm here. Not sure they actually know just yet. There it is. Shots open up onto Batman Booga. It's Sineto, Veer, and Scare. Whoa. Who have the high ground and the advantage, but they let Booga slip away. Batman Booga's going to be happy about that one. That could have gone really downhill for them.
Yeah, they're going to have to rotate too. You saw they weren't necessarily in zone, but knowing that full trio took the north part altogether, they're either going to try to parallel them or wait a couple of seconds here for it to kind of close, see where the next zone goes. And this is their opportunity. Now that that team kind of given away their position by trying to take a chance on getting shots on the Batman Booga, they're able to kind of hunt back, but you see a whole nother trio that rotated through the dead side. There's one to potentially cut off Clicks, Batman Booga, and Yamzo on that rotation.
I think that was Quanti's team that we had Saul. They seem to be favoring the water side, but Victor V, Skittles, and Chimp right now taking on Curly, Nox, and Virgo. I saw some people thinking that Curly and Victor V look related. Well, there you go. You get the standoff now if you've been looking forward to the fight.
considering from their drop spot over on the far east side of the map.
Oh, Peterbot's still on.
They're very, very quick to rotate this time around, really not wanting to get caught off guard, lose track of time.
It was cold.
Because you know as well as I do, when the zone pulls this far, those edges of the zone become so stacked. It's just a risk in its own right to rotate in that direction. We talked about it going towards the north. Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual taking a whole different approach to this sixth and final game. Where we would see them typically fighting for Surge. They're just content setting up a Surge tower and getting shots just like that.
But they have 0 eliminations. This is very different for comparatively to the other games. Every other game they've had early game eliminations, and they didn't have to base down. This is the first time we've seen them with no eliminations, but fully based down, sitting on plenty of heals inside the base. So seems like they want to get a dub under their belt here. Rightfully so for day one. A team like that should have a victory by now, so we'll see if their time is near. Rajak and Muzz. Couldn't believe what we saw from them earlier. Seemed like everything was going downhill for a moment there.
You see how high they went? That's that trick on the geyser. It gets you much higher than launch pads. It gets you much higher than other geysers around the map. You just gotta float, wait for it. It'll shoot you up again, and that's gonna allow them. Remember how deep in zone they actually were? This one geyser is gonna allow them not only to get towards the edge of zone, but so far in, they're gonna be able to pick and choose where they actually want, depending on where other teams are actually at.
Yeah, it seems like they've already got their minds cut out for them. The markers are out. I want a little bit of positioning here. They're gonna go up north. Is that another geyser there? Seems like maybe setting themselves up for something. Kanata, Rapid, Bolts, 400 above the Surge in a bit of a box fight here. This is against Victor V's trio in the Storm here. Seems to be getting dragged out, and they've brought in Curly and Virgo's team. So this is a 3-team affair now, all unfolding here. Curly, Virgo, and Noxy actually need this more than any other team. Only 100 above. Likely started because they needed the fight. Kind of lingering about.
Yeah, zone beginning to close in. You can kind of see them throwing the orbs on out. The just in case, but Chimp's the one that gets caught off guard first. Great shot by Rapid. Kind of picking and choosing, trying to upgrade the loadout. They realize taking a fight this late in the game, this deep into the zone, is going to be so risky. So almost everybody there simultaneously choosing to disperse. You can find what you want at the later day. Curly, Noxy, Virgo, going to be one of the last ones to kind of rotate on out. But timing is of the essence if this continues to pull towards the east. You don't want to be one of the last teams when that 50-50 pull comes.
I saw on the feed there, too, for a second. So far from Acorn and Poyo pick up some eliminations there in that Surge warning. Let's not forget, with them being in the lead, the more elims they get, the harder it's going to be for teams to close the gap. They're going to have to make a mistake at this point.
Oh, Poyo's Agents are holding this team out?
Let's take a look at what situation they found themselves in here. So, seems like they've marched their way through the brutal boxcars. They found themselves on a plethora of shieldfish here now, and they want to bring all this.
It's a lot of shieldfish
to the zone with them.
Just throwing those med kits ahead. Yeah, I would say you can continue to cycle them in front of them, use them when they have to.
Interesting.
540 damage because they're early game wandering around the map.
They're actually gonna cycle all the way.
Those 2 eliminations, Cooper, Vadeal. Below Surge, something that we haven't really seen from them other than in the early portions of game 1.
Wow.
With back-to-back wins already, they don't want to start to lose this momentum before the day ends.
Why did that happen?
I was gonna say, are they gonna push that knock right there? There's one in the box. You kind of need it here. 53 above now, but the Storm is also on its way here, so there's a lot of factors at play right now. And the pressure is on a performance, especially when you're up on the leaderboard, sitting comfortably the way they have been today. A little back and forth here.
Kind of targeting out the late rotation of Bucky, Okus, and Craze, kind of forcing them right next to Acorn, Agers, and Poyo. One going under the bridge, one going over. Around the map, you're seeing the proactivity. Clicks this time around, getting the Wanderers and Medallion from the Shogun's Arena up above, but they find themselves just barely
71 players alive,
Storm threshold with 90 damage.
I want to see what Clicks could do with this.
Kind of poopy,
Everyone's had their chance to shine. All the big name trios have picked it up at least once. Now Ionzo, Batman, Booga, and Clicks get their turn at bat here. 281 points is our 5th place seeded team right now. An end game will set them up for a running shot at globals here in day number 2. Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts, though, we got to jump in with this fight here. Another edge zone battle. Seems to be dragged out. 2 eliminations now, kind of setting themselves up, but still, they haven't managed to really topple Noxie and Curly's trio here.
Everybody just kind of slow rotating out of that side. You kind of saw Skittles in the distance as well. Just really timing is of the essence. A lot of these other teams kind of beating them to the punch. Just going all the way towards the east. Whiffy Wharf just outside of the zone. And there's potential monster that is that whole gulf of water there on that side of the map that we could potentially see inside of the zone as Storm Surge activates yet again. Bolts Kanata, Rapid trying to stay ahead of the curve while maintaining their rotation speed.
I mean, what is nice about this, though, is that we're getting a completely different terrain, right? Like zone pulling kind of north, sort of west, right? Really mixing things up. We've seen so much center and kind of eastern zone pull, so I'm excited about this. Giving other teams a fair chance, if you will, at zone kind of playing into the area for an end game. Vadeal and Sphinx, though, still trying to manage to find their footing here in the lobby. Look at this eastern congestion happening right now. It's almost like they've had zone all day and no one knows how to rotate anymore. They're all on top of one another here, and it looks pretty bad.
Fortnite just said, but wait, there's more. As it continues to move towards the north, there goes that open water that I was talking about. It finally now in zone, forcing these teams to really think in and outside of the box and be proactive in terms of their rotation, whether they're late or one of the first ones there. That perfect position becomes more and more impactful. As Cold, Peterbot, Ritual in their line of sight is the only team above them in the leaderboard. That's Muzz, Rise, and Yapko. And you can see the trio of Peterbot don't even all have the Void Mask. One of them has a kinetic blade, so it's going to be just a little bit more difficult for them to rotate in tandem.
Trades coming out, though, from the bad peak there. Teams on high ground, Veer, Scare, and Sonetto off in the distance. See how long that's going to hold here. Cold, Peterbot, and Ritual on foot right now, making their way through. It's the most we've seen them actually use their Void only mask this early into a game like this. 6 charges left, so somehow below the Surge. This is the pressure of sitting in a Surge base, right? Changing up their strategy, not going for box fights. And now they're almost forced into a full-on
53 alive, 7 zone.
To be Chimp and Dash, who might be chosen, if you will, but these are completely different teams.
You're about seemingly at elimination. They might go crazy here.
137
they win this game. Eliminations, like a lot of eliminations. They take first.
To force their hand.
Oh, Poyo's team is alive too. That's the thing.
There's plenty
They'd have to kill Poyo's team.
Cold trying to hop on top. Holds on to Dash. That goes a big shot. Making sure Dash feels that one in the morning. But Oliver OG going for revenge with a turn and burn. Cold takes down yet another
that was a crazy shot.
While he makes his way in towards zone. Reunites with the team. They did more than enough to get themselves above the damage threshold.
Peterbot fans can thank Oliver OG for that one. That's a saving grace right there. So much damage just handed to them. And the material, let's not forget, they had a lot of loot going. That is a big, big come up right here. Look at the zone go. Further west, it pulls, and further north, things are just changing ever so slightly here in this last game of the day, really keeping us on our toes. Another elimination.
Wait, Ritual died again.
Onto Vadeal and Sphinx. That's a huge set of eliminations now.
That's when they need it most. You see Ritual is down, separated as a trio.
Ritual died again.
Mechanically skilled players still left alive. There's hope yet in this game as they're immediately trying to rotate across that open water. You mentioned it yourself.
Yo, this is a weird zone.
Really gonna have to dig deep to really
Wait, Japko's team, Muzz's team might die.
This is bad. This is a very tough spot to be in, but it's great for players like Japko, Muzz, and Rise right now who have a chance to come back here. But look at this, Japko caught up in a spider's web there.
They stopped shooting him.
Burning through a couple charges, and it looks like the spot is bad. Muzz lands and gets
Peterbot could take first.
Seemingly deleted for his troubles. A fresh charge has to come out now. Rise just waiting for his trio. Japko is far off though. Just gonna have to play this one out by himself. And some of our top teams looking really bad here now in the last game, but who's not?
Wait, no.
So far, so good for them.
Yeah, they got a quarter of the placement points so far.
They keep first. Yeah, they keep first. They have 6 elims.
They're still making their way up.
100% they keep first.
Clicks, Batman, Booga, they're the ones that are highest elevated
teams.
for now. But 8 zones.
If they die before top 10, then Peterbot takes first.
Goes down as well. That's Bucky who gets credit for that elimination. The trio that has been so far in first place, having such impressive performances, is just down to rise.
Void Onimask really changing the dynamic right now. You saw when they glanced over to where the zone's going, there's not a single build over there because the Void Onimask is allowing teams to all transport their way across. This is going to be a very interesting endgame now for Clix and team because the fact that they went for high, they committed a lot of mats here. Poyo, Acorn, Agers is one of the first to build up a base in the opposite side. As I'm just kind of teeing it up, you're watching it all play out in real time. Acorn, Agers, and Poyo want to have the monstrous lead right now, and they're willing to fight for it.
Yeah, perfect zone. They pull to the front side. They immediately build up and target out second height. Really no attention being paid to everybody else.
Goes out.
Down goes Cole.
Bro, if Peter
now
wins this solo,
if he wants to remain in contention in that second place, it's going to come down to him and some big clutches. But Eorb's just a little bit too far. Luckily for him, he does have the splashes. Quickly moving, making his way in towards zone as it covers up. The rest of the lobby making their way on over, making it harder and harder for Peterbot to try to survive.
Cooper still alive as well.
Still has around 400 wood.
350 wood. Here, he's looking for an angle, an opportunity to get inside.
Even on Peterbot.
Here he goes. He dashed across. Couple of clutches coming up now for Peterbot as well. Pay close attention to the high ground teams though, as Agers, Acorn, and Poyo seemingly have this game in a headlock right now.
That was a big shot on the trio rotating nearby, looking for a follow-up. Knows exactly where they went.
Oh,
no. To the other side. Both Cooper feel the pain, but Peterbot finally goes down. That's Rapid who gets credit for that elimination. Kanata on the other side trying to break into the box on Cooper. Doesn't get opportunity, so he goes around. Cooper just trying to hold on. There goes the flank from Kanata. Peekaboo, I see you as he gets the elimination. Clicks Yamzo. Batman Booga steamrolling on the other side.
This is exactly what they need to. All that immediate competition down and out. The runway open here for teams to go ahead and climb their way out.
Yeah, Poyo keeps first. Poyo 100% is first today.
More competition crossed out. Top 5 here for players like Clix, Batman, Booga, Yamzo. This is their time to get revenge. But first, you have to clear up Booga of even threats. They've been the wild card, the wild factor in the low ground, and they're cooking right here.
Such a quiet game going under the radar, but hey, maybe that's just how they like it. They continue to steamroll team after team after team as Encrypted goes down. Death feels the pain. Solo's gonna be left, but they clean that one up as well. Booga threats in a beam. This is a new chapter for them as they close out the day.
You couldn't count them out either. The vets just showing up in extreme force here, but give it a second. Clix, Yamzo, Batman, Booga. We know Clix has the medallion. Look at him go here. Zipping back and forth, keeping teams on their toes. It's a 3v3v3 situation. No mistakes can be made. Clix eating a little bit of storm here. Has to be careful, though, because he's got no mats. It's all going to come down to this monster shot right here. If he can land it, his teammates are down and out.
A lot of pressure. They're trusting him. He has the medallion, but takes so many ticks to the zone. Barely makes it in on the other side. 0 builds. He's looking for scraps. He's looking for somebody that he can catch off guard. Here's one team below him. No, there's a full trio above. He's going to go up to try to buy himself just a little bit more time. Luckily for him, he doesn't even get scratched, forcing the trio from up above to catch the trio down below.
This is crazy. He's got to keep sprinting so he can't be seen. No, the water is his worst enemy. And look at him go. Just trying to hold on to a little bit more. He is the pressure that no one sees coming. A great tag there. Clix can earn a little more points, and he is a disruptor to everyone in the lobby. 2v2 now. Booga goes up. It's up against Acorn. Beautiful tag there. Acorn is down. Booga's got the high ground. He's got a chance to bounce back.
2v1 situation. They're ready to drop down. They know they have this one in the bag. Acorns are trying to take the other side. Threats taking damage. Booga as well, but they have a strength in numbers.
Wow, Booga won last one.
Team, and they win the 6th and final game of the day.
They can honestly thank Clix for that W right
5-12.
there. What a performance by him.
Unbelievable, dude.
Back and forth, getting a knock on either side. If only he could have gotten the elimination.
5-12 was actually crazy.
However, what a game 6 that was. North America really keeping us on our toes.
Dude, that's actually insane.
Booga threats and Aviv do it again, and they're right back in it.
All right, well, chat, I'm gonna bounce. I gotta do some things. I was gonna DJ, but I gotta get some programming done. So yeah, I'm gonna bounce real quick. You know, I'm gonna bounce.
150 points. That was almost over.
That was actually insane. Well, yo, if you're on YouTube, drop a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. We are at, what, 23 likes off 100?
Now they are right back into the conversation
Yo.
there. What a game 6 that was.
Edit the YouTube stream.
Day it was. I think everybody's predictions in terms of getting them correctly on the spot.
Next. You too, Ryan. Appreciate you coming out.
But
yeah, guys,
can you believe
I'm a bounce. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for watching. I'll be live tomorrow with day 2. Day 2 tomorrow, right? Day 2 tomorrow. We're doing a watch party for any central day 2. I'm not watching West because I don't care about West.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anyway, peace. See you guys tomorrow. Take care. Drop a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. If you're on Twitch, hit that follow button. Creator code X off. All that good stuff. And y'all take care. Later, balloons. Y'all flip and take care, and I will see you guys soon. Ciao.